Sorry for the delay getting started. Grand finals are absolutely nuts. So I was, a bit all over the place trying to keep up with the last game that just happened. Team Spirit up 2-0 against PSG LGD. If they win the next game of Dota they play, they get £18 million. Are you mad? I'm gonna see if any of the boys want to hop in.
Especially because it was another IO draft. Granted, it was a much more different approach to IO, but the dynamic was still quite similar. And I think the cheap initiation, both literally and figuratively.
Alright, let's see if any of the boys will join. But
For
yeah,
the past 6
oh
months,
my goodness, if you guys missed the last two games, they were nuts.
Being like, I don't need to
They
commit
were
to a fight.
nutty.
Toss axes from
And now we're
miles
watching
away.
some more.
Ember Spirit has emerged
Well, hopefully the final game. You gotta be rooting for Team Spirit. Come on, Team EU in the house.
I don't really need to go in. And now
I really, yeah, I didn't see anyone taking games like this off LGD. Like, if you look at the schedule, standings. So Team Spirit,
and they did.
They made an absolute losers bracket run.
I want to talk about the Shaker Morph combo because that was something that we saw PSG LGD go for, and we thought, okay, you know what, they got a set draft. This is what it's supposed to do, but it didn't do what it was supposed to.
Yeah, again, it's something that you need time with, right?
Yeah, so Team Spirit,
couple items plus the axe to then really
they lost against IG, then they won. Now they're in grand finals.
Utilizing that Fury and they picked off the puck at this tier 2 siege top. Like, it looked pretty good, but it's the fact that Spirit able to kind of shift away that kind of map movement, and they're over farming on their heroes. Like, a very small thing, and probably wasn't really noticeable, but Yutaro, like, after fights, there were like double waves coming into him. He wasn't even farming the lane. He'd go to the jungle, allow other heroes to take that farm. And it's because you have even distribution of farm to some degree, you're able to continue taking fights every single item timing. You're not waiting an extra 2-3 minutes for the Willer to get a vessel, or, you know, the Bane to get, you know, a 4-star, whatever. It's the idea that you are being ready at all times. So it doesn't matter if you're playing against Morph Shaker, because you're going to have that.
Thank you, Matthew, with the 5. Please say happy birthday to brother Luke. He's a big fan. Happy birthday, Luke. Have a good one.
Is similarly, it's vision. It's about seeing the enemy team first, so you can get that fissure combination. If you, in all of these like OS Frog moments we've had in the past, we're like, man, this shit is so broken. You know, it's like out of the fog comes one fissure, then the other fissure. It's like X marks the spot, and they both jump in and kill someone. The problem is, I think we saw that like literally one fight in this game after they got it. Because every time it was Team Spirit that got the initiation. So. I mean, hats off to them. I'm honestly just super impressed. I was one of the non-believers, I'll admit it, going into this finals. I thought, okay, this LGD have looked so dominant. Even though Team Spirit are catching steam here and are looking really good, I still think they're going to falter. And at this point, LGD need to pull an IG from, which major was that? Against EG, the reverse sweep.
Reverse sweep in grand finals.
Yeah,
they need something. They need something. I like that you said, you know, honestly, I'm really impressed. I know that, you know, you got the Purge voice line going. And speaking of Purge, we're going to him right now because he has more on Team Spirit.
Thanks, guys. You heard from Tsunami before about LGD's strengths right now, but let's take a look at what Spirit's doing. One of their big advantages right now is how versatile Yutaro is playing as a carry. And if you can pull out these really effective tools in the right games, it gives you a big advantage in the mid and late game. In this first match of the series so far, Naga Siren with the fast Ags after the Manta gave them great tools against these highly mobile heroes on the PSG side. Very useful against Pango to limit his rolling boulder. You can use it against Ursa to break Enrage. You can send your illusions on Ursa to force him just to retreat, not to engage. And these are some of the tricks that Spirit's used so far throughout the entire tournament, actually, to just break matches. In the previous match that they played against IG, they also had a big advantage too. It wasn't necessarily from, well, it was actually for some weird hero picks here. They grabbed a PA to give them AoE break against the Tide. So in this match, they also used kind of a cool combo that nobody really expected to just punish the enemy lineup. But what was still really obvious, and has been the case for every single Spirit lineup, is that they play so well together as a team. They cover each other's weaknesses, they follow up on each other perfectly. It's like they're mind melded together, and that is the reason that they're currently 2 up in the grand finals here of TI-10.
Yeah, it is honestly incredibly impressive. They're on the side of Team Spirit. They're 1 game away from taking this championship. There's 4 first-timers in their squad, 1 second-timer in Maposhka in their squad. And of course, Silence has got a lot of experience. This is his 5th international, but his first as a coach. So there's that as well. And this team is just on the verge of winning. And I want to talk about that because mind games, a big thing in the TI finals. And we talk about the mind games regarding the money. I think the amount of pressure that PSG LGD is under, last TI that is won by a Chinese squad was TI6. And before that, it was all like one TI for the side of China, one TI, not China, etc., etc., etc. But until TI6, and since then, there's not been Chinese teams winning it.
Up the EU!
There's so much pressure coming on these players,
They're
on
stressing.
their backs, because they were supposed to be the champions, Tsunami.
A consistent theme of all of the exit interviews that we've seen from the Chinese teams is a great deal of national pride.
Yes.
They don't feel like they themselves are like, oh, you know, we lost, you know, we'll come back stronger next time. They're like, I have failed to represent our region in terms of Dota superiority, because even if they don't make it to grand finals, they have let another region beat them, and they have somehow created more competition now for LGD. Whereas Team Spirit, on the other hand, every single interview I've seen from them, they're just like, yo, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, I don't know what game we're playing. I just play a game of Dota that we happen to be on the States, Synerin, that we happen to be playing for extra $13 million. By the way, they don't care, or they don't seem to care.
Yeah,
it's not getting in their head.
I do think it's a pretty key point as well, because as much praise as we're giving Spirit here, and they deserve all of it, I also don't think LGD have fully showed up today. I think some of their moves, they're a little bit hesitant, they're a little less hungry. It seems like there are some nerves, and it's kind of unbelievable when you think about it, because the rest of the tournament, they have looked unstoppable. They've had games where they were super far down, they make the right moves, they win. And perhaps, like, it's always easier to look weak against a team that's playing out of their minds, but it's like there's always a little bit of both, right? So I think for me going into the next game for LGD, Xiao8 actually plays the most important role in the next game, even though he's not even playing, because the team needs to get into the right mind space. They need to get the belief that they can win, and then I think the adjustment they need is that draft. I like the IO suggestion. Try something else, right? It bombed out 2 games now. You're playing against a team that clearly knows what to do about it, so you can still come back. But
what are your first phase bans, though? Are you still going to do Mag Mars? Because I think you have to target Collapse.
Again, the key thing here is the fact that I believe PSG had the choice of going for first or second pick, right? And they themselves put them in the position of allowing Spirit to ban out the Tiny and the Monkey, forcing themselves to either ban the IO themselves or pick it, right? So in this position, it does feel like you'd like to see something different from PSG. The IO hasn't really worked out. Just add some more stuns, add that ability to, you know, break down the map a little bit better, and then they should be in a good stead. And, you know, going back to the point of PSG and the expectation, you think about Spirit and how they got here. They just played the lower bracket game, right? They're 1 game down, they win game 2, they win game 3. Like, that momentum, that is so hard to attain, in any competition, right? So that is very much why they're feeling confident. And of course, you do have...
I could not imagine sitting down and thinking, if I win this game with Dota 2, I will personally be $2 million richer. This game right now that's about to happen, $13 million. That prize pool goes from $5 million up to $18 million if Team Spirit win this game. That's nutty.
In themselves and in their draft as well. We know also that they can do it. Faith Beyond and Y both have already got a TI win under their belts. They won TI6 with wins. We have seen Ame being in a grand finals. TI8, of course, that was one of the closest grand finals we have had, and unfortunately Ame wasn't able to take it, but it came very close, and we knew that the pressure there might have been a little bit too much, but we know that he can do better than what he is showing right now, Tigo.
Yeah, it's just so difficult, right? Like, when you're 2-0 down, this is really where you need to kind of just come together. And even if, like, say, one person hasn't been standing up or the team hasn't been performing to their best potential, they just need to rally around what they've been doing well to get to this point, right? Like, they're in the grand finals. They've clearly been doing something right. So this is where you just need to kind of break that off, reset, go again, treat it like it's the
All of a sudden, how do I play Dota? I'm trying to make $18 million.
It sounds so easy. When we say it, hey, just don't think about that you're 2 games down. Just play a game of Dota, Tsunami. How hard is it?
But the problem is they've just now lost as many games in this grand finals as they have throughout the entire tournament.
True.
I don't know if they're used to losing. They have having to repair is a challenge, and Spirit has had to repair on their journey here. And having that lower bracket run coming into the past 2 days, playing 2 series means that in their second series they're already warmed up. LGD was sitting here waiting for the Secret Series to finish. They have not had to be on the back foot and be like, oh my gosh, okay, we gotta.
My guy's
change
got
our
the
dynamic.
spreadsheet
I have
out.
no doubts that Xiaoba Xiao8 would be able
My guy's
to
got to do his homework before he plays
It
for the
needs to
$1 million.
come now or you're gonna lose.
Isn't it kind of crazy to
Team
think
Spirit's
about
like
that no matter
TIA
what the
OG.
score is in this grand finals,
Yeah.
LGD has a better win rate at this tournament than Spirit.
Yeah,
like,
that's
by
true.
far. Like, it's not even close.
No,
Like,
yeah, it's not.
Even if they 3-0, their win rate's still way worse. So that's what finals are about. Like, it's the final game. Have you got it when it matters the most so far? Spirit definitely do. Yeah, for me, I'm just super excited to see the draft because I think this third game is very telling about the mentality. When you're kind of broken like this, when you're down 0-2, there's like 2 approaches to take. There's the crazy approach where you just throw everything out the window, you do something completely different. And there's the one where you're like stubborn to the, like almost to the limit, right? Where you're like, no, we can still win with this damn IO. We're gonna try the 3rd time in a row and we're gonna adjust some of the bans. So I'm really curious. And I honestly, depending on your perspective on it, I think I can see both approaches as a sign of strength and a sign of weakness.
True.
So it's kind of hard to just say out of the first 2, but I really, really, really want to see what they're thinking right now.
But do you want to be the team that potentially loses 3-0 in the grand finals to the underdog, just going IO every single time, not really changing it up?
Ooh.
I think that's something you kind of have to nod in your head, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to shut that out. I mean, as repetitive as it sounds, you gotta treat this game as a fresh game, a
Yes.
standalone game, not having the pressure of $13 extra million on your head, not having the pressure of an entire region on your head, and not having the pressure of Coach Xiao8 on your head, and everything that comes with winning the international. And you just gotta play a game of Dota, play a pub. And you know what? Nothing to say. He's been playing so many pubs. He is the world ranked 1 player. I feel like we haven't really seen him step up that much yet, Tsunami. Is that because of his heroes that he's been playing today?
I think partly the heroes that he's playing, but also the heroes that his team is playing. I think that he hasn't been given the correct draft to let him pop off on a thing like Ember Spirit that we were talking about. Give him some cheap initiation that he can get in and out. Give Spirit a taste of their own medicine, because so far, every time you're running an IO strat, it's more on the shoulders of Ame to finish the game off, and that has not been happening for the first 2 games.
So to beat Team Spirit, you gotta pick a Spirit, Tigo.
Ooh.
Maybe so. I actually hate spirits. Don't forget that.
But
no,
you like to break a spirit, though.
I do like to break a spirit. But yeah, Team Spirit. You know, their second pick, right? So in both the previous 2 games. So in the draft order, that simply means that they get to pick the core after seeing 4 heroes, and the mid after seeing all 5 of PSG 2 times in a row. So we mentioned the idea of the impact of Ame, the impact of Nothing to Say. It is a product of the Lesh was a sacrificial type pick in the draft. You know, this Pangolier was kind of thrown out there, you know, not a comfort from Nothing to Say. So I would really love to see either they shift around their first pick drafting style to enable the players a bit more, or take that second pick one time and just give it a go where they actually get to go, okay, this is our best core in the game, this is our best read on the game, and give it a go. Because right now, Spirit is utilizing that 18 and 24 very well.
Yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. It is time for Game 3 of this Grand Finals.
Oh, let's go.
Team Spirit versus PSG LGD. Grand Finals, Game 3.
Welcome again to the draft panel of the Grand Finals for Game 3 between Team Spirit and Team LGD. And honestly, no questions this time, because I really want to see exactly how they've adapted their bans to Team Spirit's lineup. We actually saw that LGD, they were choosing first pick before, but they've made an adjustment here, and they took second pick.
Yeah, it means that now this is all about Team Spirit. Team Spirit is in the driving seat more than ever. They are forcing LGD to, they're making them second guess themselves. They're making the 15-1 group stage team, the upper bracket dominant team, they're making them completely question everything that brought them so far. And that is crazy. So now Team Spirit is leading the charge. LGD is switching things up, maybe trying to put the players back in their comfort zone. We were sitting there watching their body language with Johan, like in this pre-stage kind of area. You know, Xiao8, arms crossed, them looking at their feet, not looking at each other, not sharing, you know, energy. This is what you need when you're back against the wall. You need to be there for each other. You need this You need to bring the momentum back. You have to create it somehow, because obviously the Dota is not bringing it. And on the other side, you have Silent talking to them, and they're all looking at it, kind of drinking whatever word he's giving them, and they're uniting, feeling, bringing the uprising energy.
It's two completely different teams right now from what we could see body language-wise. I wonder if this change-up will make them feel slightly better, because now it's a new page, new book. Shawade is going to go back to a second pick. Maybe that will give them some type of confidence boost or belief in now what they're going to do. I do think that they need to play harder, play better. Team Spirit is showing up today, and LGD, they need to bring their A game every game.
And we see, like, even though they lost last game, even though they're down 2-0, I think this might actually be a good sign for LGD.
Yes.
They're still confident, even against what Collapse showed on the Magnus. I think this is the first time I've really seen people pick the right counters against Magnus.
Finally.
You need to deal with the skewer, right?
It is finally coming up, and I also want to mention, like, this is the beauty of Dota. Magnus has dominated many patches. It has dominated many years for different reasons. It has been about Empower at times. It has been about RP at times. This Magnus is about skewer. It's about repositioning a hero in a way where the fight is so unfair for one team.
Yep.
But this skewer play is stoppable. It's stoppable by a Rubik Lift, probably one of the best tools in the game. Yule Scepter, Lion Hack, like Force Staff. There are ways to stop this cure from happening. This Magnus doesn't buy BKB early in the game. He's playing with Force Staff, either lens, and you have to stop it. And I love the confidence from LGD in a way. Maybe Xawait, maybe somebody in that booth is telling them, hey, I know this Magnus looks strong, it looks unbeatable, it is beatable. Stop this cure play. Now you end up with a Magnus stuck in the fight, cooldown cure. He's just gonna die. No RP, the whole team fight goes away. And then the fight is absolutely terrible. Great way from LGD to counter it. It is abusable, and they're going for it. I love it. That is confidence.
Yeah, I think LGD, whatever it is that's going to take for them to really find themselves and play like LGD, they need to find it now. They don't have any more chances. You don't have another game to lose. This is going to be a good route, but I am still very worried for them and worried for what's going to go through their heads if they get into this game and it starts going south at any point.
You want to win TI, you have to be the best. You have to be the greatest team of the season, or at that point. And the greatest team has to be able to play Dota to their fullest, even down 0-2. And if they can't do that, then it was Spirits win. So now is a cornerstone. This is definitely where the finals is going to be decided one way or another, or either it's going to be decided now, or we're going to get another round of great Dota, which I'm hoping for. Like, I want to see 5 games, but definitely, if LGD is going to break, it's going to be now.
Yeah, I mean, what a run, though. I got to give Spirit a lot of credit and Collapse a lot of credit for what we've seen so far.
I feel like
It's
LGD
been
need an
insane,
Ember.
the stuff that they're doing, the stuff that they're pulling out. If you were to go replay analysis, Spirit before today, you could pick up something, but this is still a different team than yesterday. They are better. They are more confident. They're more free, and they are picking whatever they feel like picking and doing whatever they feel like doing.
They're blossoming. It's beautiful to see. It's
I
beautiful
think we've
to see.
seen that the entire lower bracket run. I mean, they're a team like, oh, maybe it can beat this team. I mean, unfortunately, they eliminated you guys, but throughout every series, I think, as you said, like, they're bringing out better and better Dota, and all this momentum, like, it's come crashing into LGD. Like, they were by far, I think, the favorites of this tournament, but now they're down 0-2. I want to mention this Undying pick. So in my head, like, Magnus, he repositions the fight. So maybe Undying, he has troubles with that, but is it just like because of the Rubik lift, they're so confident in stopping that, you can like anchor a fight with a Tombstone, or like what do you guys think about the pick?
It is possible. It's also a very good hero against Magnus on the lane. There's that too, and you also have to keep in mind they're playing second pick, so they have to kind of show cards. You probably better show an Undying card than another card. It's like strong laner, probably gonna allow Ame to pick out of a very wide pool of hero because he knows that his lane is secure no matter what.
They also run out a lot on Faith Beyond.
Yeah.
So that could be a possibility.
Could be a possibility. Like the way I look at it, and I think strategy-wise, what could be very interesting from Team Spirit.
I kind of want LGD to win this one.
Stop this cure. But
then
Magnus has been dominant for other reasons, as I mentioned. Maybe you can play an Empower strategy.
Oh shit! Elliot put
like
a bet on Team Spirit.
Build up on top of this Magnus. Get a hero to, the Mag Jogger, for instance. It's
Elliot
not as
put a
much
$10 bet on Team Spirit to win. 26-0 odds.
Strong moment. The Magnus can play without blinks. We've seen Magnus win games without blink dagger. You just build on top of, he goes back into blink. He can decide to go back into Greaves this game, back into Greaves, into Crest, and put that on this one hero that's just gonna. And then this cure is never gonna happen. And now you're stuck with the Rubik that's just looking at the. It's like, it's sure happening, guys, because that's my job in this game, and it's not happening. I'm just fade bolting
Which is also where the Undying pick, I think, comes in to maybe secure that these are fights that are going to happen. So now if you're playing on RP or playing on Empower, you're at least fighting into the Tombstone.
Yeah.
I get the pick, and also what you said. I think he suffers a lot from the skewer play and the fight being repositioned. Already now, LGD are probably thinking about objectives together. They want, that's how you're going to enable this Tombstone. That's how you're going to enable your two heroes to kind of punish this Magnus.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but we'll see. I'm still worried for LGD. Now I'm seeing things, and I'm seeing this Morphling ban. I think it would also be a good pick for them. They're also worried about like a Willow Morph combo, but it's good against Mag. It would be good with Undying. It's what they're looking for forcing objectives and things like this. I wonder if they're going to have a solid plan going into this, if they're drafting free, or if Shao 8 is also dealing with all this pressure that they might be feeling, being the favorites, having not lost many games before, and now losing games for like the first time. Ooh.
Again, this is, I think, it's dealing with the Magnus Blink again. They're worried about that skewer. I really like what you said, Seb, about maybe making a pivot on the Magnus style. I think the other thing that this hides is whether Undying is actually a core or not. Because I think that's really what they're thinking about here.
That's one thing. I think there's two ways here. If Spirit can play Mag mid, I think it's very interesting, this game. The Mag doesn't have to go into the Undying lane. Mag mid is Echo Saber Mag. He's just gonna blink, RP, kill. He doesn't cure back, you know, and he is not gonna care as much about what's being built, and they get also to counterpick the Spectre greatly on the lane. It's a possibility, but they could also decide to double down. They go for the Mag PA. I mean, I think they're thinking about the...
This dude's playing everything.
Yeah, everything. And the PA shard versus Spectre, crazy. You don't scale into this. He will pop him in a second with Empower and with the shard. And I'm sure, you know, Yotoro PA, for those that don't know Yotoro well enough, like, he is one of the greatest PA players ever. If you encounter him in the pub playing PA or watched him, this is his bread and butter. He's super comfortable.
He played it here. I forget who was playing against him. He got Rampage in that game with PA already at TI. So I mean, he is playing everything.
Spec.
He's literally playing every hero he can.
Spec is good here.
I am scared for them. I want them to bounce back.
I like LGD's draft more.
I want to see game 4. I want to see game 5.
I like LGD's draft more so far.
They have played so far Tiny on crack, you know, Tiny Ogre, Tiny Mag. They have played ET, you know, enabled ET that is also crushing the games. They have played Lycan. They have played these really powerful strategies. And so far, I don't see the multipliers here. I see the one Spectre, I see the one Undying, I see the one Bloodseeker, but I don't see the multipliers that LG are so good at. They're creating these strategies and they're buffing them so much that it just breaks the game. I'm maybe missing it, but so far I don't see the game being broken from LGD's side. So to me, Team Spirit has successfully pushed LGD out of their trademark this tournament.
I think Team Spirit's lineup also looks like it has a lot more potential. When you look at these fights and when you look at what's going on for LGD, tell me about what their gameplay is going to look like this game. How are they forcing a tower?
Sure.
How are they forcing
LGD need another
How are they forcing a fight this game? I don't like what's going on in the draft right now, where I
don't
see
like
that
the
they're
Bloodseeker
just
pick.
addressing, oh, they pick PA, oh, we feel bad, oh, we need a Rupture to try and deal with it. It makes not a lot of sense with the Spectre. It makes not a lot of sense with this Undying and Rubik. Maybe with the Rubik for the lane, but still, there are picks in the game that could maybe make this come more together, find a way to scale into them, win the fights, get the Roche, play some team fights to actually make it happen for your team.
So is that what you think they're lacking on the LGD side? Just need some so it's damage for objectives and maybe some more team fight.
Some way to force the fight. It can happen through objectives. It can happen through Roche. It can happen through catching them with a good spirit hero.
As for the last game, I'm going to try to make a case for LGD, for the LGD fans or the ones that are hopeful to see a game 4. They have very strong lanes. I mean, Bloodseeker versus PA, you know, I speak from experience. Like, as an offlaner, I can tell you this is a free lane. Yep. He's going to have the lane of his life, especially with the Rubik on this lane. You know, they did see the Magnus, and they decided to go with the Undying and the Spectre, so I can only assume that they're happy with this lane too. So now these are 2 side lanes, and they're going to get the last pick for nothing to say. He has proven that he can, you know, truly dumpster a lane if he's given the tools for it.
Tinker's still in the pool this game.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
I think he plays an insane Tinker.
They also have a way to force these fights. I mean, at the end of the day, they do have Rupture plus Tombstone.
I still want
that is a way to fix the fight
Spirit
somewhere, you know, and force them to fight into the Tombstone, give the Rubik freedom to position himself around the fight how he wants and gets his spells off. And, you know, and we all know what Xingqiu can do when he's enabled in these fights. There are ways for LGD to make that happen. I see the Tinker. Then the Tinker would actually, you know, Tombstone, Night Vision, Bloodseeker amplifying.
Yeah, that's
you know,
crazy.
I would just be worried about how are they forcing a fight with this Tinker? How are they actually catching a hero? It has to be the Rupture, it has to be the lift. I don't think it's the best and easiest ways to force fights.
Early on, Rupture, ATOS, they have to build on it.
ATOS would be a really good, it would be a really good timing for them.
They have to build on top of that. And I see how the Tinker makes all of it. Nothing to say, one of the best Tinker players in the world. Incredible Tinker, actually. So good on the hero. You get the Spectre with the Ags, you get the Dagger Vision, meaning you get.
Oh,
the
they
enemy
banned
hero's
an
vision.
Ember,
So
so I don't want
Tinker's
to
gonna
play
see
against
everything.
Ember, so I
He's
think
gonna
I'm
be
going to get the
amplified
Tinker.
by Blood Rage and
This
the
is good.
nighttime Tombstone Vision. Everybody's tanking the Tinker spells. Very beautiful pick, in my opinion, that can, once again, it might enable their entire lineup if they are willing to look at it.
What's left for Toronto here? So there's a lot of heroes that are banned. You have.
Do you feel like he needs like a preemptive Tinker counter though? Because when
He
you guys
has
are
to.
talking about Tinker, I
He
feel
might.
like
He might.
it seems so free. I mean, you guys
It's
are hyping
very
it up,
free
so.
right now.
He
It's
has
a
to
very
color
free
the
Tinker.
Tinker angle. He has to. But no Puck, no Storm, no Void Spirit, no Ember Spirit. I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, most of the heroes that he would want to pick are kind
Shit.
of gone.
Okay, that's a
Yeah,
Toronto
Void
hero,
Spirit
but
and-
it's not an inherent
Co-op? Oh,
Tinker counter. You
Invoker.
can catch him, but you don't stay on top of him.
Voker's not
And I
bad.
think to say, he was a Tinker spammer. When he was like a C pub star, he was one of those guys.
Yes, give us the NTS C Tinker. We want to see it. Don't go out without it. He
Come
is,
on.
You know, he is the king on this hero.
Hey!
Here it is.
There it is.
We
Does
might
this
get a
make
game
you
four.
just favor LGDs? Because I think this is the first game I've seen like their draft. It looks cohesive with this last pick.
I'm a huge Tinker believer. I believe that if you play this hero to the limit and you find ways to push
Oh,
his
this
time
will be a
into
good
this
game.
I think he's going to shine.
I think
you're going to see
I like
this hero
LGD's
popping off.
draft a lot now.
And he's going to be making Team Spirit run away. They're going to be dying from rockets. It could be a massacre. It always has the potential. This hero is so strong this patch, and yeah, one of the best Tinker players. I hope to see like, fireworks.
Yeah, regardless of what I want to see win TI, I want the game 4 at this point. So for this game, I'm all in LGD. I want them to take it. I want to see more Spirit. I want to see more LGD. I want to see more Dota, man. That's all I care about.
I want to see more Dota too. But
What do they do
I'm
about a
happy to
Tinker?
see
Literally, they
Team
have to
Spirit.
catch
I think you
him
guys have
with
shown well some incredible
Vortex,
games, and the
Invoker's
beauty of the game,
Vortex.
the beauty of these heroes and what you can actually make happen. So
Like,
either way, I'll be happy. For
I guess
Team Spirit,
Dark Willow,
but boy, I wanna see
stun,
more games.
but that's it. That's all they have. It's gonna be good. This Tinker gonna be blink blonking around.
You see it.
And the draft is finished, and we're going to head straight over to Casters with Insania and OD Pixel.
Thank you very much, Yowie. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 3 now of the Grand Finals. PSG LGD against Team Spirit. Team Spirit up at the moment, 2-0. One game away from potentially taking that championship spot. Insania, we heard from the panel there during the draft. They were they predicted it perfectly, this Tinker pick, and they were excited to see it. Could this be what allows PSG LGD to maybe turn the tides and get the momentum back under their grasps in this series?
I mean, I absolutely think so. Out of all the drafts that we've seen from them, this feels the most LGD. I felt like in the last game, they didn't really have a way to fight. I feel like LGD's like proven we're one of the best teams at fighting you. And I feel like in the last 2 games, they just didn't have a chance to do it. So I really like this draft from them, and I think they have a way to, you know, battle out against Spirit. But at the same time, I see a way for Spirit to deal with a Tinker. I don't think it's an uncountered Tinker. I just think of the way Yatoro plays. I could easily see him, you know, get on top of the Tinker and pick him off in a fight, come in from the sides with Meld, and, you know, read the movement correctly.
You know, just in the
one of the
interest of
themes for me
entertainment
about
here,
Team
I'm
Spirit
rooting
victories
for
has been
LGD
Vision.
in this
And
game.
Vision is the best way to
I
deal
want
with
Spirit to
Tinker.
win
This hero
overall, but
uses
I want
Vision
LGD
better
to
than
win this
most
game
heroes,
just so we get one more.
I think the Vision war that's going to happen between Spirit and LGD is going to be really interesting.
Already going to see both teams head to head it.
Mixie, that was
Sort
a
of catch
bad
me with them right.
Vortex.
And try and hide in the pit. Only the rocket starting to come out from nothing to say. As Team Spirit, they will back up in either side, able to get the grab that they wanted to potentially get that first blood. But let's see, as you say, definite potential here for PSG LGD and their lineup. But as we've seen so far, 2 games in which Team Spirit have looked to be completely in their comfort zone. And it does seem the pressure, it's certainly more so there for PSG LGD in this series.
Yeah, I absolutely think so. And I agree with something No-Tail said, where like if this game starts looking bad, if the early game doesn't really go their way, I could easily see some potential crumbling coming out from LGD. But I feel like they have the makings of a good draft. You know, when I look at it objectively, if this was like a first game of the series, I haven't seen either of these 2 teams play, I would have favored LGD's draft. I like what they're coming into this game with. They're setting up strong lanes, and they have Tinker to like kind of provide the damage for later team fights.
One thing, though, to me that sort of stands out looking at the lineup of PSG LGD, whilst they've definitely got a lot of heroes to create that vision, set up for the Tinker to go crazy in the team fight, sort of similar to, I believe, the Game 1 draft, there's not a lot of stuns.
Yeah, you're right about that. And I think the idea here for them is that you're not really going to be committing into fights. You're not jumping a hero and then just trying to stun him and lock him down and chase him down. You're rather trying to burst somebody really quick and then resetting out. So the idea of using Rupture and then dropping Tombstone is going to be their key way of team fighting, and then you're going to use Rubik primarily for counter initiation. So when somebody comes into your backline, or when somebody chases down the Bloodseeker, that's when you'll see the Rubik coming with lift. That's when he's going to come in with a clutch tornado, or something along those lines.
We'll see how these lanes end up panning out here in the early game. Yatoro on his PA, as we said, this time a hero that he has already pulled out on the main stage.
I love this from Yatoro. If we take a look at the bottom lane, he's so good at doing this. As soon as you see Xingqiu run for this block on the small camp, he doesn't care if he misses a creep or two. Just immediately runs over, makes sure they get that pressure. Xingqiu's immediately forced to TP out. So that's mana. That's a Fade Bolt that he's not going to be able to use on them. Plus he doesn't have a TP. So just really nice gameplay from Yatoro, helping out his position 5 player win these trades.
Even stepping up there, trying to get connection onto Xingqiu, but smartly keeping his distance. We'll have to watch out when the level 2s are hit. I mean, this lane in general, when you see the Bloodseeker Rubik, do you feel that that is a lane that the PA can struggle against, or is it not too bad?
I think it's the kind of lane where they can kill the Rubik. Oh, and here we go. This might be first blood.
They're going to try. They get into Thunder Strikes there, but Poshka. First blood for him down in this lane. The trades favoring them here between the supports.
Yeah, so if you think about how the lane is structured, Bloodseeker Rubik, they want to slowly like harass you out of the lane.
PSG, what are you doing?
Disruptor PA, it's a similar story. But Disruptor PA have kill threat on Rubik because the silence from Bloodseeker is so slow that he can't really save his Rubik if they go on him.
My goodness, look at this aggression in mid. And Toronto, Tokyo, really building back. Nothing to say.
Yep. He does have his bottle though, and the water runes are up, so he should be easily be able to run to the top one and pick it up for himself.
Spirit kind of looking kind of slappy
up
right
top,
now.
Collapse is taking a lot of pressure here from the Spectre Undying. I think the Spectre Undying is an interesting lane because you won't really see the Spectre connecting as much as the PA is to his carry and helping him, but he'll provide the vision from the dagger. There will always be that slow that enables Undying to get more hits in.
Sure, and you feel it's unlikely for the Mag and the Willow to ever really get on top of this Spectre in the lane?
I think, so the idea for the top lane is that the Undying's going to tank a lot of damage. He's going to be in your face. You're going to have to be hitting the Undying and dealing with his mana for the first portion of the game. And that will lead the Spectre to get a lot of farm for free. However, the Undying has an issue because he runs out of mana at some point and he runs out of healing. And usually when he does that, he's forced to reset back. And then Spectre can take some pressure. But so far, it seems like Y is doing a good job. He's just blocking out these camps, providing vision. But you see this, Mira's immediately on top of de-warding the ward. He reads it perfectly.
Yeah. Knew exactly where he was heading. Right, we'll go for the quick trip back to base here. I see mid. Toronto Tokyo is going to have to take the walk back, so a bit of space given to Nothing to Say as he is starting to get ahead in this matchup, getting a good few denies in against the Invoker.
Yep, and the Invoker's going to lose a full creepy over experience here, plus the bottle refill from Y. This is great gameplay from LGD, and I think this looks characteristic LGD, right? You expect to see them do these things where they're optimizing everything that's happening. Y runs in, drops a ward, denies himself the tower, blocks the Ancients, TP's mid, refills the bottle for Nothing to Say. This doesn't look like a phase team to me, you know? We were a little bit worried that maybe they're going to be feeling a little bit of tilt or pressure, but the way they're playing right now, looks like their head's in the game.
A solid start on the lane so far. Toronto Tokyo, he wants to try and play for the 4-minute rune, but won't manage to do so. Extra backup was on its way over for PSG LGD to keep control of that.
Yeah, so you notice both 4s are rotating for the runes, right? And in this situation, the Bloodseeker's pretty fine bottom. He can't really be harassed out of the lane because of how the Thirst functions, and he just keeps regaining HP for every last hit that he gets. Meanwhile, the Mag up top, who's laning against the Undying, runs into this impossible block where he can't really rock up to the lane and get gold. And I think as long as they play this rune game where they force the position 4 in Mira to rotate towards the middle lane, LGD's going to come out with a little bit of an edge out of the laning phase.
Oh, their core's definitely looking comfortable so far.
Yep. Asim and Poshka rotating over mid, setting up vision. There's so much vision around this middle lane for the Dire side. They don't want this Tinker to go down.
Yeah, almost impossible to close in on Nothing to Say with this sort of setup from the team. It's going to ensure that he does get this good start.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you take a look at the CS, you notice the Invoker's really falling behind. The Tinker almost has as many denies as the Invoker has last hit. So, like No Tail and Seb mentioned, right, this is one of the best Tinker players in the entire world. And he's living up to that praise that he received on the panel.
But would you imagine that, even though it did get through as the last pick, do you think it was something that Team Spirit would have had in mind? They knew that this was going to be, there was potential of this coming up as the last pick for PSG LGD.
If I'm being honest, I don't feel like they really addressed the Tinker in their draft. I think this Invoker was more like this is what we're going to go with, as Poshka's in trouble.
They're going to try and chase him down. He does get the kinetic field off. Yutoro tries to turn towards Fabian, but the backup's there from Way. He's trying to commit Yutoro, but can he get the kill in time? The stick charges. Yutoro's going to try and run him down, but Fabian is out to the side. Yutoro's not got the further vision. He is going to be able to jump out of the blood right, though. Over to the creep wave.
The zombie gives vision.
See if they can chase him under the tower. They can't. Oh, they can! Oh, they get him!
The zombie vision.
Oh, they still managed to see him there as Jinkyu reaches in with a hard-hitting Fate Bolt.
Actually, I do believe that was a thirst vision.
Oh, that's another.
And now Poshka. I mean, this is going to be potentially another one. Can they get him as well?
There's no man on the Rubik, but he has boots.
I mean, Jinkyu, he wants to dive in for this. He is taking quite a few tower hits here. Toronto Tokyo will TP over. Jinkyu, he'll get punished for this dive. See if Toronto Tokyo can find anything more here. Why still under the tower? No TP, no mana. So they do dive in to get an extra kill on the Disruptor Poshka, but they lose 2 heroes for it. Toronto Tokyo.
I don't think that was worth
Pretty
it.
nice kills for him as well, considering the slower start he was having in comparison to nothing to say in the
Yeah, I wanna
mid. So
give
being
the
able to
mid
make that
2
move and pick up
kills
2
there.
kills on the Invoker, that's going to get his early game back on track.
Yeah, absolutely. But we touched on this in the VP versus Team Spirit draft, how it's very important that you get earn charges on the Invoker, right? This is what enables the Invoker to play his game and be faster on the map. Unfortunately, he has not yet bought his earn, so despite getting these 2 kills, he doesn't fulfill the objective of getting to earn charges in the early game. So while it is good for them, it also has its drawbacks, and this is in large part due to how well Nothing to Say played his lane out.
There's been a lot less focus now around top as Collapse happily farming here in the lane against Armate, getting just as much as the Spectre. And that's got to be
That's pretty good.
After Game 2's
Pretty
performance,
impressive.
probably something to fear if you're PSG LGD. Collapse, I believe, ending 2-0 and 20 in Game 2 on his Mac.
Yeah, absolutely. Middle lane, Nothing to Say is getting pressured. But you see here what Seb and No-Tail talked about. They don't really have the damage to punish him. They don't have the tools to really kill him. The Invoker's good at catching him, but he's not a hero that can stay on top of him and keep
I wanted to
outputting
say,
damage,
like,
because
oh,
as
they
soon as
shouldn't
you
have
use your
dived
spells,
there.
that's
Then
kinda
I
all
was
you
like,
have
oh,
on
but they
tank.
can't have known someone was going to rotate in. But when they dived like they did,
And
like,
in the bottom lane, you notice
surely
here
that's
how
inevitable in like a
Yatoro
game
doesn't
like
feel
this.
as safe sitting
They're
on
not
the
going
lane.
to let
When the
you
wave is
just
pushed out, he's forced to move away
dive
from
in
there
like
because
that.
the Rupture's up now, and they have the ability to go on him. So you can look at Team Spirit's positioning. They're expecting something to happen down here.
They certainly are. Yutoro just trying to farm with the dagger from the Blur.
Invoker's resetting back on the lane as well in the middle lane to set up for a potential TP.
Let's see if Jinkyu and Fabian feel that they can strike. They're being careful. They know that a reaction will come out if they decide to try and dive in on Yutoro, so they won't fall for it.
But yeah, so far you notice as soon as the wave goes out of his tower, he's forced off. And Spectre's just comfortably sitting top. He knows that he can lane against the mag at this point and doesn't really feel the pressure. However, you know, despite all of this, Spirit does have a slight gold lead all around.
Incredibly close though. PSG LGD, they're bringing extra numbers down bottom white. He's ready to join. They want to dive in for Yutoro. They commit
No.
with the rupture hit. Horn over as well. They're in onto the PA. Yutoro will fall. See if they can get Maposhka as well with the 4 of them and the
That's when you
tombstone
want to
down.
dive
They
it, when you've
certainly
got
can.
all
The
of them.
pressure and mounting from PSG LGD down on this bottom lane. They know that they can get in and get away with this, especially with the global backup of armor.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the strengths of Undying in the early game, because once you place that tombstone, the enemy team doesn't really want to TP in. They couldn't really respond with their heroes the way they wanted to. Mira started his TP, but immediately cancelled it, recognizing that, you know what, I can't TP into this tombstone. It's not going to be a good fight for me.
See Collapse, trying to play around with Jinkyu. They do have further members coming up, Team Spirit, off the back of those deaths down bottom. You know, Yutoro, he'll move himself up to the top half of the map to farm up
Rubik
here.
said
Tier
nope.
1 town will be lost. PSG LGD with an early objective.
Yep. They're just evening out the map, swapping sides here. You see even a scan going out on the trees, making sure that nothing's here setting up. And one of the best ways to deal with Tinker is that you want to try to get these early towers, because Tinker abuses the towers on the map in order to fight. It provides him with safety, a place that he can TP to, come in and out, use all of his mana, go back to base, do it again. So it's important for Team Spirit to try to get the towers early, because once Tinker comes online, it's going to be very difficult for them to do it.
Those
See
are
what they want to
facts.
head over next. Spirit staying together. I'll take some of the jungle away from PSG LGD.
Yep, so Tinker just finished up the blink. This is going to be their first timing to fight. You have Rupture up. Look for that Rupture into Tombstone combination once more, with a Tinker TPing in and dropping lasers and rockets.
We'll have to be done without the horn. That's still out for about 80 seconds.
Looks like they're playing it patient. They don't feel rushed to make this move yet.
Right,
Yeah,
I'm
this
gonna
is
go and
another
grab a
of
drink,
the
but I'll
nice
still be
parts
listening,
about
guys.
Undying.
Don't
Unlike
worry.
most 5s, he has the ability to farm jungle camps quite easily because he just drops a tombstone, and the tombstone deals damage over time and spawns all these zombies that allow him to farm these camps and get some extra gold. So he's closing in on a 6.
It's alright. The space is here. Clearing up the stacks. Keeping his farm on par with that of Arme. Having an equally good time, of course, building straight into the stats right now. Falcon Blade into the S&Y, he has the buff up with the Empower.
Yep. As soon as that Empower runs out, look at Collapse. He immediately runs over. And this goes back to what Seb talked about, right? This game is more about the Empower. They're not playing around the Skewer in the same way that they were in the previous games. As the smoke coming down bottom.
So if the 3 members of Spirit can find some action, they do have 6 on the supports. Static Storm and the Fear ready to play with. PSG LGD, they're doing a great job of avoiding this. Arme is down here on his own.
Yeah, it looks like they're waiting for the haunt, but Arme is about to get caught. Spirit have sniffed him out.
Let's see if the 3 have the damage. Try and set up with the root, but not going to get the connection. The glimpse back is there into the Static Storm. TPs are coming over. Arme, is he tanking up to live through the Static Storm? He's still alive, and in fact, he's able to turn. The Tornado does catch him, but is it enough damage? Arme will live. And it will be Spirit that lose the 2 arrows off the back of that attempt.
Appreciate you.
Yep, and in the meanwhile, you see, as always, Team Spirit really smart about their map movement. Yatora moves into the enemy jungle, starts farming here. Tinker's forced to come top and defend the tower. And despite losing their 2 supports, they're applying the pressure. And whenever Tombstone's used, you're going to see LGD kind of wait up. So this is 40 seconds that they know Yatora is most likely going to be allowed to farm pretty freely. And that's why he's up here in the top lane playing so aggressively. Collapse is the next target.
Trying to chase Faith Beyond. Not going to get in range for the Rupture. Collapse into the trees, hard to find. They won't get the setup. About halfway towards his Blink Dagger Collapse.
Yep, much better vision game this time around for LGD. Their wards are not getting dewarded the same way they were in the previous games. They actually have quite a lot of vision here to play with, and a lot more information than we've seen them have in the previous 2 games of the series.
That PA pretty fat now, though.
There's a calm start here once again, but very close. 13 minutes in, less than 1k in it. PSG LGD, despite the 2 rough games they've had so far against Spirit, seemingly regaining their control that's managed to drive them straight through the upper bracket into this grand finals. See if they can keep it up. Bottom, Spirit. Start for a bit of a poke onto Y. Just the 2 of them is not enough to deal with the Undying. Not going to look to commit anything else here, Spirit. They know there's potentially backup behind the Undying.
Yeah, and the Tinker's deciding to go for the Aghanim Scepter. The way this works is whenever he lasers someone, they lose a chunk of their maximum HP. So versus these type of heroes that Team Spirit has, he's going to be very, very quick at killing them out.
Look at this quick move. Yatora, he's another Faith Beyond. They're looking to try and burst the Bloodseeker, but the counter
Oh, there's Specky Spec. That's gone bad for Spirit.
He's away, but Collapse. There'll be no escape for him.
Yeah, just great presence here from LGD. Now they're the ones that are allowed to respond, and it seems like they understand now how Spirit's playing the pace of the map, and they understand what Spirit wants to do. They're going to make assumptions based on your movement, and it feels like LGD are getting a better and better read of it. And yeah, I think that's largely due to the fact that they're able to establish more vision on the map this time around.
It's alright. Back to the farm. Wants to at least get his S&Y done before turning up to the fights. But even with just that, the BKB may be something that he wants to hold back until he has as well. Tinker Laser will
needs to
never
get
be
this
fun
tower
to
to
play
deal with the
against as a
Tinker, but
PO
they're
when
going to
he's
get
trying
in
to
trouble
focus
here.
targets. Bottom lane.
Oh!
With a Static Storm. This time round, do they have enough damage? They've got the catch onto Arme. He's trying to get away, but he will fall. This time round, Spirit, they'll get the big kill, but it has cost them both supports' lives. We'll see Toronto Tokyo trying to escape, but they got any way to find him here.
There's one more sentry.
He's into the trees. He's out of the
There is a lift and a glimpse.
Ooh. Not quite able to get round to the trees to get that set up as Toronto Tokyo makes it out of there. They lose 2 supports, they get the Spectre. You happy with that if you're Spirit?
I think Spirit's okay with it. I think this is like, LGD recognize that our Tinker is so strong right now. There's no real counterplay. Even if the PA gets on top of him right now, the PA doesn't deal enough damage to burst him. So I think for LGD, you want to try to abuse this timing where your Tinker's very strong and he's outputting damage. And Ahmed dying once or twice here or there while he doesn't have Haunt isn't the worst for them, as long as they get some sort of response in return.
Back to the farming, and 800 or so, the axe to be done on Arme. They are on track to hit a very good timing. And we've seen already the responses from PSG LGD each and every time Spirit try and make a move have been top tier. But now the move that Spirit can make, it's going to be much more deadly. Collapse, the Blink Dagger on its way over to be in his hands. We saw what he was achieving last game when he was jumping all over the place. Let's see if he can pull it off again and start to literally tear PSG LGD apart with his abilities to just grab them and throw them around the battlefield.
Yeah, absolutely. But this game is much more challenging than the previous ones. There's going to be rockets flying at you. There's going to be tombstone zombies. You have many things that are going to get in your face, as well as the Bloodseeker Bloodright. So he's going to have to both navigate these spells and make sure that he doesn't get caught before that. Plus, on top of that, there's a Haunt, right, to provide all this vision for LGD. So I feel like the way the game is shaping up, it's falling a lot into Yatoro's hands. And he's proven that he can do it.
Yes.
But his farm and the way he plays his teamfight out is going to be very key in order for them to be able to stand a chance against LGD.
No, absolutely. As I say, this BKB, if he can get this quickly, that's going to be a huge nuisance. Not too much they can do through it. The Rupture being the main one. But if the setup's there and Collapse, Maposhka, Mira, they're able to hold the heroes in position. This PA is not going to have to step around the fight too much.
Yep.
As long as they're able to stand in position and get the hits in, they can have the heroes brought to them.
Absolutely. Ahmed finished up his Aghanims, and once they get this timing coming,
This is a
you see
good
LGD
game.
immediately smoke up.
If they can get the
check
PA
moving
here.
forwards. They drop a sentry to block the Ancients. They know the PA is playing in
Yeah,
this area.
if they can get PA.
Unfortunately, they just made the wrong guess. So you either here are going to assume that he's at the two camps up in where they are right now, or that he's playing at the Ancients. But look at Yatoro. He sniffs it out.
It's so hard to catch this man.
Nice.
He's just always a step ahead.
I mean, the way they're reading the map is just very intelligent. I think they realize when the Spectre runs back to base that, hey, something's probably happening, right? He's not just running back to base because he wants to. They know that the item is very likely coming. And then when all the heroes then disappear, that is like another sign for Yatoro to be like, okay, I can't show.
We're going to see the attempt onto Toronto Tokyo down bottom. Azame, he'll jump over. Sentry still down. Toronto Tokyo.
That sentry from earlier.
Trees, they'll stay on top. Same time over towards the mid. They'll lose faith beyond. The counterplay was made by Spirit. So the TP out as well. Mira gets back to safety. So 1-for-1 across the map here.
2 seconds for the skewer. Flips.
Oh, here we go.
Back.
They've got the dagger slow to set it up. He's able to
There
dodge
he
the
is.
nicely so that he didn't get hit. Could still get the blink off. But now Arme, he's ready to
Undying
come
is
back in.
back.
Off to the side. The rocket's not
Here's the
enough.
Tinker.
Jumps in to finish him off. The fear, the counterplay here from Spirit. Nothing
That
to say.
Tinker's
It's gone
massive.
underneath the tower. Have they got enough damage here from the Willow and the Magnus?
Oh,
Them underneath the
the
tower. Nothing to
PA.
say. Surely going to go down. He will collapse. Skewer over into the trees. Collapse. He's still alive here. Can they quite find him? Wise coming back over. Steps into Collapse. Finally, they burst him with a paintball. But this battle underneath the tower, it's costing PSG LGD lives as well. The route down, catching the two, pushing them back into it with a deafening blast.
Spec can't go down
He's
here.
going to turn back over towards Toronto Tokyo. He's going to jump in, close the gap.
Oh.
Kamira and Maposh, can they help him out? They cannot. Are they able to finish off Toronto Tokyo as well?
LGD smashed that one.
I love the way Nothing to Say played that team fight. He recognized that if this PA is dead, there's no damage coming out of the Spirit draft. So trading his life for PA is really what enabled this entire fight to happen. You'll see a lot of Tinker players just, they're like, I'm not going to go in, I might die. But he recognized that my death is worth it if I can take the PA with me. Just beautifully executed there from LGD. Ame also, small thing in the fight, TP's back to base, heals up, uses Aghanim Scepter to jump back into the team fight and get those last couple of kills.
And I mean, it's crazy. We're seeing the power of that Shadow Step. He's in and out consistently, that 30-second cooldown. Easily able to do it a couple of times in a team fight.
Yeah, Mira, nice play. Knows there's no stuns that can catch him here, so there's no skewer on the Rubik. He's not going to get caught during that. We have another big interesting item coming up. There's going to be the Holy Locket for the Undying. And once he has Soul Rip maxed out, okay, he already has Soul Rip maxed out. Together with the Holy Locket, this healing is ridiculous.
I think this is how
so
GD's
basically the way
game.
it works is the more units there are, the more you're going to heal. And with Tombstone and the way it functions, you just spawn a bunch of extra units.
Magnus just
You're
ain't
almost always
effective
gonna get
enough
that
against
maxed
this
out heal.
lineup.
So any sort of healing tool, together with Spectre's Dispersion, just deals incredible amounts of damage in the team fights. I feel like LGD's draft is really coming together now.
Yeah, absolutely. So in a way that we just haven't seen from them so far in this series. Mid lane,
Tinker again.
and
What are you going to do about him?
Tokyo will be able to turn with a quick tornado. The attention from PSG LGD will turn over towards Mira. Into the Shadow Realm, though. They still want to dive this, dropping down the Tombstone, just full aggression for PSG LGD.
They don't give
past
a
the tier one
fuck.
tower.
Look at that
The
Tinker. They've got
Rockets,
nothing
they're coming
for
in
it.
on Toronto, Tokyo. It's got
This draft is
straight on top of it.
disgusting.
That's just beautiful. They're abusing these vision tools so nicely. You have the Tombstone.
What do you do when
Bloodseeker.
there's a Tinker
so
that
many
good
ways
in a
to get vision
Spectre?
in these team fights.
I mean, this Arme Spectre's looking pretty spooky. He's picking up the kills, the involvement here. PSG LGD just fighting in a way that we haven't seen from them so far in this series. We'll see the jump forward onto Fabian underneath the tower. We go for the hill comes out. He is trapped in the static zone, trying to run, but the Thunderstrike finishes him off. TP's coming in for Spirit.
Like,
trying to
you haven't got an
down
answer for that Tinker. It doesn't matter what happens in the rest of the fight.
He's able to get away. Oh, that was close.
See if they can pick up Mirror as well. They can.
This Tinker.
Nothing to say. In with the laser. And out he goes as well, picking up the action. 2K lead now for PSG LGD. They're starting to break down Spirit.
Yep, they absolutely are. But a very, very important item is about to come into the game, and that is the PA BKB. He's 100 gold off of it, and he's going to have it in the next team fight. And the way this changes the game is the Tinker can no longer just laser the PA and force him to reset out. Yatoro's going to have 9 seconds where he decides what he wants to do. And if those 9 seconds get him the right kills, that's going to be everything they need in order to win the fight.
And during that time, you know, Yatoro, where's he looking first? Is it sort of this Tinker? Does he have to just commit onto Nothing to Say to eliminate the threat from for the rest of his team?
I mean, the ideal scenario, right, is that you kill the Tinker with the PA BKB, because the only thing really covering you against the Tinker is that BKB. Once that BKB runs out, you're going to see the Tinker lasering you, rocketing you, refreshing, laser rocket again. So the ideal scenario for him is he's allowed to meld and kind of hang around the fight as it breaks out, and then once the Tinker commits in, that's when he jumps.
We've got a smoke coming in from PSG LGD. They are very ready to fight.
This is going to be a good
Especially
fight
with
for
Arme heading back
PSG.
to base to reset. He's ready to
Oh.
shadow step in if he's needed.
Tombstone on the high ground.
Wow.
Collapse is just TPing out.
They were too
Excellent
slow to get the
kinetic field from
Magnus there.
Beboshka stops them from being able to chase in. Put a stop to the escape here from Spirit.
Looks like Spirit might want to chase into this though, but they should recognize that Tombstone's been dropped on the high ground, and it might be a hard fight for them.
I mean, Yatoro, he's going to commit with the BKB. Just goes to work straight away onto Y. He should be able to get this. Yeah, Y's dead for sure. The crit comes in. Y will fall.
LGD are hanging around though. They recognize the importance of this BKB.
Yeah, they've got a bit of a window now to maybe punish if Spirit stick around, but they won't. Back behind the tier 2 tower, Spirit will hold back.
LGD just need to keep farming.
Tense game. This BKB really is going to be important. So using the first 9-second charge for the Undying, it's okay, but it needs to lead to something. You know, this opens up some time. This gives them some time to farm. Hopefully they can deward some of the vision that LGD are playing with. And if they manage to do these things, and they can reset the map to a position where they can farm up and they can get to the PA shard, they can get these items that the PA needs in order to punish the LGD draft, then it's all good. But if those BKB charges get wasted for support kills that don't lead to more, then it's problematic for them.
PSG LGD, they're trying to sneak the Roshan. Won't
They're
be the
gonna get
quickest though, and already actually deciding that they don't want to spend any further moments committing. A Spirit potentially around the area, and they are. Spirit more than happy to fight. Link RP at the ready. The big ult Sarah for PSG LGD though as well. Haunt good to go again for Arme. Few hundred gold away from the Manta style as well.
Yeah, Y leading the charge. All he needs to do is get that Tombstone down before the fight starts, and he's going to do it as soon as the smoke pops.
He's going to pop it down immediately to see what he can find. Will just be Mirror. The Shadow Realm and a TPL.
Darkwill is such a good
And
hero.
now no Tombstone for the fight.
Yeah, but he does have that level 10 talent. This was recently added. The minus 15 seconds Tombstone cooldown makes it less of a committal when you use it.
Well, Toronto Tokyo. He's going to end up walking into the Bloodseeker mid. Fate Beyond. Just turns straight away upon him. Toronto Tokyo was not prepared for that at all. Just standing there in the mid, and Faith Beyond finds a very tasty surprise.
And
Reckon
now,
Roche
if
now.
the Undying would have had that Tombstone ready, he would have had that ulti ready, you could have seen LGD potentially poking at the Roche. But what they ideally want is for... okay, they actually already do have the Mantle Inspector, so never mind. But that is a big Roche tool. Once you get Mantle Inspector, you have the Desolate to deal true damage to the Roche, and then it goes on very quickly. But they're happy with the pace of the game right now. They're happy with how it's playing out.
You see
Shard
collapse.
finished on PA.
He's coming across this tree line. He knows that Nothing to Say is playing here behind the tower.
Whoa.
He's going to try for the catch.
This guy's
Nothing
5 billion
out of
IQ.
range.
And power stolen by Rubik as well, by the way. So the Spectre is now matching the PA's farm speed.
About 2k in it at the moment between Arme and Yatoro. But definitely having that ability on their side as well will help him close the gap. Online for the Skadi next after the Manta.
Yep, intense game. Both teams.
Cassie, if
just
Team
holding their
Spirit
high
win
ground,
this,
understanding where they're strong.
they've
Neither of
won
them
the
willing
best
to
of
fight
five,
into the team's vision.
and they
If
get
you look at how Wise positioned, he's
$80
standing
million
right outside
for
of
the
that
$5
ward
million.
until he's ready to run in.
LGD have to win 3 games in a row
Fight
to
the
reverse sweep.
On the low ground, Tombstone dropped. As soon as it's out, Team Spirit, they'll retreat.
Yep. I think this is a very intelligent thing that LGD have recognized in this game. They've been dominated in vision for 2 games straight, and they feel like, you know what, maybe they're better at warding than me. How do I solve it?
Or
Well,
collapse.
pick heroes like a vision.
He's going to look to get the grab on the fake behind the BKB's popped. He's going to look down the RP, catches the 2, got Sunstrike comes in.
But that's
they
the
kill off
Tinker.
Fake Beyond. The static storm is onto Arme, but Yatoro's going to look to bail out, collapse as well, go for the TP away, gets out. They all get out on Spirit.
Oh, Zenku just barely missing the RP on the PA there. That would have been a massive kill. But you see this from Spirit, right? As soon as that BKB is ticking low, he has to TP out of the fight.
Yeah, they know exactly when to sort of just get out of there.
Yeah.
They get their kill, they get their trade. They know not to push it for anything more. Team Spirit knowing the exact moment to call it quits and reset.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the difference between the
Yatoro's
games
playing
that
this
we
game
play and the
excellent.
games these guys play.
But I do worry
They know
once
when
this
to
BKB
just
starts
get
ticking
out. We'll
the
just all
Tinker's
fight
closing in
until
on a
we're
hex,
dead.
right? So even
That's
if
something
you're
I need to
potentially
learn
jumping on
in
it,
my
it's gonna
Dota
be hard.
gameplay more. It's
You
just
see
like,
Yatoro's also buying
when a
that
fight's
Dazzler.
going
It's not
bad,
a
just
basher.
TP out.
It's not a tool item that will allow him to
Don't sit and
necessarily
wait.
kill the Tinker if he has that hex.
They're going to go for the Roche now. They know there's no RP.
Yep.
So if they have the damage to take this out and see if Spirit still want to try and make a jump into them.
Yeah, so between the laser, the Mantle Spectre, the Undying damage
Gonna
amplification.
get the fear quite nicely timed. Roshan is very low. Is there any potential for a steal?
Yeah,
Yatoro?
absolutely. Yatoro might go.
He's not able to get in. He's not able to get in. Arme gets the kill. The Aegis on the Spectre now. Spirit, they've got to be cautious.
Nah,
Yatoro
Tinker time.
pops the BKB, but he's already been burst so low. Throw out the daggers, but they're surrounded by PSG LGD. Maposhka as well,
Tinker.
caught in the river. They couldn't make the jump in time, and Yatoro just getting burst so heavily before he could actually get the BKB off there.
Yep. Excellent gameplay from LGD right now. They're banging on all cylinders.
They are. We did not see anything close to this in the first 2 games. PSG LGD finding their confidence, their fire, as they're hitting back hard here in this 3rd game.
Yeah, absolutely. I just feel like the way that they've approached Vision this game is just so smart. I think this is what they were missing in the first 2 games. These tools that provide them with Vision, and the adaptation to recognize that is amazing.
And just Arme jumping around the map collapse this time round. The damage too overbearing from Arme and his illusions.
All right, so for the side of Spirit here, I think it's getting increasingly difficult. You're starting to feel the pressure of the Tinker. You recognize that, you know what, there's that Hex, there's that Aghanims, and once my BKB's out, I'm not really sure how to fight into these heroes. And we haven't really seen Toronto Tokyo in this game. He hasn't really had a game, so this Tinker pick from PSG LGD, it's played out beautifully.
It's definitely turning into a game where when you look at the farm on the course, a lot is on Yatoro's shoulders, whereas on the side of PSG LGD, the wealth very evenly split between Nothing to Say and Arme, both of these cores, and just in combination with one another. Spectre, Tinker, nobody wants to play against a good, incredibly fun one of those. In mid lane is watching Q. He's in, using the RP to catch Yatoro, completely off guard. He wasn't ready for that at all. We'll now see them try and turn towards Faith Beyond, but the Soul Reveal comes out. The Meteor crashing down on the Bloodseeker. They find him in return. Mirror.
Where is
Tinker?
Tinker?
Wide, trying to look towards him, but the field holds back the Undying. Mirror gets away. But a quick move there from Xingqiu.
Yeah, there's still the Haunt ready though if they want to look for more.
See, jump over towards Toronto Tokyo. He's out of mana, he's out of luck.
Toronto
Arme
Tokyo having a stinker.
continuing to be an absolute beast this game.
And the team fights are just so hard for Spirit, and especially if Yatoro isn't there to play the fights for them. They really need him. What a beautiful initiation from the Rubik there with the RP. You know, whiffed the one earlier up top, but gets the more important one here mid.
I mean, they're down 8k at the moment. How on earth do they just approach any sort of team fights now at this stage with the Spectre just jumping into their faces? And as you say, the vision, the counter abilities from PSG LGD to just disrupt any sort of move or jump that Spirit are trying to make themselves. It seems that this time round, Spirit, they're the ones in the
Spirit
impossible
have no
position.
mobility.
Yeah, I think they're off balance.
Like,
Right? They feel
PSG have
they
got
just retired
Tinker,
Florian, playing off of vision
Spectre,
advantage, having information
Bloodseeker.
advantage.
They
In
can
this
be
game,
anywhere they
don't.
need to be.
They have one Tinker ward in an area where they can't really punish Tinker. That's far up top. They're not really going to bring their heroes to that side of the map. And then in the bottom area, the only ward that they have to fight around is also an area that you won't really see LGD approaching.
We'll see this move mid. Atos into the rupture. Toronto Tokyo in trouble. They'll put the BKB. We'll see Arme heading on top of him. We'll get glimpsed back. And we'll get the space for Toronto Tokyo to stand his ground. The rupture to wear off. Looking for setup on the side. They get the catch onto White. Yatoro, he'll commit. Jumps in. Does get caught up on it.
But again, you go anywhere, you jump in on... Oh! PA!
Over towards Fabian he goes. He won't chase further. The Sunstrike just off the mark.
Oh!
Fabian will live. But so will Yatoro. That time getting so close once again to being burst. The life still coming in big. Did just grab that Paladin sword before that last play. Almost certainly saving his life there with a big burst heal through the crits.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, where did that healing come from? I did not see that coming. So yeah, that does make a lot of sense. And he gets that second hex off. That's the one
Yeah,
team
that's
fight.
scary.
It's really coming down to, you know, those micro decisions that you make in these team fights. He thought he could get the burst damage out in time. Seemed like the wrong choice this time around.
I mean, 32 minutes in, PSG LGD still an incredibly comfortable position. Look at the map control as well. They've only lost one tower so far in this 32 minutes. Very impressive control and just
Well, nice to see Magnus
to almost
losing.
play a different game that they would have wanted to. It was clear that Spirit
They
came
should have
into this
mixed it up.
wanting to deal with PSG
Like, you
LGD
can't
the
win
same way they
twice
have
with
done in the
Magnus
first two
and
of
then
this series.
expect to be able to run him a
It's
third
not
time.
worked this time. Spirit, we're going to have to see something different from them. Something that we have seen before in previous series, but not something they've necessarily brought out today.
Yeah, and if you click on Yatoro, you're going to notice that he's feeling the pressure of the Tinker. That's a refresher queued up.
All right.
And if you think about
Second
how PA
place
works,
is 5
that's
mil,
really mainly
first
for the
place is
BKB.
18
He
million.
feels like he needs that extra duration of Black King Bar in order to be
For this grand
survivable in these
final.
fights and win the game. It's a really, if it works out, this will be a genius item. I'm really interested to see how it plays.
Focus around the mid lane here for Spirit. Try and
Oh, what a play by Y. He put his courier on the hill to scout out the ward.
Collapse is going to still get the jump on him, but immediately the telekinesis comes out for Jinkyu. Catching Collapse in the combo. Collapse
Yatoro can't do that.
He'll turn over towards Arme, but Arme just jumping all over the place. Yatoro has to go for the BKB TBL. Collapse goes down. Yatoro will be able to save himself.
They don't have horn.
They're looking to see if they can chase for more. Fabian trying to run down Toronto Tokyo. The Invoker just to
That's
speed
it, like,
himself.
PSG's so
Managed to
mobile, it's
break
like, you
away.
think you've got a
What
pick,
an
oh,
unbelievable
fucking
play by
Specs
Y,
there,
though. He just
Jink is
put his
there.
courier on this hill, waiting for that ward to come out, recognizing that if they smoke, middle lane's where they're going to go.
I know they're going for more. They're ready to try and get the jump in onto Yatoro, but Yatoro blinking straight over to the safety of Mirror on the high ground. Means they won't get a further catch in. PSG LGD there now look to back off. Still 30 seconds without
I'm surprised they
collapse.
haven't pushed down more towers with Tinker.
Yep, the pressure is on. We see nothing to say. Buying that Aeon disc. He was queuing up the BKB, recognizing though, the problem for me is not really the magic damage. It's potentially getting locked down by the PA and getting bursted. So Aeon disc will solve that problem for him. And their items are just gearing them up to not die. You see also, same thing for Ame. He knows that PA doesn't really want to buy an MKB. It's not an item you traditionally see on the PA. It forces PA to deviate from a standard item build. So buying that butterfly here is going to force the PA to play his game. And now the PA is suddenly reacting to the Spectre's item instead of the other way around.
Because what do you do in this situation now, Yatoro? What is the call with his next item?
It's a hard decision, right?
Yeah.
And this is what LGD are doing so well. They're forcing you into a position where you might make a mistake. Maybe he buys the wrong item. Maybe he now decides to go for the MKB, but then his BKB is too short to fight. Or you're just making this problematic for Team Spirit. You want to make it as hard as possible for Yatoro to do what's right.
He's even thinking about the Ags as well. A lot of options here for Yatoro.
Yeah, a difficult choice. I don't know what the right one is.
We'll see if he does either.
That's got to be
Very
so
tough
stressful.
Place to play from.
Yeah.
13k. Both nothing to say, and Arme's power just continuing to grow.
And we've talked about this a lot, but you know, Roshan's about to spawn. Heroes start moving over to the top side, secure that area. Y already has the ward down. Notices there are no heroes there.
Collapse is going down
where
again.
Spirit
This
are,
poor
and they can get smoke
Magnus.
over.
Justice for Magnus. He's done for.
He's out
Who
with
did
a
they go
blink.
for instead?
Same can't be said from Miposhka though.
They could have got
Disruptor will
that.
die.
They could have got that. Magnus there, I swear.
Mirror and
They're
Yatoro,
not
this
steal.
is a bit of a spooky place to be. Yeah, they'll have a poke and then immediate TP out. They're not messing around. They know how quick PSG LGD is going to be with these responses.
How do they TP that quick?
He's on the
What does he
cliff.
shout like?
Nothing to
Bot.
say. He's quite happy to join him.
Oh,
Not
this
really quite sure what was
Magnus
going on there. Maybe he was
outpicked.
attempting to D-ward while he saw the hero's bottom and saw the TPs on the tier 1 bot tower.
This guy is.
Roshan has
I've
gone.
seen Tinkers,
Click
then
on
there's
Y,
this
he has everything
Tinker.
ready. Tombstone ready. Ulti
My
ready.
guy is
This Rosh is going to go down
microing.
extremely quickly as soon as Ame connects over.
I mean, in 50 seconds without collapse, it's unlikely they're going to be able to do anything without him alive. Is there any world that they buy back to contest this, or do you just let this go?
I feel like based on the way they're positioned, it might be hard to get there in time.
Yeah.
So the buyback option probably is not there. It seems like Yatoro now has seen this Tinker buying Day on disc, so what does he do? He buys the appropriate item to response. He's going to go for the Nullifier.
All right. So many choices, and Yatoro, he's got to make the right one.
I think Team Spirit have recognized that as long as this Tinker's alive, there's no way that we're going to win the long fight. And we're going to constantly be forced to TP out as soon as Yatoro's BKB ends. And for our Team Spirit, I think the way that you need to fight here is you need to set it up in a way where you initiate, force the Tinker to show himself, and then have Yatoro go in. And at the same time, flip side for Team Spirit, for PSG LGD, you know that your 4-man is stronger. If both Yatoro and the Tinker stay out of the fight, you have the advantage. So just don't show nothing to say too early in a team fight. Allow your team to play the game 4v4, and then come in and beat the PA as soon as he commits.
Again, falling back into a bit of a peaceful era here for Team Spirit, at least, where they don't have any interest in meeting PSG LGD head-to-head whilst there is the Aegis on Ame.
And for the first time in this game, Spirit has finally been able to establish some sort of vision in the bottom area of the map. We noticed them doing this time after time. When they fall behind, they like to take over the enemy triangle. They feel like it's a comfortable place for them to fight in. And even in this game, you notice it. Here we go again. Up into this Radiant triangle, or Dire triangle. Wait for the Tinker to show up. If the Tinker comes to that wave, they're going to be right on top of him. But it seems like Nothing to Say has played plenty of Tinker games.
He
Recognizes that this is the only way I might get caught.
Yeah, he's got a lot under his belt here, Nothing to Say. As Ame, a quick jump over to the bottom lane, adding another kill to his scoreboard. 9, 1, and 15.
This spec is massive.
Yeah.
So is the
And
Tinker.
interestingly
Look at
enough, he's
that.
gone for the Haunt Illusion damage on 25.
We'll see here. An attempt of a play. Yatoro is going to get caught out by the bash. And he's got to get out of it. Yatoro, he'll go for the BKB TP out. The disarmament is there out
Yatoro's
of the Spectre, so
BKB
no
is
chance of a
done
bash.
for.
As Yatoro will get out the same. Not to be said for Toronto Tokyo, though.
Oh
As
my
Nothing to Say has his
goodness.
number.
This
Nothing to
Invoker
Say
in the
has
bin.
really turned it up this game. I mean, I'm really impressed with his Tinker decision making. It's just
Yeah, no.
very,
I'm
very
sure.
intelligent.
I'm
Has
sure.
all kind
I'm
of
sure
cards
he would
to play for
absolutely
games, I think. And the way
melt
he
me in
team
any
fights,
game I
he
play.
knows what to
No,
wait
yeah.
for. He
No
knows who to look
disrespect
for.
to Toronto Tokyo.
This is a completely different PSG LGD
It really is.
compared to the first two games.
It really, really is.
He's
looking
just the
fantastic.
Tinker
This
just
is
counters
the
him so
power that
hard.
we've seen from PSG LGD in the series before, in this run in the upper bracket. And it's coming out just where it's needed the most. They were knocked down hard in the first two games, and I think a lot of people were definitely going to be interested to see if they could somehow regain that control. It's not an easy place to be in, as you said. For them, the pressure incredibly high in this. They will not accept anything less than first place.
Yeah, absolutely. We have another fight brewing. This is the only side of the map that Spirit has wards on. So Spirit are not willing to take this team fight into LGD. I'm really curious what fight they're going to look for. This is the one, I think. Can't go on Ame though. The Aegis protects him.
2 minutes still with that safety on the Spectre.
But yeah, if we think about the mentality of LGD coming into this game, right, the pressure was definitely on them. I mean, Johan and Seb talked about what they saw backstage, what they saw in their expressions. I'm sure this kind of momentum for them is huge. And it's something that you need in order to win TI, right? You need to have that attitude of champions.
Look at this jump. Look at the dust out. BKB was still seeing the
Oh
jump from
my
Ame. See with the
goodness,
bash onto
the
Toronto
Abyssal
Tokyo. Push back with the
Visa.
Deathling Blast, but
Oh.
with the grab, Nothing to Say is in with the nukes.
Oh my
He's playing with so
goodness,
much
this Tinker
confidence
would
on this
make me
Tinker. I was
cry.
talking about how he needs to wait out for the PA, but he recognizes, you know what, there's no way to PA his bottom here, and just full commits into their base.
He's level 26 on this Tinker right now.
He is incredibly farmed. He's gonna finish a Bloodstone too, or an Octarine Core, sorry.
So
I mean,
50
without a
seconds
doubt,
in
we
the Aegis, he
saw-
can just start hitting
Saw
base.
how much Collapse could do last game when he was just in the lead, ahead, just playing around with his food. He's got to make some big moves here from the defensive position as he is losing teammates around him to the consistent dives from PSG LGD. He'll try and get the grab here onto Arme. It's not going to happen. Forced back to the fountain. As PSG LGD, they've got all the space in the world to push in onto the tier 3. Can Team Spirit get them out of here? There's no buyback on Toronto Tokyo. Still down for 30 seconds. And without Mira as well, they'll have to, by the looks of it, at least let one set of racks go down here. There's no defense to be had quite yet for Spirit.
That's so hard to fight into this tombstone. You saw yatoru kind of thinking about it. He was looking for that potential wraparound, but recognizing that, you know what, my team won't be able to support me. Even if I can catch the Tinker in the back line,
surprised they didn't finish that
I don't have the power to kill him on my own.
Are the caddies going to finish it? Like, have they ran the numbers? Wow, they ran the fucking numbers. That's crazy.
He can really start picking up whatever he
That's
wants
crazy
now.
that they knew that that rack would go down when it had like half health left.
Absolutely.
Just based on the 2 catapults that were there.
Ooh. We'll have a momentary pause here. 15 to 30. 24,000 net worth lead for PSG LGD. The numbers looking very good for them right now.
I have a hard time. I'm trying to think of scenarios for Spirit. It feels difficult to find a way to do it. But I really like this choice from yatoru. I think this refresher could be genius. It could just be the thing that they need.
I mean, the problem is, even if they get these kills right on the defensive Team Spirit, it's a Spectre and a Tinker. You kill these heroes, they're buying back, their boots are traveling over, they're haunting in, they're shadow stepping back into the action. Killing them once is not going to be enough. PSG LGD will use the opportunity to get in and destroy you, even if they lose a core at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're totally right about that, Owen, and that is why they are so far ahead, right? They have all these options, they have all of these tools, but if anything could potentially catch them off guard, I mean, PA refresher, when have you seen that? I think once that BKB runs out, expect Nothing to Say to blink in to be ready to hex. And if he gets that refresher off, if Nothing to Say didn't click on a PA, that could mean his death.
I mean, it would be quite something if this build does have the impact possible. But will it be enough? It seems like a pretty big ask here when they're as down as much as they are in this game 3.
Let me tell you, as a player in this position, these kind of pauses, it's the worst thing that could possibly happen. It throws you off your momentum.
Well, for who? The team that's ahead or behind?
I mean, I'd say for both. Yeah. I think it's really sad for both sides. I wouldn't say it's like, oh, Spirit's getting an advantage. But when you are playing like the pressure, you're playing with the way LGD are, your mind is so zoned in into thinking, what are they doing now? Where are they moving next? How far could they have potentially gotten in the time that it's gone from me last seeing them on the map? And all of these small micro senses that you have where, like, let's say yatoru shows on the top lane, and then 15 seconds passes, you know where yatoru approximately could be because you know how fast the hero moves. Everything like that, it's thrown off by this kind of pause. And that's why usually, if you think about it, after pauses in pro games, you see somebody getting picked off or somebody making the wrong judgment call. And it's because this like micro senses that you're used to playing off of gets thrown off.
Especially in a game such high stakes here as the grand finals. The International 10. Spirit, as you can see, up 2-0 right now in this best of 5. But as this game 3 goes, looks like PSG LGD will be able to stop the potential of a 3-0 clean sweep here for Spirit.
I just really hope there's no initiation in the next 30 seconds after this pause, because that would really suck for both sides.
Here we go. We're ready to get the action back on its way, ladies and gentlemen.
I can feel my heart pounding with that one pause there.
You know how the players are feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, looks like hopefully there's no initiation here, so we survived the pause.
Pretty far away from one another.
They won. Spirit won in about 25 minutes last game. This game's 40 minutes in.
Maybe hit the 25 if he can before the next fight is forced.
Which talent do you take though? The coup de grace is great. You get more damage. But the tripling stifling dagger might just catch out a support and one-shot it while you're not paying attention.
I feel like the coup de grace might be it because you got to kill someone. I mean, one of your items is a refresher. You're not maxed out on the damage.
Yep, you're
making sure that the crits are hitting harder. Could be pretty essential here for your turret. But then again, the triple is nice if you know like mega creeps are going to be coming in if you feel like you're losing some lanes of barracks and you need to push back out. So
I'm also
the options
thinking
there.
for the team fight, right? How we know that Yatoro has to wait out. He can't fully commit straight at the start,
That's
because then
true.
he'll be forced to waste his BKB.
And maybe they do have, of course, the Empower. You know,
Yeah.
the triple stifling daggers with the Empower on them. That's pretty nasty.
Quick fingers from Toronto Tokyo, but he's caught.
Yeah, they've got to catch him.
Toronto, Tokyo.
BKB, and he'll try and walk away. See if he's able to make it out. He's been
Down
ruptured.
so bad.
He's going for the TP out, but the BKB comes to an end. And so does his escape. He'll try and hold them back with a tornado, but there's nothing more to hold them back with. Yatoro, he's going to be the new focus. Static Storm from Aposka down into the trees to try and stop the chase. Fabian coming in with the BKB, but Yatoro will manage to make it out. Maposhka as well in the trees, hidden now as he TPs.
Yeah, beautiful reset there from Team Spirit. I actually thought they were going to have way more casualties, but quick fingers from Yatoro, blinking on top of Mposhka. Great team play there with the Static Storm to cancel. Tinker potentially chasing for more kills.
So yeah, he has taken the chance here, amping up the damage. The gold for that refresher orb, just a few hundred away.
I'm so excited for this refresher.
Just
I'm
if
gonna
some
be
sort
honest.
of
I
big
just wanna
brain
see-
play comes
yeah,
out.
exactly. I want to know
Yep.
how it plays out. And now he has it.
He does.
Immediate smoke up.
They would have seen ability,
Oh.
of course, with the Perseverance is, but it's just a question of whether Nothing to Say in particular is ready for it to be complete for the next fight. As you mentioned, if he's out of position, he comes in with a second round of BKB and Nullifier. It could be deadly for Nothing to Say. You know, a man on his Tinker who's had a pretty free game so far, jumping all over the place and bursting down the lineup of Team Spirit.
Yep. BKB finished on Y. This Undying is not easy to bring down.
And look at his positioning as well, just stopping any chance of Spirit being able to make a move from their triangle.
Yeah. I mean, the problem really for Spirit, like, how do you kill the other heroes? If not PA. If PA can't commit on them, how does anything die?
Of course, PSG LGD there. You're going to be feeling very comfortable. Nothing to say in Arme, more than happy to farm up sort of their 6th item. Looking for the Orchid into the Bloodthorn here for Arme. Nothing to say. He's getting close to having the comfort of the overwhelming blink, maybe even holding on for his buyback as well.
Yatoro?
Oh,
He's caught.
He has been caught here. He needs help, and he needs it now. The BKB comes out. It has been ruptured though. Not much that he can do, and Arme, he's in with the illusion, surrounds him. No way for Yatoro to get out. And of course he did spend up on that refresher, so
That's
100
pretty much
seconds,
game.
no buyback on the PA.
That's it. That's done. Poor guy.
Yep. LGD firing back strong. What a catch from Faith Beyond.
Faith Beyond being
And then
MVP
I
of
feel like
this
it just
match,
all
I'd
ties
say.
back to the vision. This game, PSG LGD had vision. They were playing on even terms for most of the game. And
Oh, collapse, he tries
There
to
we
make a
go.
move.
There's
But the
the
counters there, Xingqiu with an instant lift. Holds him in his tracks.
that lift is
As it's
exactly what we
another
needed for the
corner out of
Magnus.
game. Collapse and Yatoro, no way of returning for this defense.
skewer back on Mira.
They get the grab. Mira also to be blown up outside of the
game.
base. 3 dead on Spirit. PSG LGD, they're up to their racks.
That's gotta be so satisfying for Xingqiu.
Oh yeah.
Collapse with a mag, just constantly skewering them back. And now finally he gets to do it himself.
Yeah, Collapse giving Xingqiu the respect as well there. With the words of Purge in the tip. I mean, this is what the PSG LGD fans expected to see from them in this grand finals. They just took a bit of time to turn up today, needed a bit of warm-up. The first 2 games, that was that. But this game 3, at full power here, even just into the base, Arme just killing off poor old Maposhka.
Yeah, LGD are playing with such confidence. But at the same time, patience. Whenever they need to slow down, you know, they're doing it. Oh, the immediate roast bomb.
Perfect timing for
Nice.
this to come up.
They're very happy about this, I'm sure.
And nothing to be done about this from Spirit whatsoever. So fall straight into the hands of PSG LGD. As we'll see, poor old Maposhka has tried his best to defend against the creeps, and then suddenly an Arme appears on top of him and disappears as quickly as he appears. But the job is done. Maposhka taken out. No place is safe right now from this Spectre.
Yep, and the Rubik gets the Aghanim's chart or scepter. This is probably one of my favorite Aghanims in the game. It's always a great feeling when you have it as Rubik. So one of the cool things about this that I don't think we've ever talked about is when you spell steal, and most teams aren't aware that you have an Ags, they kind of think, all right, Rubik used it. You hear the boing sound, and then you're, okay, I can use my spells however I want. But with the Ags, that throws it off. That just makes it easier for you to get those big steals that you want to get. So, highly doubt Team Spirit to be ready for this, but to be fair, they've had a lot of time to sit in the base. Usually what you do during this time is you're starting to discuss everything. What is it that LGD can do? How do they approach this fight? What are they going to be looking for? What are we looking for? What are our objectives here? Which heroes do we need to go on? What spells do we need to save? All these things should be discussed for Spirit, and they should have a structured fight in mind here, because you can predict what's going to happen.
I mean, 40,000 gold down right now, Spirit. PSG LGD. It looks like a pretty smooth sailing here to the victory. Is there really anything the Spirit can pull off whilst this far behind?
They need to get rid of that.
I mean, it's a matter of finding the Tinker. I really think so. Of course, you can always win. In Dota, I feel like you always have the option of winning. And especially in late game, yeah, there's 40,000 net worth differentiating you, but there's no amount of net worth that will make up for a bad positioning or, you know, the clutch play. So formations is really important here for LGD. And if Yatora can find some sort of backline kill, that could open the fight up entirely.
Approaching the final set of barracks here, the jump in underneath the tier 4s, they're in on him at Bosca. He's gone, Collapse will try and jump in with the skewer back onto Arme. Yatori's committed onto the front lines with the BKB, but he's been disarmed, gets the Phantom Knives off. Now turns over towards White, but look how much HP White's got. Yatora, refresher, doesn't want to commit for another round, nothing to say there with the Eggs, they've locked down Yatora. Yatora in a fall, buyback at the ready. Instant smoke up from Spirit.
They've still got ages.
Mira. Set things up with the curse, trying to get the glimpse back. He's looking for the skewer, but he's actually able to get out here with a Manta. Arme won't be grabbed back yet. Steps back to the safety of his team. PSG LGD still respecting the buybacks here from Spirit. They won't instantly push in onto the melee racks, but the rocket spam begins from nothing to say. Yatoro, he's going to look to try and jump outside of the base.
Oh!
He's able to jump it onto GQ. He's going to go for
He
nothing.
needs the Tinker.
The blink off in time. Back onto the high ground he knows, but Arme's trying to get in. They get the skewer. Arme, he's in
Oh!
the OP. They've got Arme. They've got him into the fountain. Can he get out? He cannot. They've done it the once. Can they do it again?
They can't do it
The
again.
people's coming down. Arme, he needs help. He's in the fountain. And he's on his own. The skewer's attempted, but the Yules is there to stop the play. Arme, he'll be getting out of the fountain alive. GG is called. And PSG LGD will take this game 3.
I love Dota so much, Erwin. That was so beautiful. Everything happened. You got the skewer into the fountain.
Oh my goodness.
Out of the fountain. They counter blink to skewer him in again. But no, the Yules. And then the
That
stolen
was
skewer, and you pull out a hero.
fucking nuts.
Wow. I mean, they fought right up until the end here in this game 3, Spirit, but they were too far behind. PSG LGD. I mean, this is them looking phenomenal and completely in the comfort zone. Something that, after seeing the first 2 games, it was understandable to sort of doubt if we were actually going to see them get to this place, but they have. They've hit back so hard here in game 3, PSG LGD. They'll get a game now. Spirit, they're still up 2-1, but Insania, could this be the beginning of a PSG LGD reverse sweep?
I mean, I absolutely think so. I think they identified a couple of really crucial things for themselves. This was not like a fluke win. This was not like, oh, we just did something right. I think they strategically understood we're getting outwarded. We don't have vision. We don't have information. And they addressed it in this game. I think they picked heroes that allow them to have vision in team fights, and they had the ability to fight back.
Wow, well, there we have it. We've had 2 scary games from Spirit, and now 1 very scary one from PSG LGD. We'll see if Spirit's able to turn back up big time in the 4th game, or if PSG LGD have maybe figured them out here at the all-important point in the grand finals. As PSG LGD, they'll take game 3.
Thank you very much, Odie, Pixel, and Insania. And indeed, we are going to a game 4. It will not be a clean sweep for Team Spirit, and you heard it from our commentary team. They think maybe PSG LGD has figured something out. Well, I know they figured one thing out. let's have nothing to say. Play on his Tinker. He used to be a hero spammer on that hero, and he absolutely crushed it, Tsunami.
All these people saying, oh, you're playing against Team Spirit. You don't ban Magnus. Well, you're not Shao 8, you're not Shao Ba. Things have changed, and they have now their own specialty being revealed. They had shown it 2 times during the group stage. In fact, it was against Team Secret. Whenever they had lost the first game against Secret, they whipped out a last pick, nothing to say Tinker. And
Right, I'm going to grab a snack
it was
before
with
game.
a completely
Game 4,
different
my friends.
lineup outside of that. But this time, the problem they were trying to answer was the Magnus. We were getting vision from the Bloodseeker. We were getting instant cancels with the Rubik and the Yules. Every single box was ticked for that draft.
They literally did everything they could to make Magnus look bad when played that way, right? So you pick Rubik for the lift, you have all of the vision from Haunt, Tombstone, and Bloodright, and you couple that up with a Tinker. And I think, honestly, on the draft panel, I think Seb had a really good point that Collapse didn't do in this game. Maybe you should have played the Magnus completely differently. Like, maybe you don't play on the Skewer setup if it's this hard. You could have taken a different approach, maybe picked a different carry that was more geared toward solving the Spectre. They picked the PA for the break and for the high burst damage. Perhaps a pushing type of carry could have worked better here, like, say, a Juggernaut or, you know, something to that effect, where then you play on the Empower, you had a really strong mid-game timing, take Roche and try to end the game. But obviously, you know, you've played this way on Magnus, like, with 10 wins in a row, whatever, as Collapse, right? And it works every time, so you just want to keep rolling, right? But LGD, they had a really good plan this time.
And also with that plan, right, I think we've really seen how Spectre and Tinker in the patch kind of course, at the tail end to see why they are so good together, right? You have, you know, Spectre with the Ags, that 30-second cooldown, Astral Step. Before, you're always playing on Haunt. You're a big cooldown, guys, got to wait it off. But no, now it's just every time you see a hero, you're instantly jumping. If a support shows underneath a ward, if like an Undying just walking around and find someone, bam, Spectre's there. And of course, Tinker as well, equally can match that. And is tanky enough to also get into the middle of these fights. So yeah, PSG, they now have the confidence that we needed to see them have to be able to bounce back in this series. And you see, like, both the cores, right? On the screen here, you have nothing to say. 14-1-13. Oh, 15, sorry, I can't read, on his Tinker. And then you have Spectre as well. You know, I think he ended the game like 15-1-23 as well. Like, both cores really came out into this game and just said, no, we can come back into this series. We can show off on these, you know, signature heroes.
To me, what's interesting about this draft as well, we're talking a lot about the Tinker because he popped off and had a really great game. I actually don't think this pick was necessary for them to win the game. I think it was the best pick for them in the given situation. But if that would have been banned, I wouldn't have been like, uh-oh, what are PSG LGD going to do? Because I still think the integral parts of the strategy is getting that vision. Tinker obviously plays amazing around it, so it's an awesome pick. But if that isn't there in the pool, maybe you can get another mid hero that takes advantage of it, like any of the spirits, like Storm Ember. I think a lot of them were banned though.
They were, yeah.
But there would have been, there's always something left, right, that can play with some sort of tempo there. So obviously it was an insane game for him on that Tinker. Love to see it. You know, a lot of people don't like playing against that hero in pubs for reasons that might have been highlighted in this game. But to me, that's important, right? Because if you're going into this game, you're like, okay, they won because of this Tinker pick, then next time it's going to be banned, right? What are you going to do? And what was the last ban of Spirit that game? I'm trying to remember.
The last ban of Spirit that game was a Void Spirit.
Void Spirit, right. So they were looking the Spirit direction. I think PSG themselves banned both Storm and Ember as their last two. So that kind of forced the hand there for Team Spirit to get rid of the last one.
Also, what was encouraging to me is that this also didn't seem like an anti-Magnus draft. It seemed that the first 2 picks, I got the Rubik, I got the Undying. I think we can start to play it by ear now, and then depending on what Spirit started selecting after that, then they were like, oh, okay, maybe, you know, we'll put a Spectre on top of this. So I wouldn't even be surprised if they let Magnus go again, or if they maybe even first phase pick it this time on LGD.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's now Spirit have lost with the Magnus after crushing the first game, or the second game set technically with the Magnus, and everyone now going, whoa, Collapse is amazing. Now, the second game he plays it, he'll probably say to the guys, right, if they draft like this and itemize like this, I can't play the game that we've been, you know, coming into this TI with. So potentially Spirit might even be questioning themselves on Magnus. And this is the beauty of TI and like the mini meta of best of fives, right? It's because we spoke about Io being the reason why PSG was unable to really capitalize in the first 2 games. Magnus why they won game 2 on Spirit. And now suddenly game 3, we might even question if they want to even go near it because PSG feels like they've discovered it, understood it throughout this, you know, 3-game series so far.
And I feel like it's also, you know, something you could be concerned about with PSG LGD after those first 2 games is like the whole, like, you know, the confidence, the mentality. They third pick their carry, right? Yeah. It's not like, okay, we need, oh, these guys are good, we need to go late game, play slow, get Ame the perfect game. You know, they're willing to open up and do some different things. They identify, this is the hero we want for this game, we have a strategy, and it worked great. So has me pretty hopeful for them going into the next game. And for Spirit, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be too phased by a one-game loss. They've been here plenty of times already this tournament, so they're going to have something else up their sleeves for sure.
The Mars was even uncontested previous game, so we know the Collapse has got some backups there as well. I want to highlight the mental game you just mentioned because I know that there's a lot of people online like, oh, Ame and nothing to say. It feels like maybe they're crumbling a little bit under the pressure, and I think this third game proves everybody that said that 100% wrong because they were both on fire. And this mental game we highlighted so much, Tsunami, because it is so important in a best-of-5 grand finals with $13 million on the line.
Yeah, on both sides we can see maybe the nerves of, oh my gosh, it's all these Royal Roaders on this side of Spirit. It's all mostly a bunch of first-timers, but then they are joined in union with that lack of tension or extremely high tension depending on how they've been reacting to it. Meanwhile, on LGD, you have Nothing to Say and Shinkyu, who may feel out of their element whenever they're paired up with Faith Beyond and Y and Ame and Shao8, but both of them have different approaches to the mental game, and so far Spirit's lower bracket run inspires confidence that I don't think they're going to be shaken by a one loss here and there.
Same,
The boy's got
the
the quad bagel stack.
This is second international,
So
but definitely his most successful one to date. We've highlighted Xingqiu a lot throughout this entire tournament because he was mentioned as the best position for right now in Dota 2. T-Gov, how do you feel he's doing this series so far? Of course, he played a fantastic Rubik just now.
Yeah, I mean, that was the main thing, right? That's Rubik just there. We saw a beautiful little skewer as well on the Rubik, and I think he was just always in position, right? I think Collapse, again, the Magnus, we've said it so many times now, I think when you have this Rubik in your arsenal within the game, it's always so nice. You have the instant lift, you have the still, like, it puts this pressure. And I think Xingqiu, if he can find that confidence and he plays that level of Rubik game, suddenly he's going into that next game with that next kind of Pullman. Maybe we see another Rubik game. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we see the same type of draft pattern happen. Maybe Spirit still have the confidence in that Magnus, and then we get to see another Rubik game because, you know, we love to see Rubik at TI. It's a really, you know, a showy-offy hero.
Spirit cannot pick Magnus.
Yes. I actually think that's the only thing that's going to prompt them to do it. A specific targeted counter pick. I don't think they see enough value in it in the first phase because they've barely played it all tournament. It's just a solution they went to in a time of need here. Which is interesting because it might mean that the bans could also be turned around here a little bit, so Team Spirit can try to take advantage of it with perhaps a Rubik ban could force out a Magnus ban, then you could get the Mars opener if you want to go that route.
That also depends on if LGD want to opt for second pick again also.
Yes, depends on pick order, absolutely.
So that response was specifically crafted to, if they pick Mag, then we're going to get our Rubik Undying.
Yeah.
And all this kind of theory crafting we're doing, this is basically where Spirit, they need to kind of overcome the issues that they've had throughout the season against PSG, because throughout, I think it was like ESL 4, they lost to PSG. I think it was then OGA, they lost to PSG. And this was also with Xiaowei as a stand-in. At Animage, I believe they drew 1-1. Like, they have never been able to actually beat and overcome PSG. In these series, they've been able to take that first game, that first kind of momentum swing, but then it's been the experience of PSG that has come through and shined through that series where they've been able to kind of best Spirit throughout the year. So even though Spirit is up 2-0, or sorry, 2-1 now, it's kind of like the same as the past, right? So this is where Spirit, in this specific game, I feel like if they want to kind of get rid of that, they need to come in with that confidence. They can't let this one game hit them because history, throughout the 2021 season, PSG has always bested them, even if PSG was down.
That is true. PSG LGD has bested most teams throughout 2021. They've done incredibly well, of course. You could also say that, yeah, they've done well and they are the end boss, but that also means that in terms of improvement, they didn't have as much need to improve compared to Team Spirit, who has seen tremendous growth throughout the entire season, Tsunami.
That was even mentioned in Slack's interview with Miposhka previously. He was just like, well, you guys got pretty rocked on day number 1 of group stage, and he was just like, yeah, but we were playing some hard opponents, and progressively, the thing is that most of the time whenever I see development from a team, it comes from the draft. Here it just seems like pure gameplay oriented. They're still playing things that are very comfortable for them, namely Collapse in specifics, but in general, this team gives me a lot of encouragement for the Eastern European region.
And it is an interesting point about the group stage. This is something we've been discussing throughout the years. What is the good way to start off a group stage? Would you rather play the really tough opponents first or last? And if you play them first, maybe you can learn a lot from those games and then improve throughout the group against easier opponents. Whereas if you have them last, maybe you've dropped the game here or there learning against weaker opponents, and then when you're against the Giants, you just get rocked, right? So for Team Spirit, it might actually work out really well for them that they played some of the Giants to begin with.
Yeah, and here they go, both now Giants in their own rights, taking their spaces here in the pods. It's game 4 of the Grand Finals, best of 5. Of course, Team Spirit is on match point, but PSG LGD might just have found their momentum, found their swing that they need to reverse sweep these Grand Finals against Team Spirit. Will they be able to do it? We know they have the mental fortitude too. The question is, I think, it's all going to come back very simply, very clearly, on the draft tee.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. You know, I think it's been second pick has won every game so far, I believe. So maybe whoever gets second pick this game, they're going to win it. So maybe a coin toss dictates the winner of TI. I don't know.
Sounds kind of unlikely. I think it's maybe a little bit more depth than that. But
listen, everything's a 50-50 if you look at it.
Forced 50.
It can happen or it doesn't.
That's true.
Speaking of odds, you guys reminded me of something. 'Cause of course, we mentioned earlier today that at the start of the day, there was still one person on the planet that had their prediction bracket intact, which was ruined by the lower bracket finals going the way of Team Spirit. There were only 4 people in total that only had that had 20 predictions out of the 21 predictions correct. I also have an extra stat. There has been a total of 1.5 million people that have filled in their brackets in the compendium. Of those 1.5 million people, 1.4% said that Team Spirit would be the champion.
That's more than I would expect.
Yeah, that's
More?
higher.
Yeah, that's more than I would have thought. Because you had to place that before the main event even began, right? But you could do it after the groups. Team Spirit, I would have said, what were they? They were 4th in their group, and they looked definitely a step below some of the other teams. But you know, sometimes you got to believe in that miracle run, right? And we're here, and obviously, I think it's also a little bit of, you know, like the human, like just the emotion. You know, you want to. If I'm right, it'll be so cool. You know, so some people just go for
those
it.
Those 1.4% people love a good story.
Exactly. It's not the brain speaking. I would say in a lot of these guesses, but you know, maybe they identified something in the groups. They were like, you know what? I genuinely believe that Spirit can do it, and those people could very well end up being right now.
Yeah, or maybe they heard from a lot of players out there how the scrims were going, because apparently Team Spirit quite good in those, and definitely managed to hold their own against the majority of the teams.
Yeah, but that's like the beauty of Team Spirit, right? I feel like when you look at their roster and actually really dive deep, other than Maposhka, it's like 2019, 2020. That's when these professional careers actually started, right? I think 3 of the 4 players was on Yellow Submarine, which was kind of like the hidden like trial team for Team Spirit, where like the current manager, I think his name's Corbin, he was the guy that was like kind of sifting through the ranks, like trying to find. I think they had like 80 players in the end trial for this team. They finally kind of crafted this down into this roster, and they eventually brought in Miroslav later. But it's the fact that they went through this kind of trial period, brought in all fresh faces, then brought in Poshka to captain it, and it's got to this position. Like, that alone is an insane story, and I think that is inspirational. The fact that you don't have to be a 10-year veteran to be able to compete at the highest level. You can, like, in a year's time, or 2 years' time, of course, they put so much time to play the game, but you get the idea, right? Like, it's the fact that they can, if they put their minds to it, you can achieve anything, and Team Spirit being in the grand final in itself is an inspirational story.
Absolutely. Also, just the organization itself, of course, has been in Dota since only 2015. So, I mean, that's still 6 years, but compared to PSG LGD, is relatively new, of course. But this team, this is the first time this organization has had a horse in the race at TI Tsunami.
Yeah, and it's always encouraging that even during the COVID times of 2020, many organizations were no longer able to support because they were like, we don't really have the infrastructure in this era of online Dota. But Team Spirit stuck through it, and it was a difficult region.
We love an underdog story. Okay, we got our game 4.
Right.
Let's go, Team Spirit!
Topic also of having so many tryouts, having so many players, it's also very encouraging to see how much of a unit and how friendly all these players are, because in contrast to VP was a group of 5 players who had wanted to play together with each other for a very long time. They were friends before the game started, before the team started. This one seems like quite the opposite, and it's a wonderful thing to see.
Yeah, it's a unity story for sure. It's an example for, I think, a lot of people watching from home right now. It's like, wait a second, these guys have only been playing for 2 years. That means that they, in 2 years' time, have a chance of being on that main stage. But for now, it is all Team Spirit and PSG LGD, and they're ready for Game 4.
Team versus PSG LGD.
Let's get it.
Grand Finals, Game 4.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the draft panel of the TI-10 Grand Finals, again with Seb and Nota and myself. And I want to ask you guys, how important do you think that victory was for LGD? Like, how is it going to affect their mental game?
It's massive for them, of course. They have no more room to fail, whereas Team Spirit, they might get a super challenge coming their way. If they don't close it out now, they're going to have to go into a game 5, same position. You have no more losses to take. So for LGD, they need to get as much confidence and as much freedom so that they can be themselves again, or like their full potential. Mega important victory, of course. If you lose, you're out. But mentally, they need to take something from this. I think we saw a little bit of a better body language, if I want to go that far, and say that they do look like they do better.
Now we see the switch up, and we were talking about it before
Wow,
the draft started, right?
games.
Yep. LGD broke Team Spirit Magnus, and I think they broke it in a very convincing way. And now the question was, so the second pick won.
Bro, last game, Spectre carried the game. Game before, Luna carried the game.
So far, this can still change.
You'd love to see it.
Team Spirit got the choice, which is a very big deal.
Was it
Probably
Luna?
I felt
the
outcome of the game, but
Bro.
it gives them definitely an upper hand.
Unstoppable
And now,
Luna.
with this first
Like,
pick,
level 30
they
Luna.
have to choose, do we want a mag, or do we want to give them mag and play against it? And then, if you do that, mainly the Rubik was the big counter, right? And Team Spirit, they actually
got
decided to not
outdrafted
go for
last
Rubik
game.
versus
You
the
got
mag. They
pink
ended up
room.
Yes,
going for the Wyvern,
completely
which
and
so
utterly.
far
And the
has
and the
been one of
Rubik.
best answers to Tiny.
Yeah,
Nevertheless,
whatever.
though, in this opener,
Oh, they
Tiny's
took
back.
Magnus.
They go for the Wyvern anyway. So, yeah, I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how they cope with this Magnus, because I don't think the Wyvern quite does it.
You live stream?
Is there a reason
yeah,
they
we
banned
live.
Dark Willow over the Wyvern? Because in the previous 2 games, I think LGD had been banning Wyvern. I mean, Seb, you even mentioned to me, you thought maybe the Wyvern ban was a mistake.
Yeah.
But in my head, if you're going for Magnus first pick, Wyvern seems like a better ban than Willow.
I think so. At the same time, I think both bands, to be honest, I want to say I'm not a fan of the Willow band.
We
but
want
then I'm
Team
just gonna go
Spirit
with
to clutch
I
this
don't
up,
quite
eh?
understand it.
Underdog
I
story,
think
right?
I'm just missing something here.
Yeah. You stream?
The Willow ban
Yeah,
also helped them do the Shaker more second phase if they want. I mean, it's a hero that they're also very familiar with. I think the Bramble value is still there. I don't know if it's worth a ban. either.
Leon.
Very
Leon.
powerful game-changing.
Oh, you want me to
that
stream my games on my
should
screen,
be
right?
overall,
Yeah,
but
so you can
Yeah.
watch it.
Wyvern
Oh,
might be a
sorry,
very
sorry.
high
I was like,
hero.
yeah,
Should
I'm
be higher
streaming.
rated than some heroes maybe give
one
it
sec.
credit for. Statistically speaking, has won a lot of games here.
There we
Is a
go. I get
Classic
what you
mag
mean.
counter to at least the classic
I'm
mag
like, I
play,
am
but
streaming, what do you
still the
mean?
skewer play
There
is
you
very
go.
strong, and we saw it addressed last game where the Ruby got a lot of good lifts on, and also the shard lift eventually
Bane's scary.
makes carriers feel really safe against this. So yeah, let's see. And now the Lion is in already from the first phase. Also quite unconventional to open Vyra and Lion.
Yeah. And there's a lot to say about the Bane pick also, in my opinion.
This is the game that
Team
matters,
Spirit,
you
the
know.
Lion, they didn't
They've
get
been
it,
like,
the last games, and it hasn't
they've
been
been
a year that worked
like
really well for
predictable
them.
the last few
The
games.
way they play, they play so well
Yeah.
around
They
vision.
both have to
always
mix
set
it
this
up now,
line
game
for Brain,
4.
kind of hacks his fight. He starts to fight with hacks, and it's hard to stop it. I'm really surprised that the Tide didn't come for Team Spirit. I mean, it's one of Collapse's best
Spirit
heroes.
need to get Ember
Mars
mid,
is
I
out.
reckon.
Tide is Mag is out by being first picked by LGD, and then the third Collapse hero,
Yeah, and
which is
Vocal
much
wasn't
more than
there.
just a Collapse hero. Like Team Spirit, they
Absolutely
play around
not.
it,
They
build
should
around
have
it
seen
so
the
well.
Tinker
It's
coming
Tide.
as well.
Tide is a counter to Magnus, and yet they don't go for it. Meaning LGD might have had
It was so
a second
obvious.
pick, like a
You
second
reckon
first
they'll
pick.
ban it here?
I think they have to.
They
But
will, right?
if they don't, maybe it means they
Mind
can
you,
bring
what
in
does
some
counter
fights, and Team
Tinker
Spirit
mid,
knows
really?
it.
I think they're going to
Like,
be banning out a lot of team fights.
all
They
the
saw Doom problem
good
now,
counters
and I
were
think
banned
that's
that
also-
last
you're
game,
not gonna
right?
pick mag,
Like,
you tied yourself next
genuinely,
phase,
who
you're
counters
most likely
Tinker
gonna
mid?
ban it, You have a Bane and a mag, right?
Yeah.
I
Let's
can't
see. They
think of
haven't
anyone
yet.
other than like Storm Spirit, Void
versus
Spirit,
Mag is a very simple concept.
Ember
It's
Spirit.
Like the Mag lineup,
Yeah,
you want
and they were all
a power
banned.
guy, and you want that guy to just go ham. And of course, if he gets doomed, then the whole lineup doesn't make so much sense anymore. You kind of break the way they want to take the fights. I want to talk quickly just about the Bane versus Wyvern and Feeble. It counters Wyvern heal completely. Also,
Ooh.
it's really good at catching Bane, catching heroes. I think it's just a very interesting hero versus Wyvern in terms of how he's going to beat him on the lane, and also has great things to do in the game against him.
Spirit do need to counter that Magnus though. I don't know
Obviously,
what.
Ember Mag has been
What they
itself
go
already
for,
has been a
like-
great combo, great hero at messing with the backline. Lion and Wyvern, they don't want to be messed with. If these supports are allowed to cast their spells, especially in the hands of such talented players as Miposhka and Mira, like they will win the fight for them.
Yeah,
So
I was expecting to see 3 sort of backline jump bans coming out from Team Spirit. I mean, I feel like Lion Wyvern, it's a bit vulnerable, so you have to like protect your supports with bans. I've always felt when I'm drafting that I don't like picking 2 supports like this, because then you're banning.
That is brave,
spending
isn't it?
bans and picking supports.
2
But do you think
squishy
there's,
supports, eh?
Like to your knowledge, is there any reason to pick 2 supports like this instead of picking a quarter?
I think it's only if you're afraid that you're not gonna get them and you value them so much that you need them. But in my opinion, it's very abusable, and I think LGD will take the bet. Like we'll get the most out of that.
Interesting to note is ET has not been removed, right?
Yeah.
I think the Lion was also a potential answer
Sure.
to a Mag ET,
Yes.
and they're also rushing it because it's most likely going to get banned next phase.
That's what
I'm
it
still
was.
very surprised that the Tide has not been banned.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Collapse is going to ask for this hero this game.
They must have they must have an answer, LGD, right? I think if they don't ban it, they for sure know it's coming, or it could be coming. They must be ready for it. That's how I view it. Maybe they're planning on picking the Juggernaut already or the Slarks.
But they're not in full control either. As Team Spirit do have a ban, they do have like kind of a way to dictate. They banned the Ursa.
But if you think about it, it doesn't sound so Team Spiritish to pick the mid or the carry here. Most likely they will pick Collapse. So maybe LGD is like, we don't have to worry about a closing second phase pick.
You're right. Yeah.
And that anyway they're gonna show it to us here.
That's thinking far ahead, which I'm sure they are. Like
Yeah.
this double support opener
Once you
is
act.
vulnerable, very vulnerable in that sense. Is that you're now.
I think a Tide
you
would
still
be a
have to reveal,
huge pick
and
here.
They're able to get 2 really strong picks.
Never mind, they actually go for it. And that also is a statement from Team Spirit in which they maybe thought that the Spectre was the bigger problem last game versus the Rubik.
Oi,
You know, these were the
oi. There we
answers.
go. It's the battle
And
of
this
the
is exactly
Chads.
what I think should be done. This
Yeah.
is
Oh, this is
precisely
good.
what should be done in a Mag versus Spectre game and in a Mag versus Rubik game. This Magnus does not want to RP anybody. He doesn't care about getting his blink cancelled. He doesn't care about getting blink at all. He does not want to skewer anybody. This Magnus is going to empower Luna. He's going to build aura items. They're going to plant the tombstone. Luna's going to hit the buildings. And that is going to be the fight. And heroes like Spectre actually are probably the worst out of all the carry pool to deal with that. You have to fight into this massive ball that is coming, and Spectre hates that.
The only good thing that they have right now is a Winter's Curse. The Lion is disabled. Most of Iron spells are disabled. Like this playstyle versus playstyle heavily for now favors LGD heroes. Like these heroes on the bottom, they will not enjoy a strong ball coming to hit their tower.
Hey,
So to make
there
it
you go.
very simple,
There you go,
basically
Robbie.
what has happened in game 3 and game 4 draft
There's
is,
your axe.
you know, Spirit
Wow,
got the Magnus,
okay.
LGD broke it.
Exa.
Spirit had to find another way to abuse the Magnus hero.
I feel like a
LGD
Void
now
Spirit would.
are showing
I don't know. What do you do about the
how do you
Luna?
turn.
How do you deal with
They
that
beat
Luna?
Magnus with Spectre, and they also showed them you can beat Spectre with Magnus if you understand what's happening. And I
Like,
think
I
this
genuinely
draft
don't know what they do.
Is what's happening in a nutshell.
Tombstone plus Luna.
Do you
What do they
think that
do?
Axe does anything to stop
Wow.
that plan? Because to me, Axe is very single target, you know, a bit lane focused almost.
I don't think he helps at all. I think this is a hero that does not jump into the ball unless something good is happening already from your teammates. Like they're running away from some Tinker, they're running away from a Phoenix Egg. They have none of that. Lion and Axe are both going to be waiting for LGD to be afraid or overwhelmed by some sort of damage ability or teamfight ability.
I don't
but
like
it's
this draft
it's
again.
not coming so far. Like, I think Team Spirit need to find a really good pick right now. They need to find a really, really strong pick or something that allows them to then force LGD into their playstyle.
I'm always scared when I have the last pick though. Like if I have the last pick a hero that has to solve conditions and be good in lane and do so many things, like it's so hard to find that perfect pick, right?
It is hard.
Ideally it's 24 and not 23 especially then.
Yeah.
And he also is gonna have to deal with the one-on-one matchup that's gonna come his way. And so I wanna
We do have the final.
yeah, in the Concat.
That's
You
a
see this ball,
tough
how do you
squad.
fight into this? Honestly, it is so hard for heroes to fight into this. And
Bout,
they have literally zero
Tombstone,
damage.
Luna,
The Spectre Axe
Empower,
is very low
RP.
damage. This
Oh!
Axe is very low damage. They have no
Support's
way.
only on one finger. That's
Yeah.
all the damage. They have.
Medusa.
It's gonna be very difficult, and I want to also mention the
Battle of the
Nine
big boys.
versus Spectre. What he does is you plant the tombstone.
Medusa
now
and
there's
go
a
late.
zombie on every Illus,
I
so
feel
there-
like
no
it's the
desolate
only
damage,
chance.
meaning Spectre damage drops dramatically. In my opinion, I mean, I'm very happy to be proven wrong, and there's a reason why these teams are playing the finals and not. But I
What?
still see this as being a strategical misread from Spirit.
Okay, that
Okay,
changes.
I don't
so they're
think
going for the
that
lane
is it,
snowball
my
here,
friend.
right? You want to get the TA timing, snowball off that. You have single target, Spectre, you can take control of the map, you get a lot of pickoffs. I can see that as a possible answer, but it's looking scary for me.
They need to play.
snowball.
They need to play the TA game right now. The
Yeah.
TA is a very fast hero. He can go into Roche early. He can snowball and get openings on the map with Deso Blink. I don't know if he's going to go Aghanims this game so that they can actually do more on the map. But they cannot run into this ball and just click their spells. This is not going to work for Team Spirit.
Yeah, this is not a Spectre versus Magnus game anymore. Like, this is a TA game. They have to win on the back of it, and if they don't, then most likely the game's going to look quite grim for them.
Or they go really late. The Spectre manages to create a lot of chaos, or the TA manages to create a lot of chaos, and Spectre will get bigger and become kind of like a team fight impact. And then maybe you're going to see Axe and Spectre and all these heroes actually come out and shine. But a lot of weight on TA's shoulders.
Yeah, LGD has really done a great job with this draft, in my opinion. I think the momentum right now has completely shifted. But yet again, Team Spirit, incredibly talented players, great laning team, great vision, great execution in team fights. They can pull this off. They definitely can.
Keep an eye on those traps.
And we're getting into Game 4 now, but before that, we'll have an interview with Sumi and LGD's coach, Xiaowei.
Oh, God.
Hello, everybody, and I am here with PSG LGD's coach, Xiaoba. It seems that you and the team have managed to put a stop to the momentum of Team Spirit.
They wrote her
How
a
did you
card.
manage to keep the team
That's
calm
so
and
fucking
reset for
funny.
this game?
Dude, she's really not talented. I'm sorry.
我就跟他们说不要怕呀，输了一起扛呀，然后也没什么好怕。
They wrote her a fucking card.
Just to ask that.
输了也没啥，就明年
That's so funny.
I told them, don't be afraid. If we lose, we tank it together. And I've also told them that
We tank it. We are China. We tank the damage to our egos, bro. Okay? You hear that, Robert? We lose our next game of Dota, we tank it together, okay?
Yeah, boys.
We tank it.
选手们都认为你们已经破解了 Spirit 的战术，你觉得你破解了他们战术吗？
我觉得前两把主要是一个是对面的战术我们比较不适应吧，然后我们自己准备的东西有点打他们不太适合，所以我们打完两把以后做出了调整，我觉得我们应该能拿冠军。
I think for the first two games, what we prepared doesn't really work against their style. But after the first two games, we've adjusted, and as long as we play our own game, I think we'll win the champion.
They will play their own game and also download complete. Thank you very much, Xiaoba. Let's take it to Lyrical
And also
Friends.
download complete. What?
And already right on into this one. Sumi Mira's gonna get caught and gonna get killed. How's that for a start, Trent?
Oh, such a good coach who just gets us there right in time. Well done. As his team will take first blood.
Oh shit.
Very good start. Play their own game. That's what we're
Yeah,
hearing.
be like
right
that.
now.
Oh shit.
Xiaowei so often has been the one to be able to lead his team's success and Aegis himself, but we'll see if they can do it here again. As nothing to say why, they're all invading. Dude, LGD coming out with some confidence saying, this is our high ground, we're coming to take it.
Fuck.
And this is what you get when you keep coming back with this Undying.
Speed it,
right?
please.
You're very willing to
Please,
brawl right now.
So
please
they are
get
gonna
the
stick around for
Runa.
a moment. Ame spotting out the rest of Team Spirit, moving in that area, getting that extra vision.
Yeah.
With the passive, and will we see another round of Bounty Runes stolen away? Collapse walks on in. Why there? Gets the click-off win. So LGD, they're going to claim 3.
Turns back for more. Wants the brain sap, but can't quite find
Don't
it.
like
here.
it,
another
man.
focus on the
Don't
lanes
like
for
it.
sure
My team
here
is broke.
From LGD, but the lanes also seeming to be the win condition right now for Team Spirit. I have to say, you know, it's difficult to disagree when there's a combined 5, you know, Aegis is won by that drafting panel.
True enough.
That's a bit rough. So I think they might be onto something with this whole concept of like needing to snowball things pretty hard here, needing to play around their Templar Assassin, and there's always a chance going late, of course, especially with like the way the Templar Assassin now functions because of her Aghanims, where you can actually get like a little bit of a split push out of this hero, which you didn't used to get in the past. But you'd much rather be leading things.
To be fair, they've
ahead
got
of
a
the
good
game right
lane
now for
against
Team
the
Spirit. And if
Luna.
they don't get that, like they can easily.
That's
do
one thing I do have on my
PSG,
side.
LGD.
Totally. The snowball can
Excellent.
definitely occur. And
Yeah,
I
that's a
really
good
liked
lane.
what we sort of heard about the mentality that was going on as well, as we see Nothing to Say get a D ward there on the Observer ward. Like,
That's
you
huge.
think about the way that Team
That was like
Spirit has
150
played
gold
throughout
right
this.
there.
They're
Yeah,
playing,
that was-
you know,
yeah.
just for fun, they say. They're playing without any fear. But for some of these players, that's not an option. Ame, he's been so close before to winning the Aegis and then snatched away at the last second. This is a story for him for redemption.
Yeah, we often hear the pressure of the Chinese community on this team just because, you know, they've obviously looked so good and they've been so close before. And particularly Ame, he is shielded. You know, he's taken some of that blame before in the past, particularly at TI, particularly in a Game 4. You know, the pressure has been there, and it's been a bit much at times. But I have to say, after last game, I think he's probably feeling pretty comfortable here with his Luna.
He's looked amazing in that Spectre game, so we'll see how they deal as Xingqiu was able to get that pull through and only get the half pull on these creeps connecting it. as Maposhka wants to keep that pressure on Zinkyu. Needs to be careful here. Obviously, only level 1, so doesn't have that Splinter Blast yet on the Wyvern. But they will throw out one more dagger on his way back home.
Just to send him all the way back here.
Easy.
And now, yeah, Collapse. So we talked a lot about Collapse and his hero pool. And, of course, he's
Collapse
a lot, I'm sure, about
dumpstered game 2 with his Magnus and then game
the hero that
3.
he has played a ton of games on professionally is the Axe. Not a hero that's been very big at this TI, though.
No, but can often make those huge plays if you can get the opening. The panel did talk a lot about how maybe there's going to be some overlapping things going on with Mira and the Axe, both trying to find that big jump.
That Seb guy? Oh,
Yeah.
that's that guy.
Yeah, that's the
with
one.
The Axe. Wow.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
But we'll see how it goes here in this one. As you can see already, the chase down Faith Beyond.
Their lanes are
taking a
good,
little bit of a
but
beating here on this Magnus. Zinkyu moves into position
scary.
though, and at least for the moment, you can see that Spectre taking a little bit of heat early. Not able to get all those last hits
Neither
yet.
is the Luna, but
yeah.
Collapse also trying to go toe-to-toe with Ame in the bottom
Oh,
lane
off,
on that Luna.
the game of off
there's
lanes.
there's a reason that statistically Undying has almost always been one of the absolute best heroes versus the Spectre. Whenever you're just talking about like just raw data in terms of games played, and that's because like you get some pressure in lane sometimes if you get this sort of a matchup. That's always nice, right? Spectre likes to be left alone. But more importantly, when you get into the mid game with the Tombstone drop down, you actually get all these zombies popping up, right? And it really ruins the team fight for the Spectre, especially when you're trying to deal some damage there with the Desolate.
You can see a bit of a rundown again as Toro.
Oh, does Desolate just go to like random targets? So if there were Undying zombies, you'll be hitting those. Is that what?
No, it only goes to you if
We'll
there's
get a
no
little
one
bit
there.
of a chase onto Mira. The Lucid Beam and dead. I just takes him down.
Collapse just can't do anything. She's like,
No.
sorry, you know, I'm just going for some creeps here. It does have 20 last hits compared to the 9 of Ame, so, you know, I mean, that's a sacrifice that you're willing to make.
He's hitting pretty hard. Already the Ring of Health done. Obviously came there with that Quelling Blade and a lot of armor. Collapse having a good one on the Axe in the laning stage. This is what they need.
Well, that is actually a really interesting one too, right? Actually going for this this Vanguard. Because, you know, a lot of heroes, they're going for the Helm. They're building into something else based off of the Helm, the Iron Will. But Collapse able to go for this cheaper Vanguard. But for Axe, that's an item that can actually accelerate your farm quite a bit with the Ancients.
Why? Get chased a little bit there, but will back out afterwards.
Who's got boots?
You can see at least now the very slight lead that we're seeing into the favor of LGD. Nothing really to write home about. Both the mids doing fine. We haven't really seen either that many stacks on the Ancients.
$13 million game of Dota and you're going to miss a last hit? Fucking disrespectful, eh?
Be enough. I don't think so.
He's got a fairy
Why?
fire.
Maybe it will. All right, the rotation comes in. And they will be able to keep their...
Still, this Luna is
alive.
not having a
Yeah,
nice...
he was buying out there. He wasn't sure he was going to live.
Yeah.
So
Look at that Wyvern,
he's going all the way
super
home.
stacker.
There are the stacks that you were just mentioning. A double done there by Maposhka in the dire jungle. So something for this Templar Assassin to fall back to. They want to stack her up nice and early. When you're trying to play around this Templar Assassin, you can stack your Ancients, you can stack all of your neutrals across the map, and she can cleave through them very, very quickly. Just trying to align these earlier items like the Blink or the Deso, maybe a Falcon Blade in these times right now. So they need to enable her to get this game online.
Yeah, and of course, then if you're LGD, you're going to look to try and go in there and invade those stacks and get some damage dealt. But already, a Torrent combo comes out. Y makes that
Especially
move
not
towards
with
the mid
Wyvern.
lane that he always does. And just trying to burn through his refraction instances and make Toronto Tokyo a little bit less comfortable.
Yeah, not a matchup we see all too often, honestly. With
Is
the,
Toronto
Templar,
Tokyo your
but you do
favorite
have that
player,
interaction,
Robert?
as you mentioned, where you can get multiple instances of damage from the Torrent, so burning
Sure,
through
man.
that and,
It's in my fantasy.
Oh, yeah. Nicely done. I think I'll stack this up one more time.
And Mira also.
Did you see
stacks
no
all
one got
across
the
map.
prediction?
What I really like too is this
no one
defensive
got
ward
the
right
brackets
next to that
prediction.
stack they're doing, because
Yeah,
you
I
often
heard
see
that.
this word used like late game when you're talking about like Roche and everything. You're trying to cover that, but a lot of teams are coming in contesting neutral stacks right now. It's one of the themes of this tournament is up top. That's another
big heal.
Live though. With the cold embrace, they don't feel confident going for him.
On the level 6 rotation
That's
from the Conquest. Very
massive.
disappointing to not get the kill. And they can't even really follow up the tower pressure, but on the other side of the map.
Collapse. Gonna take some damage there. Creeps run off of him. And with a couple quick hits, will they have another Lucent Beam for the finish? Vanguard keeping him very... Actually goes away.
Cozy.
With a spin. Has to be careful on Y. There's the Fairy Fire limit, but the brain sap. Enough to finish him.
I can tell you, this guy must not have got very many Crimson Witnesses, because he is not lucky.
No. Not enough spins there for the Axe, and a good usage of the Nightmare to take those creeps off to stop the potential counterplay.
Oh,
They get their kill in the bottom lane, but the missed gank on the Spectre gave so much free time to Toronto Tokyo. As again, another stack. And if you don't go for that kill, the other option for the Kunkka is moving through that jungle, doing that rotation, checking out the stack, seeing what's there, maybe stealing a couple, of course. And yeah, will surely make his way over there. And why
the stacks.
I think we'd like to maybe get an eye on these ones at the very least. We'll block for future stacks, but can they even come and contest this?
There's already a lot of gold built into that. That's going to be such a big injection. And the thing about the TA is you just take it so quickly, and maybe if they pair together with Collapse, already having that Vanguard done.
Yeah, it's a tough call too, right? Like, because if you want to move in there, let's say, SPSG, LGD, oh good, we have time to think about it at the very least. You have the night vision bonus.
Right.
That's there, right? Of course, that's going to be expiring soon. You got 2.5 minutes to work with. You're not going to have any Eclipse early, though, because, you know, you're obviously stacking into the Lunar Blessing. You're getting yourselves your Glaives. But you also have Undying. You have Kunkka. I would say it's very
Butterfly effect. That pause just
changed
changed the result of the game, Robert.
Mess with them to try and get some of the XP.
Well, they're going to drop the boat already. Mira a little bit off the mark with the stun, but will eventually, well, go down. Yes. XinQ finds the kill, but this is again buying that space for Toronto Tokyo, and this is Envision.
Soul Rip to secure here, and XinQ is like, I'm getting over there. You know, I want to steal some of this. Gonna find a stacked up neutral camp there too.
This Wyvern on Stack Nation.
He has Tombstone in 3 seconds.
Why? Are they really going to go for this?
I mean, a lot of them are really low. This is pretty, I say do it. Yeah.
He goes for it. Getting it already.
And the Fairy Stringer for the team. The 2 support. There's an Axe and a Templar Assassin.
No.
Oh my God, they're just going to get him.
There's another lanes.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is huge. You're also already up 3,000 net worth right now on LGD, but they see this taken, and
all right, he got a lot of them though. Now, can you get out? That's the question.
I mean, at least one of these heroes is going to die. XinQ chased on. Surely at least one of them goes down. But maybe not. Yutoro pops out that haunt. The chase down. Mira's there as well. Cold Embrace. The back away. They used haunt for this, and I don't know if they're getting anybody.
Is there anything more classic than LGD and their Undyings and their phase boots, though? Like, it almost gets them out.
And they clean out that hard camp also. LGD are all over this. They take down the Undying, but lose out on a bunch of other net worth.
And they force so many heroes to respond. Look at the top lane. The Helm of the Dominator, Faith Beyond. He's taking the tower.
This is clean stuff. LGD.
PSG fucked on him there.
This is what they needed.
That is a large lead. 4K right now at 9 minutes.
They just fucked up the base.
I mean, it's just all stacked on the cores right now for PSG LGD.
Poshka scouting out. Y off to the side. Toro there as well.
He's hunting.
He's looking for it. They move over. Faith Beyond's here as well. And with this Helm of the Dominator creep, it should be enough. And also coming into contest.
Oh no, Rob, no!
It's so cheap, right? It's just a nightmare into a
Why is this happening?
The whole time. We've got RP, we've got boat. You don't want to come contest this. They're going to have Fiend's Grip pretty soon here as well for Y. As he goes for a real deep ward. That was pinged though. All right, they have an idea that that's there.
That ward is going to scout it out.
Yeah, good thing that was there. So those very deep wards on the earlier end will be instantly TP'd to by Maposhka, and just give them that. I don't think so.
Yeah, see, this is the LGD we expected to see. Up 5,000 net worth right now at 10 minutes in. What a turnaround that they've been able to have. As this series was looking dire straits for them after the first 2 games, but now coming into this, game number 4, everything's going their way.
All right, well, in the past, what has turned these games around for Team Spirit? It's been Collapse, you know, showing up, making the plays, but he's got some time. Wants to get that Blink Dagger down on the Axe first. In the meantime, there are a lot of heroes coming to his mid tower.
Oh my God, they're bringing numbers. Everybody's here. Poshka, level 5 on that Wyvern. Going to try and throw out these Splinter Blasts and slow things down as much as possible, but that tier 1 tower is already dead.
Yeah, they're just holding the Tombstone. Again, such a great job of just like not expending anything, right? They're just threatening. They're just holding all this strength.
And Collapse, they caught him again. The Nightmare's there. Do they have enough for the kill, though?
Oh, yeah.
They are going to chase
Bane
him down.
is
Wait for
unfair.
Afterwards, easy as pie. They take him down.
What is Bane?
This is a stomping we got right here. Toro is going to need to play his heart out right now.
He is so far behind on me.
It's insane.
He's almost getting doubled up on right now.
Like, the Undying is almost caught up to him in terms of net worth with that Tombstone dropping in the Ancient Steel. Such an impressive performance for them, and Team Spirit, they just really don't have an answer right now.
It felt like they got lost halfway through the draft, and they still haven't found their way.
Well, and you think about that draft, right? They burned through so much of that reserve time early on. And in the end, we're left trying to find a perfect hero, and so far the TA hasn't been able to do it for them.
Part of that is just that it's such a one-dimensional plan that not only can you like prepare during the draft as to what to do, but in the actual game, like they were so quick to come in and ward up these Ancients. Sure, they missed out on some of the plays in the top of some of those neutrals, but the contest in there, the space made for Faith Beyond to get absolutely massive. No one is even contesting Ame at all, just freeform throughout the jungle. And this has to be like the biggest Axe Blink reveal and Deso reveal on a TA of all time.
Yes. They've got to get a ton here on Team Spirit. And of course, that also means that LGD need to be the ones that run into them to allow for that fight to happen. Not an easy ask, but again, you've got some big combos here, right? You've got that Winner's Curse into a big call afterwards, Lion Stun. The combo is there if they can find it.
The fights are so hard, though.
Looking for it right at the start. The boat's going to come out. And now the slowdown. Mira in some trouble. Collapse back behind the tower. Also getting ran down by nothing to say. He needs to TP out of here.
He bought his blink.
Yeah, he's
no one else die.
As long as they're able to get away, that should be good enough for them. So they get the kill. Fabian finds it, but also on the other side, Y kills off Mira. 8-1 to start this game.
Yeah, throws down.
Bro, this Bane is on demon time.
Yeah, Mira, of course, instantly noticing that, but
oh, not me Poshka too.
Easy to take. But Poshka was thinking about leaving himself in behind there and maybe finding a Winner's Curse if they want to actually contest to the tower. But I think the call's been made, but from the rest of Team Spirit that they're just not ready for that yet.
This is bad.
They need those items. Need to hit that timing.
7-kill lead, 7,000 gold lead.
And
this Luna's already too far gone, eh?
He's just doing what he needs to in this one. Taking a look.
Like, who's going to go and stop her?
Win probability.
No
They're
one.
Heavily into the favor of LGD.
Put that away. Come on. We got a game going here.
My goodness gracious. The Nightmare is down. Poshka going to trade it over onto him. They have this blink. Want to reveal, but the only people down here are supports, and that's not big enough. Ward also covering it all. But maybe now Team Spirit can at least try and pressure and get this tower and get some momentum going for themselves, because if they don't get something going soon, this game is going to go completely off the rails.
I mean, you can already see them struggling here, though, right? Like, they're bringing everyone down here. They're looking for that fight.
Yeah.
Everything that they need. It has to be perfectly layered. The call, the curse, trying to find the sight lines for the Templar Assassin.
Oh, and Yutaro caught. Fiend's Grip is there, and no help nearby at all. They're going to kill off that Spectre.
I love Zinq doing that, just dropping the Tombstone. It's just such an important kill for them that they're willing to throw at everything that they have right there.
And immediately afterwards, they're thinking about going to Roche. I mean, why not at this point?
They could Roche, they could start pressuring that tier 2 top, but the tier 2 top is a lot riskier, right? You're going to have this attempted call from the Axe. Also, they actually don't have great vision right now.
That Luna is going to blow up the base in about 8 minutes.
Right? But perhaps they just have the really good read that they are all in the bottom lane right now, waiting for them to come to that bottom tower. And it's taken so fast.
So
it's
Roche
going game 5.
Claimed. And again, Team Spirit needing to find an answer as LGD want to try and close this one out. Put themselves in a dominant position. And already Y is going to head up here, try and get down a deep ward. We'll see if that one bears any fruit, as LGD will retreat back, get their next set of items, and then be ready to go.
Very reminiscent of Game 2. Now, mind you, it happened a lot later in the game, but essentially we got to the point where Team Spirit were the ones just running around with this Luna and looking like, you know, what are you going to do as LGD? You have to wait for this perfect moment to find your fight. Team Spirit now find themselves in that situation. And one thing that they obviously recognized when they played that Luna strat was just stay together. Don't let the pickoffs happen. Can they find a pickoff right here? No. Look how safe Nothing to Say is playing there with the X.
Zinq might be the one that gets found. The jump forward call, it's off the mark. And instead, he just heads off
that.
There's the root. Collapse has to back out of here. I mean, there's more people coming nearby. Tokyo gets skewered back. He's caught alone. Can they kill him off? RP, but the Winner's Curse is trying to turn this. Boat afterwards finishes off.
That's
that
it.
TA, but it's not enough. It's not nearly enough. And if they're not careful, they might lose more. The chase forward Hex, Mira, X marks the spot as they'll pull the Lion back and find another kill. LGD, no mercy.
These guys trying to make a casual 13 mil, you know what I'm saying?
It's looking rough. It is looking rough for Team Spirit.
Is that a Spirit Breaker in that draft?
Yeah, I don't know.
What this is? Because something happened.
They turned up on PSG LGD. They were not going to go out like that.
Well, it's looking like a completely different series at this point. I mean, Team Spirit, you know, the fun loving, we're just having a good time. Good times might have come to an end right now, at least in this game. And you know, it gets to the point where as the game continues, you just wonder, like, how much is this impacting the looking like potential Game 5?
Potentially. I mean, again, you never count this out. We've seen teams come back from more than this against LGD to win a TI. But can they do it again here? Spectre, so often that late game answer, and they just need to find a good fight on Team Spirit to pull this one back. The question is, will LGD give it to them? Underneath a ward, this could be the way it starts.
They've played so ridiculously clean this game, though. Just really not offering up anything over to Team Spirit. Now, they do have some good vision down in that bottom jungle. If there was ever a chance to go for something, it's probably towards that part of the map right now. But Faith Beyond not acting like it, you know? Sitting directly on a trap, and they still can't go.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to really fight into this. Oh, Toronto, Tokyo, skewer. Oh,
oh no.
They'll find the TA, wants to get out of here, blink away. Oh, just like that, Toronto, Tokyo able to get a little bit of separation, but they still have that night vision and Faith Beyond. With the chase down, they got him there to the side. Nobody coming to help the TA. Toronto, Tokyo falls again.
This is disgusting, man. I feel sick. I feel sick to my stomach watching this Bane and Luna.
LGD.
What a combo, eh?
Team Spirit are waiting for the Aghanims on this Spectre. That is going to be
no. Make it stop, bro. Make it stop.
Until then, it's just throwing out heroes, you know? Take me. Try and slow down this tower push.
How close are we now to that Aghanim Scepter? It's what, 50 gold away for this Spectre? Again,
I mean, it's been a fantastic item, but as you heard Seb and NoTail say, the damage is lacking.
Oh, man.
And they needed that early lead to actually provide some damage. They needed the items on Team Spirit. They don't have the items.
Right. Well, and it's such a good answer here, right? With that Undying being able to sit right up front there with the Tombstone, and then Luna can hit the tower. Because the way that Team Spirit win the fight is like when chaos happens, you get a giant curse or something, and they're just not being presented that opportunity.
Although, if there is one hero that's very good at breaking formations, it is Spectre, right? The Haunt comes out, there's question marks everywhere, you're not sure where the real one is, and then it's providing vision to the rest of Team Spirit, and then you find the jump. And Axe, a hero that, with the Flame Mail, can turn some of your advantage into a disadvantage.
Looking for something here. It's just a shadow step to start. Now the call. Afterwards, they have Hunt starting to bring Ame down a little bit low. Just 30 seconds left, and now they're leaving him alone for the moment. Turning on to the other supports. Collapse going to TP out, but it's not going to happen.
Collapse has just had the worst 2 hours.
Doesn't work. Toronto, Tokyo pulled back in. Refraction gone. And now the chase down happens yet again. Mira hoping to salvage this, but it's not going to happen one by one.
Okay, GG, go next.
Go by the wayside.
And that was going into a fight with 30 seconds left on the Aegis too.
Oh.
So just like, even if you get some of those kills, the reset potential there from LGD. But Team Spirit, you know, they felt the situation and they had to find some sort of a fight maybe outside their base. It's not a good one though.
And they used the winner's curse in that last fight.
Yeah.
That is really painful. Maybe if there was an opportunity right here, but jump in! The Tumbler's toy, are you kidding me? Faith Beyond able to make the play happen.
That's what Lunas do, hey?
Focusing down the barracks at 20 minutes. 17-1.
I mean, Collapse is smoked up here, but I don't even know if there's a play. Obviously, you have to wait till the Templar Assassin's back.
They're hoping for something, anything at this point.
They just got mana for Shadow Step.
There's a chance, there's a hope, but will it actually come to fruition? I am not sure. Team Spirit just do not have an answer at all.
They pop drums, jump them, Collapse.
Oh my goodness. They just have to give it up. There's no other answer. There's still a tier 1 down bottom at the very least, but I mean, at this point, LGD could turn on the tier 4s maybe.
I love how this team plays Undying. The 5, the 4. Like, not a lot of teams really bring this hero out, but you know, you get this movement speed, so you get the ulti off the Flesh Golem, you're just getting the debuff down, having the drums to like benefit this early sieging ability that they have, as well as the Solar Crest too. So, you know, so many teams looking for these saving heroes and empowering heroes on like the one big carry, and Undying just looking like a perfect answer when you also have the Spectre in the game.
And I just think, again, like, what a redemption arc this has been for Ame to be able to pull this back on that Spectre in Game 3 and now in Game 4 on the Luna, playing incredibly clean Dota, constantly 4-0-7.
Yeah. Does not want to repeat history here.
Oh god, did I caster curse him? Oh no, oh no.
Surely.
Surely it
6-0 lead at 21 minutes. I don't think you have that
Yeah.
much power.
I don't think anybody does. We'll see though.
Hold on, let me check Kyle's Twitter.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
Mira gets the Hex off, but they caught collapse. Mira's going to try and TP out of here. Does manage to escape, but the axe is down. Toronto Tokyo. Oh, cancels TP?
He's trying to cut the way.
I mean, I guess that, yeah.
There's, they got some towers go through. You're not going to do anything. Might as well try and catch the next wave.
That's true. Fair
Because
enough.
now where do you go is a bit of a question. I'll give you
might
that.
just be dead if you're not careful. Toronto Tokyo, got to be careful there.
Stand perfect. Oh, I know this one from my pubs. Yeah. Got to keep the GPM up,
Mean lane, they got him. Toro forced to jump away from this one, but nothing to say. Still got him in the sights. Able to throw out that Earth Spike, but they're hunting for more.
Faithion's coming.
Oh, good blink away by Mira, and Toro able to get the TP out, but Mira, the one that's going to pay for the sins, will end up falling there to Zinq, and now they're heading up again.
Oh my god, are they going into tier 4?
Why not, right?
I feel like he wants to
He's
end
got the
game,
Skadi, he's
know,
got the
like
Mask of
reward it
Madness.
for its servitude.
No TP on TA.
This might just be the time.
That's
I mean,
it.
Ame is up
Skelly's
there.
out. Send them in.
Roche is
No,
capable
this
of
is insane.
respawning, but they're looking to just try and end this right now. No Magnus
Look
to
at the
pull
creep
back into
wave.
the fountain. There's the jump to
Go,
start it.
Collapse. This is your chance right there.
Poshka behind. He's got Winner's Curse waiting for an opportunity, but
They should have gone it and then they should have fought
Right
it.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's dangerous. Yeah, they don't quite have enough. And TA, without a quick way to get in there, they'll have to let it go for the moment. But Maposhka, they've still got a ward here. And now they don't.
Collapse has been smoked for so long.
They just can't find an opening. LGD, just this impenetrable wall that doesn't break formation.
Yeah, they just keep popping them, but they can't find their fight. They might even be running low at this point.
19-1.
Oh my god.
So now with Roche respawn.
Oh my
LGD
goodness, Roche is back. That was too
dotting their
quick.
eyes and crossing their T's and looking to close this one out with the shard in tow.
This is an emphatic victory at this point. You know,
I mean,
this is not the way you want to go into a Game 5 from Team Spirit. It's one thing to just like have a loss and sort of be like, okay, well, we couldn't close it out in 3, but that's cool. We're gonna do it in 4, whatever. You remember those 2 games, guys?
Right.
Remember how much
They seem
we
a long time
dominated?
ago.
And they seem like a very long time ago at this point.
Faith Beyond pulls back there. Yule Scepter afterwards, but nobody's close enough to turn that into a fight. Another Shadow Step used just to slow down Faith
It does
Beyond from going
nothing.
in
What
for
the
another round of this.
Toronto Tokyo's just drawing on the map down there. Throwing every trap possible to hold on that one tier 2, right? Force them to go for the throne.
And they're going to do it. Walks right on in.
And then that's exactly what they're going to do.
He's
Oh
ready.
my god.
He wants to not relive the ghosts of the past. He wants to close this game 4 out here in style. And so far, he's doing it. Turns now onto the ancient hot out afterwards. Where's the fight? I'm not seeing it. Going deathless so far.
Didn't
They
even
turn
need
now into one.
BKB.
Just grip to the side. Oh, the catch on to collapse. Why's not dying? Nobody's dying. They all fall again as GG is called 23.
Can you think of a worse way to go into a Game 5? I can't. That's horrendous.
It was just too
That was disgusting.
They never came online, quite frankly. Like this
Outdrafted
lineup doesn't
again.
in any facet whatsoever
Oh
for Team
my
Spirit.
God.
And it may be even in game score. It's 2-2.
Fuck.
But, it's not feeling like there's much of a chance right now.
Oh boy.
You gotta regroup.
You know, No-Tail and Seb, they were talking about body language coming into that. How
Yeah,
about this body
look at the
language right
fucking body language now.
Fucking, he's like gripping.
He's ready to go.
Seb and No-Tail were in an interview and they're like, when PSG were down 2 games, it's like, yeah, they got their arms crossed, they're looking at their feet, they're not going to each other for, to talk about it. They just come back like absolute fucking units.
To be able to pull this back from that 2-0 start, just incredibly impressive stuff.
All right, it's okay though. You just say like, it was draft, guys. I think we can all agree the draft looked rough. Thus, the game looked rough. So you go forward, you shift things up, and Team Spirit will hopefully give us more of a challenge for LGD in Game 5.
Optimistic as always. We'll see if it ends up playing out, but for now, let's head back to the panel.
The series is tied 2-2. We will go into a Game 5 here in these grand finals at the International 10. I'm joined by BSJ, Effie, and Jenkins, and we're going to break down that Game 4. Jenkins, I want to start with, well, let's start with Team Spirit doubling their skill score there in the final second.
I don't know if there's any breaking down these games. Like, I legit don't. This shit is scripted. It's scripted. Like, how does every TI end like this?
No, it doesn't.
At some
What?
point, it's got to stop. I don't
Are
understand.
they always wearing masks?
The amount of people
Yeah.
that came up to me today, it's like, okay,
Really?
so Secret.
This whole TI?
Everybody
Maybe
thought
not.
Secret was
I don't
going to
know.
win.
I don't
right?
think so.
And then we get into the grand finals, and it's like, oh, LGD is going to shellac them. And then after game one, it's like, oh my god, dude, LGD's lost it. They're done. And then that happens. Literally, whatever you think will happen won't happen. So what do we do? How can I break that down? I'm sorry. I just can't believe it. Year after year, TI, it just delivers.
It is just delivering, Effie. It's a great series
It
so
is.
far.
Well, there's so much to say, but I just want to comment on the mental fortitude that PSG LGD just showed, because a lot of us in the green room, we were sitting and watching the game, right? And after those 2 stomps, quite frankly, by Spirit, we were just thinking, did they do it? Did they mentally break down PSG LGD? But no, they walked off, they regrouped. Everyone thought they were so stubborn with that Magnus, but they beat them.
Nobody expected that. Everybody was like, oh my god, they let Magnus through again. They're so stubborn. What are they doing? Literally everybody was wrong. I can tell you, I was sitting in that stadium. Every single person was saying, what is wrong with them? I was reading Twitter. What is wrong with them? They let the Magnus through.
Streaming?
But that's why they're on Twitter. That's why they're in the
Streaming?
and that's why they're not playing. Brian.
Experts.
Okay, so we talk about the fact.
Yo,
that they
what's
lost
up,
the Jackson
gangsters?
game.
Streaming.
Think about the mind games coming through.
Oh,
the
you're
entire
streaming.
Yeah,
core
bro.
series so
This is the
far,
TI
and
watch
they
party,
got
you know what I'm
Mag,
saying?
lost
Yeah,
it
Vic
to a
is streaming
Spectre,
on his
and then they're
channel,
like, oh,
you know?
we'll give
Like,
LGD Mag
Yeah,
this
yeah.
time.
No,
We'll
no,
pick
no.
Spectre.
It's actually
But it was
safe
the
that you did that though, because
Undying
he's streaming
with
in
the Spectre
Discord.
that
So
was
like,
really
I
I
could
know,
have
I know.
thought
issues.
maybe it was that.
It's just
That's,
they lost to the way that
bro.
they lost,
What was I gonna say?
which
Yeah, do you reckon he's
has
allowed
to
to say
be some
shit?
sort of mental defeat.
I don't see
Yeah.
why not.
I hope whatever I
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
made more sense than what Jenkins was
I don't
saying.
know.
Nothing makes sense.
Pretty cooked
We're
though.
pretending
Yeah, they got
this is a
absolutely stomped.
facade.
Ruffle
Nobody
stomp,
knows what's
bro.
going
Could
on
you
right
imagine,
now.
like,
Probably
you
not
like
even
you
LGD
that's
or
happened to you,
Spirit.
and you're like, okay,
I think they have
we
a
need
little bit of
to
an
play
idea
another
of what
game
it
against
is.
those
They
people
let the
for
Magnus
13
through
mil.
twice, they lost to it. I think they just didn't expect Spirit
Oh,
to
because
be
that like
so
the
strong.
guaranteed
They were
cash
coming
they'll
off
get
of
for
their
winning
wins
this.
in
The
the
prize
season, and
goes
they
from
proved
5
themselves
million
to
to
be able
18
They were
million
playing so
based
well.
on the next game of Dota
They
that they
kept up the
played.
tempo, they cast all their spells
Yeah.
correctly.
Do you know how
Wow,
cooked that
exactly.
is?
But that Mag loss, that first one broke
That's
them.
Fortnite
And then
World
to
Cup
take
money
it the
right
next
there.
game and
Yeah,
beat them
the whole
with it
prize pool
convincingly.
to one
I think
Yeah,
fucking
that's
no
team.
sensible
shit.
to say right now, actually, because
That
this is where
I mean, you
the
can split
difference in
it 5
experience
ways, but
comes in
yeah.
between these 2 teams.
Ugh.
Spirit are very young, and they
Jeez.
probably didn't expect to make it this far.
Oof.
LGD, they've been
Who's
training for
I
this
didn't watch
for
like
2
the rest of the
years,
heats.
and
Who's in the
I
finals?
mean, they have
What do you mean?
far there's been
Like who's
two
who's
TIs
is
before
this
this
the
is the third
first
TI that they're
semi?
into Game 5 in the grand
Oh
finals.
god, this is the
PSG
grand final.
already
This
experienced
is
it.
about
They
to be
were
the
on
final
it.
match
They
of
were
TI.
Grand
final.
Yes, yes.
It's a little bit different this time.
LGD are trying to reverse
They
sweep for
were up
fucking
2-1
$13
going
million.
into
That's
Oh,
why.
I thought this was the
15K, I believe.
Bro, this is
And
the
OG
final
was
game of the
crazy
whole of TI.
Oh my god,
And
and they go into a
instead, they've
game
got
5.
Yes.
going
Fucking
in.
kidding me.
I feel
Yes.
like they feel
Oh,
strategically
shit, though.
superior. They're like, oh, those first
Oh,
2 games,
okay.
like
I'm glad I
whatever
stayed up
happened
for this
this
now.
Like
Bro,
literally, I'm
they
like,
had only lost 2 games throughout the entirety of a TI prior to
Oh,
that
that's
series. So
crazy.
this,
yeah.
I think LGD is
I want Team
way better
Spirit to
spot
win,
going
you
into
know.
Game 5.
Dude, they look
Proper underdog
broken.
story.
I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. I saw the cameras on them, and I was thinking, oh my god, they're
LGD
done.
just
They look
outdrafted
so
the
broken. They
literal
look
shit
sad.
out
Their
of them
eyes
the
were
last 2
watery.
games.
Like, and then
They
Yeah.
keep getting shit
I think
mids.
the Tinker game
Like
was like
they need to like
draft.
third pick
I
Ember
think
Spirit or
that
something, you
draft
know,
was just
or
a
Storm.
lot easier to
Like
execute.
Team
It
Spirit
gave
need
them-
the
it
Spirit.
gave
They
them
need
the
a Spirit
taste
mid.
for blood
All
again.
right.
And then in the next game, it's just like
Jeez, is this
they're
the
just
biggest
back
prize pool
to-
they've ever
to,
had for
like,
TI?
prime
Yes.
LGD,
Yeah.
you know,
Our
it's-
biggest
it's what
prize
they
pool
said
in
an
esports
interview, like,
ever.
they
On
learned
this
from the
next game of
losses, and
Dota.
they're grateful to the enemy teams
wow.
for giving them the opportunity to learn, and that's what I felt after the Tinker.
Look, look how much happier,
we heard from
bro.
Zach right
Look how happy they look. They're just
he was
vibing.
saying that some of the things that he told the team in between games before Game 4 was don't be
Did the
afraid.
league not play
If
for
we
more
lose
money?
together, we lose together.
No.
And otherwise, we
But
always have next
why
year.
isn't their prize pool like crazy? Aren't they bigger?
That's just
Yeah, but they just don't do it like Valve,
I
eh?
think that right now
No one does it like Valve.
LGD are just in a position
They
to
just
take
put
it
the
on.
cash in
And
their own
as
pockets.
amazing as Spirit
Right,
is,
Rito
they've
Games, bro.
got the
Big money
momentum
machine.
on LGD. And And
Yeah,
just
gee.
hopefully, regardless of the
They don't have
outcome,
Gabens.
both teams should be proud of themselves for what they've done today.
Yeah, we've highlighted Team Spirit a lot
Yeah.
because obviously
Wow.
they were on match point for
No game.
2 games now.
Bro,
We are
damn,
gonna highlight PSG
PSG
LGD a
like
little bit
hoodies
more
look kind of
because
tight. Not gonna lie.
they
Yeah,
are
bro.
also
Did you
on
see the
match
video
point.
of like
One of these two
Neymar
teams will
and
take
Messi
home
and
$18
everyone
million
like
and the
bigging
World
up the team?
Championship
You see that
and the
shit?
Aegis.
No,
A lot
what is
on
it,
the
cringe?
line for this
No, it's
one
fucking lit.
game of Dota 2.
Oh, okay.
So far,
Like, where
we
is
only
it? Is
have
it on Twitter?
5
I'll
players
put it in the
in
chat.
the world
Yeah, it
that
was on
have,
Twitter.
a 2-time TI championship to their names. If PSG LGD
For the match.
were to win this game 5, we'll have 7 in total because Faith Beyond and Y were
Damn,
on the winning
PSG.
roster of Wings in TI6.
Running it up.
And they will also have a 100% win rate at TI because they have only played that TI6, Brian. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, they're doing the OG, but instead of taking
you
like
link
6
it?
months off,
Yeah,
they
one
take
sec.
4 years off and just come back.
Why
and
do you
win
want me to send
another
it to
TI.
you?
But you know, we talk about
Just
the money.
general.
I'm a little bit of a math nerd myself.
I mean,
We're
it's-
looking at
it's in
$13
general,
million
yeah.
between the
Fucking-
two teams, between first and
that's
second.
so
So it's
fucking
like
lit.
an average 40-minute game. That's about $300K a minute
Fucking
that they're playing.
money,
the game of Dota.
money
If you
team.
average 10 CS a minute, that seems pretty reasonable. That means every time you hit a creep, that's $30,000.
It looks so scripted, dog.
I know. It's so lit though.
Nah,
What is
that's
this?
so Nah. Oh, it's Messi as well?
Yeah.
$300,000 for every
I
death
don't
you feed.
know.
There's the offlane perspective.
It's more like
Bro, you know Neymar's an MG on CS:GO.
He's right.
No, there
Master
is
Guardian?
a
Is that what
Yeah,
that is?
yeah.
The money on the line with the
Is
that the
percentage
AK
on
rank?
the line as well.
Yeah,
And
still pretty
on
fucking
the,
cracked.
on the
Or he
flip side
was.
of
Yeah,
having a
I think.
2-time champ, nothing to say has
Oh yeah,
not
the
been
scripted
a
video,
full
dude.
TI yet.
Shit's so
This is his
cringe.
Yeah,
first one, and he
the
has
video
a
is
potential
actually
to
cringe.
become
Like, it's
Yeah.
cool that it
I
happens, but like,
saw it, I was just like,
I'd
actually rather not.
yeah. Hey guys, good luck.
Before that, it was the full
That's
Wings
it.
lineup.
You hear what they just said on the
Nah,
broadcast?
crazy
In this
because
next
all those
game they're going
wins
to
we
play,
hear, time
every
and time again,
CS
we
could be
talk
worth
about Thompson, James are
$30,000.
some of the best players in their role still are.
Imagine missing a CS
And
when it could be worth
just gives me a lot of,
$30,000.
giddiness for the season
Yeah,
and the
legit.
seasons to come, Effie.
And just
Dog,
speaking
I hope
of
we
nothing
see
to
someone
say,
just absolutely bottle it.
he rose to
But like also
prominence
not.
and kind of made himself known.
Yo,
in
has there
Team
been
Spirit. He
any
was just a
like
pop star who was
wait,
spam
have
tinker,
there been any
much
like
to everyone's
what was
annoyance.
what was that
And
one
a
Rob
hero
where
that
the guy did
kept
the
them
Echo
in the
Slam and
TI
it was
Grand
like
Finals
Yeah,
was
Echo
it's a
Slam
disaster.
Jama.
It's just everything goes back
No,
full
you're thinking
circle.
of two
Every
different
player
things.
has some kind of magical
Yeah, I was gonna
story,
say,
and
remember, it's a
it's just
disaster. or
incredible
It's a
something
that
like
this
that.
disaster
level of
is,
Dota come out
oh, wait.
consistently from new players every year.
Like, who's that announcer? Toby?
No, like, but like, what was that? That was like a $5 million Earthshake or something. $5 million
$6 million, like crit or something. Or...
Yeah.
Was
we
that-
had any of those yet?
Do you know what there was, Lachlan?
If
There was this fucking team fight where all 10 players bought back and TP'd back in.
Yeah.
You should
I think I saw that actually.
Yeah.
Was that game 3?
PhD in psychology.
No, like
Harvard
if
or
like it was in like a couple
I don't know
days
if it
ago.
works that way, but I will
Oh,
tell
right.
you that in
To be fair,
TI
game
Grand
3 was
Finals
fucking
history,
sick with the Natures
is
trying to
what
rat
happened
and
that
the
someone
fucking
did a reverse
Luna.
sweep. This
Nah,
Game 3
I
was the
actually
best.
did
fucking
see the
pray we
reverse
get a little
sweep,
rat there again.
She's-
versus IG in the grand finals of the
Sorry.
Singapore Major. Of course, it all
Yeah.
started with that question.
The people on the panel right now are actually the best.
This is PhD.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
they
it
actually do
is
good.
being able
Good,
to
Yeah.
recover from that
Yeah,
level of
Sheever-
They actually make
pressure
esports look
and
good.
stress
Like
that is on
Yeah,
them.
Dota
I
Sheever's so
also
good.
think that
I
it
think is
with
Effie.
game
I think I heard
5, I think
Effie
it's
laugh
very
on it,
simple
right?
for Team
Effie's
Spirit to
fucking
also
sick.
probably reset
She's
because
so
I didn't know that
good.
she cast Dota.
in this situation before.
Who is
I
she?
think every team is
This
I thought
person.
she
going to
does
reset
League.
in a way, but we don't actually know
Her.
what goes on behind the scenes.
She's
in
so
those-
good.
Oh, there's
their
two
little
Affies.
powwow, I guess, after the game
I
goes
think,
on.
right?
But what we know right now is
Two
PSG,
Affies.
Yeah.
LGD,
Nah.
And then
Yeah.
BSJ and
when they were
Jenkins.
playing their
They're
hero,
both
and
really
then
great.
took their hero and beat them with it. And now they've got the 2-game win momentum, and they also have first choice, right, for the next game. So it's looking a lot harder for Spirit than it is for PSG.
I missed the
It is
poll,
looking,
dude.
Pretty rough
He was
for
a good
Spirit,
commentator. He
although
got
they
cancelled,
also
didn't
know
he?
they've got a
Red Eye.
behind them.
Yeah.
They are
He
the
kind of like
first
canceled himself. It was
Eastern
kind of weird.
European team
Kind
to
of weird
be
champ.
standing on these grand finals
Actually,
since 2013.
It was like,
It's been a long
it wasn't
time
even for
coming.
being anything
That
bad. It
being
was like
said,
he,
PSG
it was
LGD,
like
of course,
he
also
was
having a
mean to
lot of
people on
pressure
set or
because it has
something,
been quite
or
a
like
while
mean to
since
someone in
a
the
talent
staff, and then he
lifted
just
up
like
Aegis, and they know
wrote this huge
what it
tweet
would mean
long about
to
like
not
how
just their
hard it is and
organization
stuff,
and
and he
their
just
team,
like
but
quit.
to the entire
I was like,
country
oh.
if they
But
were
I don't
to
know, maybe
engage with
not.
that
I have to
Aegis.
like,
We'll
I don't really
see
know
who
too
gets
much
to
about
do
it.
though. We'll
But
see
he was
who
really
will
good
take
too.
home
Yeah.
that Aegis is going to be either Team Spirit or PSG LGD. It is
But
one
Shiver's
game
great.
One game of Dota 2.
Honestly, it's fucking disappointing that none of us fucking played in TI. Like, we were all fucking... We've been playing this game for fucking 10 years, and none of us fucking made it to TI.
Bro, Nuke almost made it.
Playing for longer than 10 years, man.
Fucking, we're washed, bro. Honestly, Rob, you fucking quit YouTube. Just become fucking immortal and go to TI so we can fucking get hype.
That's allowed because you just gotta make yourself comfortable.
Honestly, new career plan. Gonna fucking gonna quit the sidemen and fucking become a Dota pro. Let's fucking
Honestly,
go.
I think what's the oldest guy in this? Because I saw ISIS playing. How old is he? He's pretty old, right? He's like mid 30s.
The reason they use these heat packs is because
Low 30s?
adrenaline makes your
What?
blood vessels tighter.
Like the
because,
age
you
of the
gotta pump that blood
players.
real
What's
fast.
the
But
like highest age?
Late teens.
Who's
the
No,
oldest?
It's a sport for
Yeah,
your
the
hands,
oldest.
so you gotta have those heat packs to make
Like
your
it's what
blood vessels
ISIS playing. I'm pretty sure he's like early 30s.
No, he's probably late 20s,
have
man.
very bad knowledge
No,
of
he actually
anything
has a kid.
medical.
He has a kid.
Which is why I was saying.
I mean, you could still have a kid and be late 20s.
Relax.
You can be a kid and not in your 20s. Have a kid and not be in your 20s.
And be a professional Dota player? I don't know.
Reverse sweep a TI, but also, I feel like Team Spirit had all the odds stacked against them just a few games ago.
Yeah,
They're
dude,
in the same
ISIS is
position.
31.
So what the hell do we know?
Crazy.
They've been in
What a
several
legend.
games, and we've watched them.
Yeah,
See?
fuck
But
playing
how
Dota
old
for
is
this
he?
amount of money, actually, though.
Fuck
Fuck it.
I
I think how unfun it would be to play.
I get stressed, yeah, for 20 MMR.
Yeah.
Imagine you fuck up your team too.
Yeah, no, bro. What the PSG guys were saying is they're like, we're not doing this for the team, we're doing this for the whole of China because China hasn't won in 6 TIs, so the whole country is expecting us to win, and we'll be like an embarrassment to our nation if we don't win this TI. Like, that's
Yeah,
fucking
fuck.
down
I mean, like-
bad.
Well, I mean, how are they gonna get another like TI team when they've fucking banned gaming now too? Like,
True.
hey, I don't know how they expect to get another one if they get this.
LGD's as good as it gets.
Well, I mean, it's just like, yeah, but they go to play games when
They can't be
kids can't
enforcing
do
that.
anymore.
How are they enforcing that shit? Like, is that a meme? I haven't heard anything about that.
Maybe that's why they want to win. So like, if we win, then maybe they'll get rid of the game ban. So I actually hope they win.
Did China really ban video games?
It's like if you're under 18, you can't play a certain amount or something like that.
But how do they track it?
Oh, I'm sure they find a way.
Dude, they have I just found this out last night. But in China you have this thing called a social score.
Yeah. I know
Yes.
that.
Yeah. I saw that. You saw it on Reddit? Was it Reddit?
No, I was talking to someone who lived in China last night. He lived there for like 8 years. And yeah, he legit has like a social score on his phone. And it's based on like if you go see your parents, like what time you wake up, what time you go to bed, like what your job is, like how much community service you've signed up for, like how many texts you're sending to like people that are like positive versus negative, like positive emojis versus negative emojis, like everything. And then you get like a
Honestly,
social
fucking,
score.
we could do with that shit because Twitter's a fucking cesspool.
Oh,
Fucking
Vic.
give them low MMR on fucking. Every time they ratio you, they lose social MMR. Fuck them.
Yeah, if they don't, if it's an unsuccessful ratio.
Unsuccessful ratio, you lose social
I was gonna
MMR.
say if you get the clean ratio, you probably go up a couple for sure. All right, what do we want to see, boys? What do we want to see?
I just wanted to see a game.
I want to
5
see
be
fucking
specific.
Team Spirit not have a shit mid pick.
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah,
I
what
want
they have
Team
TA? That was fucking dumb.
TA and Invoker.
Look at
both
these
just
fucking
flopped.
lads. Look at these fucking
entire
lads.
tournament between these two teams.
Dude, I love this game so much.
Dude, I love this game so much.
This is the
Oh, is
best
that
moment of
AY?
the
Yeah, it
tournament.
is.
What do you guys hope to
Yeah,
see
it is
from both
AY,
teams
yeah.
coming in?
Oh, what the fuck happened to No Tail? Dude, his hair. What the hell? I didn't know it was him.
Yes, Tail. That's what they're calling it.
Game
Uh,
possible, I think.
Wait, who's the guy in the middle? What was his name?
Seb.
I want to see both
Sebastian.
teams getting
What-
their
what
comfort
was
zone.
his
I wanna see
proname?
Both teams getting solid drafts and being
what?
able to
What's his what?
fight full force.
I didn't
And,
see his
show
name
the
pop up. I
world
just saw
no
Sebastian.
better
AY.
than us, like,
Sebastian.
everybody
Is he
what
pro?
They have to offer. That's what I want.
Yeah, he's offlaner for OG.
Wait, so are they casting now that they're out?
People working
Yeah.
their lives.
Well,
years
they're doing
of
analysis,
college,
draft analysis.
They did not ban Tiny.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
wow, oh wow, they actually decide. Okay, but Mag is also in, so this is something that we know that LGD they chose first pick, and most likely they were
Tony.
mag for nothing trade.
LGD Tony, scary.
These guys were not going to counter the mag correctly, but now.
I haven't seen a tiny. Oh, there you go. I haven't seen that yet. Did they play that yet in the series? I missed like
100% they played it earlier. I haven't watched them play it though. Yo, you see my guy do a fucking flip?
No.
He did the Tiny did a fucking flip on stage.
Oh shit, you used to. Damn, dog.
Lachlan, you should watch on my Discord stream so you're synced with me and Rob, so you don't spoiler. Because our streams will be out of sync.
Can't be arsed.
It's the same, literally the same quality.
No, but it's like I gotta cast it on my TV and watch it off my TV.
Oh, okay.
I ain't watch it.
Fine.
So I feel like the teams, they found their momentum again.
Honestly,
like
we're probably ahead of you, so you're the one that'll get spoilers.
There's a lot to say actually.
Yeah, like what's the timer say for you right now? Like on the
19, 18, 17.
Okay, yeah, y'all are like 8 seconds ahead. So I'm gonna restart my stream though. I've had it up for a while.
In the game before that we just witnessed, they took the mag and they showed how they can make it work.
What's about it doesn't fix it?
Which was game 3.
They picked the mag again. I mean, I guess you kind of have to.
Yeah, and they don't have the Rubik for it. They don't have counters for it in support, so I like it. I like this.
Oh, this is so toxic though, dude. Tony like that.
Bro, it's gonna be some fucking yo. I hope we get a fucking fast as fuck Lycan on some rat shit. Oh my goodness.
Got some
No, he
rats up
bites
in
the
here.
tiny. He bites the tiny, and then the tiny has shard. So it's like a big wolf holding a tree, and he just one-shots all your towers. It's crazy.
Yo, what do the countdown now?
28,
27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22.
Yeah, nah, y'all got me beat. Y'all got me beat. Y'all can split for me. Fuck. Traps, boys.
It's raps. Honestly, no, it's fine. It's fine. We won't spoil. We won't.
And the Rubik. There's got to be another counter to
Magnus.
Stewart.
Yeah, it's pressing. Oh, can you only watch it in game? Like, what the fuck? Is this kid okay?
Bro, my guy's down bad, bro. I played chess with him for a game yesterday. I don't think he spoke a coherent sentence. He's not okay. He said COVID made his brain slow.
Yeah, jeez. Oh, I got my first dose today.
Yeah, respect. How you popping? I evidently fine.
Yeah, dude. Nah, I passed out, dude. I was so tired. Like, maybe so tired.
Oh, shit. Have you slept properly yet?
Yeah, I had like a 4-hour nap as soon as I did it.
Before you like go to sleep properly, make sure you take like something for fever. No, like a paracetamol or like an Advil or something. No, 100% just do it. It's anything for fever. Because I thought I felt nothing all day, and then I went to bed. The first dose, yeah, the first dose I needed I woke up.
AstraZeneca, right? Yeah, you did AstraZeneca.
Yeah, I hit like a 39-degree fever on the first night I had it.
Yeah, maybe second dose I'll do that shit.
I mean, there's no harm. There's literally, it's paracetamol. It's not gonna fucking do anything to you.
Nah, I try to do that same thing. You know how you don't have caffeine, so that when you have caffeine it fucks you up? Same deal with Nurofen. I don't do it unless I really need it. Because when I need it, I fucking need it. I don't need it.
They should keep in mind. They should keep in mind these tinkers. They should keep in mind their best heroes, and also for them, what are we gonna do against this Tiny now? Are we trying to push him out of his comfort zone, play on early timings before he gets?
Fuck, Spirit running out of time here.
Or are we actually gonna try to pick?
Yeah, geez, they're milking the clock. Holy shit.
They've done this in the last fucking 2 games as well. They burnt all their time early, and then they've just fucking YOLO picked their mid. Fucking both times. Stop it! Ban something! It's not that fucking important. It's only 13 mil, guys. Fucking ban someone.
What happens if they run out of time and just auto pick something, yeah?
Fucking random.
That'd be ballsy. I'd love that.
Oi, what the fuck are they doing? Fam.
They will not lose. They're not gonna waste a
Yo,
single
my guy, is this the guy picking? The guy looking straight up?
He's fucking done. I fucking hope not. Snap?
Make
Yeah, fair.
cannot
Tiny
take
snap
quicker
is a
than the 20
fucking
minutes.
problem.
It's just a Dota mechanic. He cannot buy the shard before minute 20.
I would argue there's a Shadow Blade timing that changes a little bit because he actually...
Do you know what's impressive, right? That there's a million people watching this. A million people understand the fucking fuckery that this game actually is. Like, think about how much fucking shit goes on in this game. And there's a million people who understand it enough to sit and watch this.
Punks in the building. Let's fucking go.
That's gonna be that mid though.
I'm not sure. I think
Ember! Fucking Ember now!
They maybe have a read where...
Ember,
shit,
Storm,
man.
Ember, Storm, Ember, Storm. Void. Ember. Yes! He's done it! He's done it! Team Spirit with Ember Spirit! This is the fucking first Team Spirit draft I've liked in a hot fucking minute.
They should be punished in the game. You're just announcing, hey, this is a Tiny Lycan game. You know, so of course the Team Spirit is gonna try to abuse that. So these heroes are gonna have to. Somebody's gonna have
They
to
gotta
make
pick
space for them.
support last, right?
You want to consider that they're not gonna have the perfect Tiny Lycan game.
They
or
get
the
to
opposing
ban
team
2
gonna
heroes
mess
before they
up the
pick.
draft. So Tkunka is here to help them stabilize. You know,
No, I
Kunka's
think
a
the
great laner.
Lycan's... Is the Lycan a support? I think the Lycan's a support, right, Rob?
So this could explain why they
Lycan's
feel like
off lane,
we
right?
need to get our
No,
hands on
I
this
think it's
Kunka,
Tiny
especially
off lane. Lycan
the
support,
hero
and
that
they
they
can pick their
might pick
safe
later
lane
is
now.
gonna get counterpicked
Tiny
anyway.
safe lane, dude. Tiny safe lane, Lycan off lane, Kunkka mid, and then they're picking another
Oh
support.
shit, why have they done this backwards?
I'm just wondering what he's
Yeah,
gonna
that's what I'm saying. They're gonna do that
coming up
support.
for him. Like the heroes that I
What's
think,
fifth
if you
pick
ban
for
the
these
Noctis and
guys?
Void now, I wonder what he's
Yeah.
gonna look at with this mag versus this Tiny.
So with these 8 heroes picked, which side do you favor going into these final picks?
I'm on the Tiny boat.
Yeah.
Just a tiny boat?
Fucking look at them with their little
If you
spreadsheets.
want to break this Tiny, you have to abuse the
Yeah,
fact that he comes online
100%.
late. I mean, everything is
I'm gonna a couple $1 million on this one.
Honestly, do your homework before you pick your hero.
He should have a bad lane. He's buying Axe, so all the gold that he...
I just don't want this game to play out like the last one because that'd be so anticlimactic.
With the blade and the staff of with it, like, it does nothing. When the Axe comes and the shard comes, this is when the power spike is crazy. But before that, these are 2 heroes that are actually really bad at fighting. They're really bad at, you know, at stunning, at catching. They don't do much. So, and I think you have to use that opening. But so far, I think the Spirit heroes, I don't know if they truly do that.
And if you think about it from that perspective, I feel like Kunkka and Skyrath, you're trying to run at them, hit that strong timing, but they have the potential to burst anyone. And you have some pain saves, some
I fuck with the
but it might
PA
not
for
be
Team
enough for
Spirit
Skyrath.
here.
And I also think the
No.
preemptive pick for
Why
Toronto
not?
to Tokyo. Like,
No.
What? Who do you think they need? Medusa? Luna? Oh, Luna's gone. Medusa? Fucking Bandogre, that's my guy. My guy.
So I think it was also a good
Medusa's
pick.
actually
Now
not
you see
bad.
This Ember, you see this Virus,
Yeah, I really
you
like
see the
Dusa.
Skyrim value that's going to happen in these early fights.
Because you can stone the Lycan when he runs at you
Yeah.
with the Tiny.
You pick Lycan into Mag Wyvern, and you pick Tiny into Mag Wyvern, and Mag Wyvern, they have really good plays against that. And when they played against Secrets, they did play the same lineup. They played Tiny Lycan into Mag Wyvern, and they
This is gonna be a
had
good
Puck
game.
and a Phoenix, which are heroes that excel at messing with the backline. They stop the Bane and the Wyvern
They
and the
wanna
Mag from
crit.
pressing the spell how they want to.
Like maybe
I
Jug?
see a hole in the
Imagine.
sense that
Yeah,
Kunkka and Skyrath,
is he
they don't
meta?
do that.
I don't think I've
Skyrath's
seen
gonna
him this
have
whole TI, have you?
free fights.
I was
Same
gonna
for the
say,
Mag,
like,
same
dead
for the
ass, I
Bane,
haven't
and
seen
that
him yet.
worries me a lot.
I think he's really good here.
You know,
Oi,
for
Rob.
LGD, I think the fights are
Oh
gonna be
no,
much
he got
harder in
fucked
this
fan. I was about to say
today, and I
fucking
think
Monkey King.
The whole in
Imagine.
they had a Shadow Demon and the Lina with the Mag, with the Tiny and the Lycan, and these heroes don't really complement.
Yeah.
You know, they don't counter what counters the Tiny Lycan.
Oh, Jug, come on.
Oh,
Jug
good.
is so good right now.
They picked Meg and they
Jug
had
is
Rubicon
so
and
good
Kunkka.
right
I
now.
think this Kunkka pick actually came because X
Oh,
has a similar
Enchantress.
function. Like if Magnus
Jug is
is
so
doing X
fucking
and
good
you
right
direct
now.
him,
Oh
or
my
you
god.
X your ally, you can stop that skill play from
Rob
coming
fucking
in.
runs into the arena and picks Juggernaut and sits
I
down at his
And you'll
fucking
see it
setup.
coming in. I think this hero, you know, they have
Dude,
a slow lineup, but something
Jug
they
is
do
so
you can
good
be
right
really
now.
aggressive early with Enchantress,
Oh my god, it's a
double range supports,
no-brainer.
and a Magnus. This hero can actually snowball this game.
It's a no-brainer.
I like this
Doom.
Dota
They don't have
draft.
much
I really
time,
like
though.
Did
Oh
3
my-
seconds!
these drafts that are
Oh,
lackluster
shit,
too.
Power
I'm a big
Blade.
fan of Enchant,
Alright.
especially back in the day. But there's a big hole, which is your AoE.
I don't
you
like
really
it.
need to fight into them. Oh, TB the draft. Okay.
I don't like it.
It's okay when they lose. We can coach them and send them Twitters.
Yeah, we'll
and be
tweet
like,
them saying you should have picked Medusa. Honestly, you fucking threw.
No. Juggernaut was a better call, but I like TB. They have like no stuns.
We are gonna secure the strongest 20-minute time.
They have Bane and they have Magnus.
No, LGD. He's right.
Enforce this 20-minute timing and snowball the game.
Yeah, LGD got Tiny and
Kunkka.
Kunkka.
They will
Yeah.
scale greatly. So it's gonna be down to
That Kunkka's gonna get the fucking Torrent Storm Ags thing, which is gonna be tough.
That's exciting.
What does
for
Ags
Game
do on
5 of the
Kunkka now?
finals, because LGD, like, you look at them throughout the tournament.
The Torrent Storm thing, where he fucking torrents everywhere around him in like 1200 AoE.
I think Juggernaut was such a good pick, and I'm so disappointed they didn't pick it. Spin to get out of Kunkka X.
Yeah.
The problem with Tiny and Lycan is that they'll run at you and they fight and they bite each other, and you need a carry that can kind of get out of that space so Juggernaut can just ult and then just start dealing insane amounts of damage. If you don't clump up with a Juggernaut ult, then Jug does all his damage to one person. If you clump up, then you get Winter's Curse, Magnus ulted. It's like he gets empowered from Magnus. He can spin and kill Enchantress and Skywrath. He can get out of Root.
So who do you guys think
Fuck, Juggernaut is so good. If Juggernaut ults Enchantress, her untouchable doesn't actually count, so he attacks at full attack speed. Fuck, dude, Juggernaut was actually such a good pick here. I'm so fucking pissed.
Yeah, but these guys have triple your MMR, so...
They have more than triple. No, they have triple.
Yeah.
They have double, actually.
And for the Team Spirit side, do you think there's anyone who can sort of stop that onslaught early?
Jug would have been good.
Looking at Ember for this match. Yeah.
It has to be the Ember.
And now we're going to the final game of TI-10. But before we go into game, we'll be coming to Sumi with Team Spirit's coach, Silent.
Thank you very much, AUI. Silent, this is the final game of the tournament. There is nothing more.
She ain't got a card this time, Robbie. Yeah, hold on,
2-2.
see what she does.
No need to hide strategies now.
Wait, what did she do
What
last
is your
time?
team's strategy to
She was
win?
reading off a prompt card to ask one question. Help with chirping her.
Your strategy is just luck. Do you?
Oh gosh, she's so
Their
bad.
best strategy is luck, and luck is how they are going to win. Do you have any final comments before
Jesus
the game starts?
fucking Christ, that was awful.
He does not have any comments. All right, let's go.
Dude, she was on the main panel desk for this. Yes. OD Pixel. He's the best.
The most expensive match of a video game ever to be broadcast in the world, in the universe.
Is it OD Pixel and Fogged, or is it OD Pixel and Insania?
Crazy game. I think the last
It's
game was
Insania.
very,
Okay.
very much in
That's fine.
LGD.
I like Insania.
They like
I think
change it
this
out
is
each
really
game.
even, and
Yeah.
I completely agree with what Seb had to say. Where I think both teams have different things going for themselves. I think if this game does scale up, if it goes very slowly,
Can you turn it up a little bit, Vic?
from the Tiny isn't abused, then LGD's draft is going to just lack in power as the game scales up. I'm a little bit worried about how much the impact
Have
of
fun. All of China's watching. Have fun.
And how well Team Spirit will be able to shut it down. I think runes, just like Silent said, luck, you know? And I don't think he was joking. Luck really does matter. If they get those power runes, it's going to be huge for them.
I mean, we saw as well from Spirit the sort of the very carefree attitude it worked out at the start of this series. I mean, asked before the first game. You know, how
Get
the
your AirPods
preparation
in,
was.
Lachlan.
Silent said, well, we didn't get to do much at all. We just
Well, can you
turned up
hear
to
it?
play and have a bit of
As
fun.
you're just rolling around and shit.
Certainly looked to be effective in game one,
Honestly,
game two,
look,
game
I
three,
might just
game
like
four,
watch it
we've
on
just seen
TV.
PSG,
'Cause
LGD,
you guys might
they
spoil it
have
for me.
stepped it up. They've hit back hard.
Oh,
Now
there's
it's
so much
time
fun
to
with
see if
play.
they
Come on,
continue
Toronto,
on the road
Tokyo!
or Team Spirit can
Toronto,
find that
Tokyo.
magic.
Yes,
I
all the
wonder
CS.
if you know how they live in
Deny,
Toronto,
deny.
Tokyo.
I think this is going to be a battle of the mid
Oh,
lane.
Why
this
is
is cool.
nothing to say? Have such high
I think the lane
MMR.
phase is probably
It's
gonna
such
be fairly
bullshit.
even. Both heroes will farm fairly well.
Highest MMR
but
player in game.
that 6-minute rune, Owen. I think whoever gets that 6-minute rune actually has a massive edge in this game. Because they're going to get to decide what happens, and the other team has to respond.
Absolutely, we've seen the importance of those timings,
Oh,
those power
shit,
runes
no.
already many
Get
times in
it.
the series. Only times of the tournament
Collapse
itself.
already low.
Both teams
One salve left.
fully be
How is
aware
he
of
Collapse
such
is
low
going to
health?
pop off this game, though. I'm telling you, they don't have an answer to him this game.
Civic, see the support?
Yeah.
Salving Collapse. You see
Yeah,
that?
honestly, I've learned a
Most
lot
lanes are just going to
today.
be fairly farmy. The top side of the map, I think, is probably where you're going to see the most kind of action. There's a little bit of threat from the tiny edge to potentially make some sort of kill move. But I really think it's right now, you know, you want to get as much farm as you can out of the lanes before the supports have to rotate out. So I think I expect all
I don't know, man.
scores
I
of this
still
game
haven't
to have
watched a
fairly
game of
decent
League.
start.
Like,
Alright, well, we'll see if there's going to be any slip-ups
I
in the
have.
laning stage.
Dota's better, right?
Oh, in every way, yeah.
Very even so far.
But everyone likes League more.
Because it's easier to understand, Lachlan. It's less complicated, so more people can pick it up.
Nothing to say. Bottom lane, Xingqiu.
Yeah.
Think how many games of this we've had to play to understand whatever the fuck is going on most of the time. Like, there's less of that with League, so more people
So the
play it
metamorphoses
and
have
watch
them
it,
top,
right?
But they have link control up top.
Actually, I think more
the
people
advantage of
watch
having link control
Dota,
is the TB
right?
can't really run you down with his range.
No,
the
not
way he wants
normally.
to, so not
No.
the ideal position
League,
for this meta.
well,
to
it
be used.
depends. I
If
don't
you're
know.
able to use it right
League's got a
outside
lot
of
of
your own hero
personalities
tower,
that play the
you
game.
can kind of zone out any other hero
Yeah.
to come into the lane, but Faithion's doing just fine during this meta.
Oscar trying his best to get Xingqiu away.
Ugh, OD
from
Pixel's
his
so
Terror
good.
Blade. Keep that area safe for Yatora.
Yeah, nothing to say is doing very well mid. I'm a little bit surprised at this. He's almost a full creep
And
wave
that's
ahead.
Guy Wrath Mage is so fast.
Up top,
Yeah, he's got
continue to
probably
trade
his
as
boots
best they
too.
can here
No, I
with
think he's got
White.
windlace, not boots.
Yeah, doing a good job making sure
Crazy
this top part
base
camp is
needs to
blocked.
be on
Oh,
that guy.
Gonna
here's
try
the
to
sweep.
move up. I mean, Collapse has hit the
Dude,
level 3.
oh, that was
Oh!
He's got enough lockdown and damage to take this kill.
Yes!
Nice.
Just in time.
Oh,
Very
go,
low,
go,
that has
go,
to get on the
go.
range of a potential tie-bringer here will, but there we have it. First blood up top.
Bro,
Quick
this
read
Pudge
from
meta,
Spirit
though.
there as soon as they
No.
knew that they had the setup and the level 3 on
So
Magnus.
unfortunate.
Yeah, this mid lane is
Why
going
is that
excellently for nothing
unfortunate?
to say. Toronto Tokyo here
Dude,
has a hard
Pudge is
choice
so
of do I
fun
go
to
for the
watch.
Bounty Rune or do I stay in the
Fucking
lane?
hook.
True, yeah.
Ooh,
Wow,
nice
dude.
sleight of fist.
Yeah, that was a nice dodge.
Dodges out to Torrent.
Oh, where's the...
Yeah, overall, I
what's
think
it?
very stable lanes all around. TB Lycan about even. Mid lane is really the only outstanding
Yeah,
lane
this
so
cunt
far to
gets
me.
slapping it.
And we know
Dude,
how scary nothing
25
to
last
say can
hits.
get
This
when he
guy's
has a start
insane.
like this. The setups that he'll be able to offer to the team.
Such
they're
a
gonna be
Chad.
huge, and a fair bit of damage to follow up each and every time that nothing
Yeah,
to say
right? Like,
gets a
Ember
cap.
should really do better
Yeah,
than
and
Kunkka
LGD
mid,
really on
eh?
top of refilling
Oh,
the tower,
no.
right? You see, Toronto
Huh?
Tokyo's not quite getting the same support mid, and that's because their heroes are
Oh, that's tiny
forced
with
to
the
stay in their
Christmas
lanes
tree.
right now. They can't really move their
Yeah.
pieces on the
Okay.
map.
See?
Oh,
Already winning
Kunkka's
the
gonna
lane,
steal his
getting that
stats.
free bottle refill.
Look at that.
He's gonna be able to steal the small camp away from Ember. This is huge. Nothing to say is off to a great start in this game 5 of the grand final.
Oh,
Oh, no, he gets
Is
his
he?
something back.
And it's very hard for Toronto
Oh,
to
he
do
got
too
that
much
there.
about it. Of course, Kunkka
Yeah, you
early
shouldn't have
on.
hit that.
So HP is not going to be too scared of being burnt down by the Ember at the early levels.
Yep, and up top you see, like, this is generally how the early game is developing in this grand final, where the Tiny gets the 1-versus-1 lane
Here we
against
go,
the Mag
oh.
because there's no real kill threat. Neither side can really pressure each other too much, and the two supports are kind of battling it out in the jungle. But here we go, Collapse is really far up into the lane. This could be a lot of pressure.
See Mirror.
Oh, he missed his.
No, no, he hit
Inside
the
dome
he hit the
case.
tiny.
Yeah, I thought he was
Mate,
going for the
on
CS.
Yep.
Find the connection.
Oh, another
I feel like
salve.
the one small edge PSG LGD has had
Does
Fucking
Magnus'
Rob's jealous as
Q now
shit.
slow
keep
you
their safe lane
down?
really close to their tower constantly.
Say
They're
what?
not losing lane control on their safe
Dude,
lane.
he's got a baby
And it's
gold
allowing for them
roche.
to
See how
have
much those
very
are?
good,
Those couriers? Isn't that the
great
one that like tried to
equilibrium,
win?
And that then in return
Just
makes
like
Collapse
$5
forced
grand
to
or
play
something?
much safer.
Oh, see Mirror. Not quite able to close the gap on the courier. Has left
Collapse,
Collapse rather on his own. Nice little circle around the tree line.
Is he gonna
keep
get that
Collapse
curve?
away from the two of them.
He's actually a player that very often manages to get these jukes where he kind of takes a route that people don't expect him to and gets out of these tricky situations.
He's risking it.
Look at this
Wonder if he can get
ward.
out now, though. Wise on top of him. He has a slow.
It's a fair bit of damage.
Whoa.
Does still have the skewer for a follow-up impetus, or the combo of Arme can close in on him.
Yep. Faith Beyond.
6-minute rune
initiated
coming
on
up.
Flies used,
Yeah.
meta's used, but immediate TP out. Again, great presence of mind. You can tell why these players are in the grand finals. They're not giving anything away.
Wait, so
for
Rob,
free.
you off to the
It's
UK
not like neither
soon?
team's attempting to make moves. It's just
Yeah.
both teams are really on top of it. As mid,
When?
Thursday.
Nice dodge.
Nice.
Flies off to the side here, Toronto, Tokyo.
Team Spirit.
Well, he did deny the boundary, but it will cost
2-0,
him his life.
baby.
Coming over for that one there, as Team Spirit were prepared for that move.
Did they get the battery?
They denied it.
So a little bit of miscoordination there. I think if you time that Ancient Seal a bit
No, you got the power.
Generally speaking, you know, you're going to use an X into Torrent. If you get the
You
silence
deny
after the
ranks.
Torrent goes off, then the potential to get the boat in is there. And I think if they did the combo that way, they might have gotten the kill. But of course, the fear of Ember potentially dodging the Torrent with a slight forced them to use it too early.
Yeah, now they've sort of shown their hand mid. It's going to be hard for them to make that play again.
Oh,
Top lane,
that kill.
the nightmare
should
set
die
onto
here,
Arme.
right?
Collapse. It's got enough damage. Doesn't look like
Oh,
quite.
it's
The
up
shockwave will miss.
That was
You missed. Get out.
And skewer already expended. There's no
Wow, through that.
Why did he skewer us? He could have skewered at a better angle.
That's good pressure though. They force them off of the lane.
Honestly,
they
it
finally
put
managed to
me
get lane
in.
control.
I'd hit
Immediately
that
when they
skewer,
get it,
bro.
they have the opportunity to pressure the Tiny.
Yeah.
So force them off the
Nervy
lane.
would.
Force them to go into the jungle.
Nah, that's not an
And
excuse.
he doesn't have any sustain, right? So he's gonna have
Oh,
to
is
spend
TB dead?
Yeah.
There go for him early on here with the three of them surrounding the
TB
Terrorblade
dead?
Yatoro. He's trapped in the trees.
Good as fuck.
The moves from the supports of PSG LGD start to come in.
Oh.
Counterplay attempted. Set
Oh.
up the nightmare, but the TP's already coming over for nothing to say. He'll be ready to fight if Team Spirit push any further, and they won't. They'll respect the potential of a
Eric
backup.
Conker. Oh,
coming
did you
in
get
for
that?
Arme.
Oh.
They step away to not be
That was
caught
really
out by
good
the
actually.
combo of
That's
the
so good
Conker.
for Toronto now. He's getting free
Battle of
farm.
the power
Yeah,
now resumes.
yeah, look at
About
him.
30 seconds
Yeah.
left,
He's
so
pushing.
we're
He's
talking
catching
about
up, yeah.
which supports can we
Pushing
bring
in.
to
He's
who can
cutting
be
the
there
wave.
to help out.
He's yeah.
One haste,
He.
one
I don't know
BD,
why
it
he's
can
he's
change
such
the
a good
flow of the
Ember
game
Spirit. I don't know
entirely.
what the fuck he was doing with TA and fucking.
You got the Ember was banned now.
Yeah, but they could have just
Toronto
picked
Tokyo
earlier
also
like they
just
did
sort of
today.
cutting the wave, maybe getting the
Risky.
momentum of the mid lane in such a state that he'll have that ability to check the range.
Riskier than the
PSG
fucking
LGD
TA and the
just play on
Invoker
it.
that you had to play, Rob.
Invoker was not it.
Neither was the
potentially burst
TA.
hero that you wouldn't be able to otherwise.
Yeah, but that
TA
whole
was
game,
Bottom lane,
that whole game was
Faithbound's
a
really trying to
disaster.
pressure this tower. And now that he's forced out the Arctic burn from Imposhka, Imposhka has to be very safe. He can't really sit there and be as annoying anymore and just continuously nuke the creeps. So expect this bottom tower to start falling. Meanwhile, top.
Here we go.
Obviously,
Yeah,
great job
rat,
just
don't
defending.
chat.
He's clearing out the wave, holding off the pressure. Something that Team Spirit can't quite do themselves here down bottom. Faith Beyond.
So here, it's an important smoke here that LGD are doing.
Oh,
They
he's sending the
recognize that
wolf.
Am is going to sit at the tower. The Radiant team can't really defend their own bottom tower. So what are they going to do? They're going to mirror your play. They're going to go and attempt to take top lane tier 1 tower. So the smoke up here, it's a preemptive move in case Team Spirit tries to do something. But Spirit
We
reads it
nearly
very
got
well.
popped.
They are
Yeah.
aware.
And making sure not to get caught out by these early moves as PSG LGD do start to slowly ramp up an early gold advantage. Now
Oh.
hitting the 1k lead, they'll be able to catch themselves.
Oh, he kind of dead. Dead
in the
fuck
river
actually.
mirror.
Yeah.
So alright,
And
Toronto
Yasuo actually gives
is
this position away.
living.
He used the reflection there, so now they know the Terrorblade's in the triangle. And you can look bottom. Faith Beyond has absolutely no fear. There's no hero that could gank him in any shape, way, or form. So he's off to a really,
Dude,
really good
this
start.
Lycan is
And when we
such
talked
a
about the
problem.
draft coming into it, it's all about timings, right? So you want, ideally,
Is he
for him
getting
to finish up his
Dominator?
Helm of the Overlord
Hook?
and the Aghanim
Okay.
Scepter before 20 minutes. And if the game continues the way it is right now, it's highly likely to happen.
I'm in Spirit. I do want to try and put the pressure up top. Try and push Arme out of this top area of the map. See in the mid lane.
You.
Catch, but
Oh.
again, Toronto, Tokyo, fully
Wow.
prepared.
Yeah.
It's well
Spirit,
underway.
Spirit are aware that the boat was used, and that means the top tower is very unlikely to be defended.
It's hard for them to get on top of Arme. Again, playing smart with the
That's
avalanche,
so
putting
crazy watching
a
this
stop
guy.
to the
Oh,
combo. Now
there's
time's
a
been bought for
fuck-
PSG to come around.
oh,
Yatoro immediately
no.
over the
Oh, that's a
TP. Doesn't
wolf.
want to be around here anymore. Mirror
Fucking
will
poor
get
Bane.
found in the trees though.
Still,
Another
like,
death
what
there
have you
on the
moved? You
Bane
moved
as
4
PSG
players there just to drop
continue
the
to
Bane.
fight
That's
back
fine.
Against Spirit's attempts to get something done whilst the pushes are coming in elsewhere from PSG LGD there. Definitely getting a little bit more done in this first 10 minutes.
Yep, they absolutely are. And
My
Purge
guy's
Cape here
fucking
on the
emoting.
Lycan. This allows you to take away the level 4 flame guard from
Yeah,
the
dude,
Oh,
that
he's
major,
living on the
fighting
edge.
tool right now in the early game. So that gets purged.
Tower's just
immediately
gone,
has to back
though.
off. This tower's gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
time
God.
against
Black
It's
is
a
left
second
up,
tier
dude.
10
one
minutes
down.
in. 10 minutes in,
Playing
they've
it fast,
lost mid.
PSG LGD.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yep, LGD have the entire map to play with right now. They're controlling the entire. It's basically wherever they want to go, whoever they want to kill. is an option for them. And Team Spirit, they just have to try to play this map split game where they're dragging the PSG LGD heroes around and trying to get Yatoro to farm safely behind everybody else.
We're not going to see with the space that Collapse has got. He's going to have a good timing here on the Blink Dagger. I mean, how proactive do you expect to see them be here with this Blink pickup? Is it an immediate smoke and an attempt for a kill?
I think very likely they're going to try to make some counter move where like they try to set up a play where they expect LGD to do something and they know where their heroes are going to be, and then they're set up ready to take that fight. I don't really expect them to make some aggressive smoke, most likely around some enemy tower or in order to defend one of their own.
See just this constant micro here.
Oh my god.
Faith Beyond's being so annoying. Toronto Tokyo's trying to farm jungle with his flame guard, but he's just purging it off every single time.
And he's taking all the camps himself, Faith Beyond here with the wolves.
Yeah,
he's a
it's
menace.
a tough position to be in if you're Team Spirit. You've really drafted this like very late game heavy draft. You know it's going to take a long time for you to come online. I think if you see a team like OG play December Spirit, he probably would have gone for more of a slight chain build and try to make moves, try to set up tempo, and try to break up the pace of the game. But Toronto Tokyo opted to go for the more farm heavy route. So their draft is going to come online much later than PSG LGD's, and that's why they're allowed to dominate the early game the way they have been.
It hasn't been too dominant though. It's kind of like
it's because they lost
away.
those first few kills.
Nothing to say. He wants to set up in the mid. Arcane Rune in the bottle, full armlet.
Like, imagine what would be happening now if they'd got those first two kills, right?
And a lot of damage to dish out.
Yeah.
Alright, gang, I'm falling asleep. I will catch you guys later.
Fucking grand finals of TI, my guy fucking looked the bad.
Dude, Dodo puts you to bed, man.
Nah, it's the Pfizer, dude. Like, it's been so tight today.
Oh, true.
Alright, catch you on the next one. Good night.
Catch you, gang. I might be on TG later, but yeah, you boys. Catch up.
Whilst LGD feel very comfortable moving around the map, so vision superiority definitely in favor of LGD. They understand what's going on the game right now much better than Team Spirit does. Team Spirit's playing exclusively off of game sense.
You can see the confidence from PSG LGD because of that vision control. Smoke ups, they swing through the triangle.
There it is.
He's gone, he knows.
Yatoro's so good at sniffing it out, I feel like.
Yeah, and he's made the call for Collapse to back off as well. They're both out of here.
Yeah, and this is purely a game sense.
That was good. That wasted so much time.
Understanding what LGD is doing and responding to it perfectly. There was no information of that play coming. Wonderfully done.
Unreal.
There's a little bit of a play attempt set up in the bottom lane. But they just don't have the damage.
It's hard just with the two of them. Not a job for the supports alone.
But look at Yatoro. He's making his way over.
Maybe indeed with the Terrorblade and the Metamorphosis they could get the damage done if they get a grip onto Arme. Here's tanky though.
They need this. This is massive. This is massive.
He's got the Echo Saber, the treads. See if they can do it. Nightmare setup. Instantly TPs are coming in. See if they can do the damage quick enough. Yatoro focusing down with the Metamorphosis and the illusions that we
massive.
Take it. They kill off Arme. Mystic Flare's
massive.
coming in, but Yatoro is able to sidestep it. PSG LGD, can they get a grab in return? Nothing to say. Trying to charge in.
That was fucking gangster.
Oh my god!
Here comes the micro. From White. Nice. He's able to lock down Maposhka here with
the centaur coming in.
Back into the combo. He'll try his best to break the combo. Nothing to say here with the curse thrown out Maposhka.
Yeah.
Will still end up going down. Still though, Spirit. They'll take that. They got it.
Bro, think about how much fucking Faith Beyond is microing right now. Think of fucking what speed his brain is working, bro. Can you even imagine?
And if we think about how LGD wants to play this game, it's important for them to have their cooldowns to get big kills or get big moments. Whilst Team Spirit are happy every time nothing's happening in the game, they feel like they're getting ahead. They feel like they're progressing their game. And that's exactly what's going on now, right?
Look at this.
They're playing really well, yeah.
No boat,
Spirit's playing really well here.
In the next 2 minutes. And they're very happy about that.
Yeah, we're seeing as well Toronto Tokyo able to silently play his game here. He's been getting a lot of space. See already with this time with the first time pick up the Yules. He's already rather hard for PSG LGD to catch.
Let's go.
Collapse is going to get mixy soon,
his farm's certainly going to be picking up pretty soon here. See if PSG LGD are able to find any more action to keep this lead going. Arme in the neighborhood, ready to brawl in the jungle of Spirit. If Spirit give it to them, but so far in this game 5, Spirit, they've returned to sort of that fantastic ability to read the moves and just avoid any sort of engagement that is not preferable for them to be involved in.
Yeah, and I think when you're playing some sort of like Enchantress Skywrath type draft, you want to be getting kills right now. You want to be punishing them. And if you take a look at the graphs, it's been about a 2 to 3k lead for most of the game. They're not really progressing on LGD's side. Yes, they're ahead, but they're not getting more ahead. And with their style of draft, they want to be getting more ahead as the game progresses. So it's looking like that 20-minute timing really is going to be everything for them.
Absolutely, especially now with the Shadow Blade done on Arme. I mean, he is ready to be an incredible killer at this stage, of course. The power of the Tiny, ready to rock and roll.
4 kills.
Yeah, I think the 2 supports from Team Spirit are going to be really, really important for this upcoming team fight. Because if Bane is able to get a grip on the Tiny for long enough for TB to take good positioning and output damage, that might just be enough for them to win the game. If this Tiny goes down, PSG LGD's draft has nothing. It's all about Ame.
Oof.
This time around, Mira and Miposhka having collapsed by their side. Ame. He's just got himself Xinkyu behind him. Setting up with the Shadow Blade in preparation to clear out the wave. See if Spirit hang around to try and hunt him down.
Yeah, Miposhka with the read. He does have a sentry.
Miposhka nearly died then.
Up with that wave if slightly more patient.
He just literally looked at death.
If you take a look at Ivan, Winter Wyvern's building the blink. He understands one good curse, you know? It's all about getting the one good spell off. So having the positioning, staying back, and then blinking at the right moment, that's going to be what he's going for. And they're giving him space, right? They're letting Miposhka sit down here to try to finish up the blink. They understand how important this is.
Absolutely. It's going to be huge, these curses, against a lineup where you're running these 3 melee cores that want to be charging in at you. Absolutely possibilities for a huge turnaround Winter's Curse to come out in these team fights.
Philosopher's Stone, put that on the fucking Wyvern, let's go.
That Eye of Skadi, he wants to be tanky enough to tank the damage and then potentially get a Sunder off. That's going to be the game for him. If he's able to stand his ground with Skadi, and
this game is going to get crazy, you know.
He might just
game
be
is
able
going
to
be
be
buybacks, fucking everything.
Split pushes, team fights.
Game right now is collapse. He's kind of understood that, you know what?
Everything.
I'm just going to get my shard, and I'm going to be happy with that. If I can have it by 20 minutes, that's everything I need.
We've seen before from Collapse how much he can get done with limited resources. This man's Magnus, certainly something to be feared. Something that got tripped up in the game, of course, where Xinkyu had the Rubik to deal with it. Something that
that Rubik ended his whole career.
So a bit more free of a game for Collapse to make his moves occur.
Wow, they're really giving
Miposhka all this time. I mean, if the pacing keeps going like this, I mean, LGD is going to hit their timing, and then you really got to look at that team fight. The nice thing about having so much time right now is I expect Team Spirit to be really ready for that fight when it comes. But look at this. LGD are going to try to make a move right before it.
Yep. Here they go. Ancient Thunderhide leading the charge.
Oh, I fucking gave it away.
Spotted out here by Spirit. I don't know that there's likely going to be some action following
They're
it.
just getting control right now. But look at Toro just on top lane, just farming.
Yeah, Toro's just farming. 5 heroes committed down.
Wow, do you want a job?
Space that he wants.
Grab underneath the tier 2 tower. Xinkyu,
Do you play carry?
Oh! He's going to go with the RP.
Oh!
Xinkyu drag the Scarab underneath the tower. It will lose the Wyvern.
Oh my goodness, your Toro's there! Oh my!
He's nervous.
Someone fought! Someone fought! Fucking fought! They don't need it, I guess. Oh! Yo, tell me though, they should have fucking forted that tower when they had 4 heroes under it. No? They had 4 heroes under tower then. They would have got the Lycan if they forted then, and it would have come back. Or what, you think it's better to use the fort to push?
Underneath the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, it could have been actually meta.
Yeah, that's why you need a fucking ogre brain.
Yeah, but they don't have the.
No, they wouldn't have lost Mag there, and they would have killed Lycan then if they'd have forted that tower. I'm just saying. Obviously, they had a lot going on. So.
And Roshan's available too.
To know like what someone thinks about that. That actually knows the game.
Game-winning rune for him.
Yeah.
Wow, fucking rude.
Yeah, I think once we see that Lycan form come up,
can't believe you'd say
them
this.
to make some kind of move. Actually, Tiny's missing 1,000 gold for his shard, so probably not going to be able to use his timing. So great fight for Spirit all around. Like proving that they can kill the Tiny is huge for them.
I mean, Miposhka's maybe even already leading into more action. He's got the Winter's Curse at the ready.
And the Blink Dagger.
Tokyo and Collapse up here ready to play around him as well.
Yeah, Faith Beyond's about 1,000 gold away from the Ags.
Collapse. He's got that on toss. He's got that setup.
Literally.
To drag back on as Xinkyu gets him in reach of the rest of the team.
Bro, they don't have anything. but fucking collapse. They collapse.
There's something that Collapse was tearing them apart with earlier in the series.
Yep, and Collapse has recognized that, you know, the idea from LGD here is to silence him when he blinks into Horn Toss, so he can't get the skewer back. Very similar to how the Rubik functioned in the last game, but this time around they're just going to try to use this silence from Skywrath. So what does he do? He goes for the Sky. Great game understanding from Collapse.
Straight into the pit now as well. Even just with the one member down, with no Sky, no Jin Q, it's still enough that PSG LGD feel that they cannot take this fight there. Letting this go to Spirit.
God, this is so big. Oh my
I feel
god.
like the pacing of the game right now, it really does
Rob's
favor
favorite,
Team
Nelly
Spirit,
Roche.
and they expect LGD to make some kind of move to try to
It's
break
so
it up.
value.
They can't
3
just
lives
farm
on
out
your
this fight
carry.
in 8
Holy
days.
shit.
Expect something to happen
Sunder.
before that.
Aegis.
Oh, it's such a calm before the storm kind of moment. I feel like you see, Toronto Tokyo is just slowly farming up his items. I mean, this Ember Spirit's been a beast this event, and he's only 1,000 gold off of his own Aghanims. And then after that comes a shard, and then there's just fire remnants everywhere.
He doesn't care, bro.
Yeah, he's gone.
Lets a tiny run up to him. Oh my. Yeah, Toro with a DD. Just go get mid. Just go get mid.
Also gonna have that DD rune.
Smoke, yeah, smoke. Yeah, and they're gonna follow that line.
18. He's gonna hurt. Some of these heroes on the back line, they're not gonna stand much of a chance at all. Jinkyu and why? They better be pretty scared. Toronto Tokyo making the jump in on them.
Yeah, the positioning of the supports, it's really, I think, the story of this game, because both front lines are so tanky. I don't really think they're going to go down without the assistance of the supports from both sides. So Miposhka and Mira going up against Y and Xingqiu. They both have very, very tough positions to be in. You're going to have Ember remnanting into your backline, chasing the Skywrath, chasing the Enchantress. And at the same time, if Tiny gets on top of you, you're just dead. If he gets eyes on you, you're gone.
And here's that time. So they've got the Ags ready on Faith Beyond. Ready to make the move here, as you say. They don't want to be held back by the idea that Yatoro's got an Aegis. They want to fight regardless into it.
Yeah, they understand. If we wait too long, then Yatoro's going to be too
Here
strong.
it is,
And
Rob.
here we go.
Here we go, Arme.
Oh, they see
Shit,
him.
they're gonna get Yatoro.
Success here. Looking towards Yatoro.
He knows. He's got the backup.
And Collapse setting up across the cliff
Collapse,
side as
collapse,
Y will be the first to
collapse,
get
where
on.
are you? Collapse.
See how Team
Relax.
Spirit want to tackle this.
There's a DD on
Looking for
Toronto
options,
Tokyo.
Collapse, he's in, instantly caught out by the Ancient Seal, so no skewer to follow. Why?
Chains, back up.
Is there anything they can do to save their Enchantress? I mean, does White need saving at all? He's going to need to, as the Nightmare holds him back.
Yeah, Wolf Form both used on Lycan as well as Tiny. So this means full reset. Now, Team Spirit are in control of the pace. They get to decide what happens in this game.
Yeah, they could push Aegis, Metamorphosis, ready.
Yeah, and they're going right into the
use
triangle.
here.
Yo,
Tier
what's
2s
up?
Could be on the table for Team Spirit.
Looking for some kind of pickoff. They know LGD can't fight back if they get on top of their heroes right now.
They've got their eyes on mid. Yatoro starting to rack up the gold again after the Skadi. 2,800. He's got that butterfly queued up. Knows that they're not
Holy
going to
shit.
pick up any sort of true strike anytime soon here on the heroes of PSG LGD. The evasion
Yeah,
would be huge.
LGD needed early game.
I wonder if it's enough though. I like the idea of the Satanic more. Yeah, he's going for the Satanic. I really like this, because if he can survive the Tiny combo, if he can get through it, you purge off the silence from the Skywrath, you can get one hit off and then Sunder.
Yeah, the Dispel's beautiful.
I mean, if you're a Team Spirit fan, you're very happy with the pacing of this game. You saw LGD being unable to use their first timing of the game to really do anything. So if this keeps happening like 2-3 more times, then you're in the late game. And boy, are Team Spirit geared up to take that late game.
Ready with the setup top. Back Toronto, Tokyo, Invis Rune. Ready to go. See if he can get a surprise jump onto PSG LGD. Why? It's the closest right now. It's just the two supports playing up here, really. Putting themselves in the most dangerous position whilst the cores are able to farm on
Yeah,
the
such a
safer
good
side
place
of
to
the
farm
map.
as a
I think
support.
Team Spirit are
Vic,
going to look
those
for some sort of smoke
camps.
for this bottom triangle ward. This is a ward that they usually
that?
fight around when they have it, so let's see what they do. It looks like they're moving over. Gem on Miposhka. They understand the importance of the vision this game. And there's no tombstone this time, right? They don't have that kind of teamfight vision tool on Team Spirit as they did, or sorry, on LGD as they did in the previous two games. Now they're relying on the wolves. So having the gem secures you that there's no wolves on top of you. They don't see where you're moving. They don't know what's going on. So great item pickup by Miposhka, understanding the importance of it. It's a tense game.
I mean, you know, the Team Spirit's got the solid jump, but PSG LGD, they've got the hard hit. If they can get in with the tiny ball, we're going to see Collapse come in.
Oh.
He's in the horn toss. He's going to look to separate. Nothing to say for the rest of the team.
No RP.
As well.
I don't need it.
They get the quick grab. Nothing to say. Out for a minute.
10 seconds on the Aegis, and once again the wolf forms are used, but Am is deciding to retreat. They don't see the opening they want. There's no buyback on the Kunkka.
Yeah, it's hard to fight with one of their most farmed cores right now in the game. They need them all up, really, to tackle Team Spirit head on. Bit of timing left on the Metamorphosis, so Team Spirit, they can push on. 26 minutes in, starting to take down this tier 2 tower.
Scotty Satanic.
Ooh, quick fingers.
Oh.
Jumped away from the stun of the Tiny.
The fortification is soon to be coming to an end. You see Spirit, they're happy to go for the dives behind the towers.
Oh my, these supports just aren't ready.
Great recognition there. You know, Tiny initiates on you top. What does that mean? That means there's no heroes mid to fight. Immediately dives in. Wherever the Tiny is not, Team Spirit have massive freedom to make moves. The Tiny, it's really all about this Tiny. And 2 last wolf forms have knocked on PSG LGD's way. In fact, the game is slowly swinging into Team Spirit's favor, and they're kind of getting past that impossible timing of fighting this Tiny.
Or Collapse. He's got another grab.
Literally, they lost their first 2 games because they didn't check Magnus, right?
Yeah.
And what have they done in game fucking 5?
PSG LGD right now,
Not check
really
the
gotta try
Magnus.
to find a way to catch Team Spirit off guard, but they have the gem. They're setting up their vision smartly. They're playing around where they can see the dire heroes. If you look at the minimap, look at where they're positioned. Bottom side of the map, 2 hill wards here to cover any sort of entrance that LGD try to make. So they're always aware of what's going on. Very smart positioning on the map here. Team Spirit recognize that as long as we just delay the game, we don't feed, we don't give away anything for free, we're in a good position. Yatoro will carry us.
Yatoro we trust.
It's alright. In position now to maybe push down a threat in another tier 2 tower. We'll see the setup looking for Toronto Tokyo, but again, he senses something's up and they don't get that catch.
Yatoro now beating on the bottom tier 2 tower, doesn't get any sort of response. Means now they expect most of the LGD heroes to be on the top side of the map.
Yeah, and they right.
Metamorphosis up in 10 seconds. Can they start to poke the high ground, or is, now how aggressive do you want to get with these pushes?
It's a scary decision to make. I don't envy carry players that have to make this decision at this position of the game. But
are they going to make the call to commit? Metamorphosis is up for Yatoro. How hard does he want to push it into the base of PSG LGD? Doesn't look like they want to.
I think the idea here is to try to force the LGD heroes back into the base, so
And
they
then
then
leave.
can play around their own wards, and then potentially move over to the top side, remove any sort of vision that LGD has,
smart.
and then get map control that way. And you know, with these illusions pushing safely, you're forced to respond.
He looks for the jumper collapse. He's not able to get the grab back on Nothing to Say. So Nothing to Say, Beacon is up, a mirror holding him for the logo of the Phoenix gets cancelled by the Avalanche. The Winter's Curse coming to a quick end as PSG LGD now charging on the base. Vocals crashing
I don't know
down
why
onto
they're still
mirror.
fighting.
Ancient Seal for now.
Nah,
onto
Emma
Yatoro,
can
so gonna
pick
back
up.
and reset inside the base. Toronto Tokyo. He's diving in past the tier 3s. He's able to take out Nothing to Say. Looking at Remnant over to the side. He's got his eyes over towards Y. Or maybe even more actually. He's holding on to that, not jumping
They
back
didn't lose
quite
anything
yet.
for a
As they
Kunkka
killed
and
off
the
2.
thing.
And with 2
That
dead,
was
they may
good.
just have the room here to push up to the high ground. Yatoro, he's stepping up. Still a bit longer with the Metamorphosis left. They're taking this tier 3 tower. There's going to have to be buybacks. Jinkyu back into the game. But a tier 3 taken here. Some damage being done to the Rex as well. No Kunkka for 40 seconds.
Yeah, and
my
no
God,
wolf
dude.
fight.
Collapse.
Oh, mate, he is
Nah.
fucking one. He is one. They should give him a bigger cut. Give fucking Collapse an extra fucking 2 million, because he has fucking won every game that Spirit has won.
Careful, you know, Collapse is looking for another one. There it is.
He's actually, oh my, he's actually fucking won them the game.
He just
Oh
can't
my
stop finding
god, dude,
Oh
this
my,
guy.
that is Chadness. It's not Magnus anymore. That's Chadness.
No, you absolutely can't. And Yatoro's recognizing, you know, I don't have meta. I don't have my strongest spell, but neither do they. And he's just pushing it here. I think they're going to keep going for this buildings. They do not seem afraid. There's so much confidence right now in how they're playing. They get the buyback. He's been X-marked, but he has 3,000 HP.
He's so tanky. Sunder, Satanic at the ready if he ever feels threatened.
But look at this. LGD are coming in from behind. They recognize that they can't go on the front line. They need to catch the backline heroes.
They're going to try and go for the easy kill first, or at least the easier, maybe. But no, it's not. TP out there.
Oh!
Stop it. Arme's in with the combo. They catch the Bane. They need more, though. Nothing to say in the team. Doesn't look like they're going to get it. Meposhka's off into the trees. They won't be able to find him to stop that escape. Team Spirit, they take a Rex. They take a tier 3 in the mid lane. They only end up losing a Bane, pushing them up now to an 8k lead against PSG LGD.
Yep, and once again, both
surprising it's only
expanded.
8k,
You know
right?
what that means Roshan's available.
Yeah.
Metamorphosis is ready in 10 seconds. Team Spirit are gonna eye it up.
It's going to get even harder to deal with Yatoro now. He's got the full Silver Edge done, so the ability to sort of duck in and out of the fights.
Oh my god, he just bought us.
He is going to be a right nightmare to deal with. We see Arme's farm not too far behind, but you definitely feel that at the moment, with the timings that they've hit, Spirit as a unit are so much harder to deal with than it is for them to take down PSG LGD.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude,
And
they
if
must
they're
be
playing it in the way that Armin's
tripping
playing, but
right
he's
now.
about to get caught here in the top lane.
Oh.
In with the horn toss, dropping the RP. The BKB was out in time. He's into the invis, but the physical, is it going to be enough here from this Terrorblade? Yatoro is focusing down Arme. Arme's trying to run, but he can't get away from him. Arme out
Oh my god.
I told you, they needed this Ember.
Steering in to close the distance onto Xingqiu. They've caught the Skyer. Set up there as well with the curse. They're ready to close up onto Faith Beyond as well. They're going for
Oh my god, it's game.
It's actually a game, yeah. I mean, do you know when they lost the game? When fucking Yatoro TP'd out of top without even knowing they were coming for him, eh?
Yeah.
That's when they won. It was at that moment they won the game.
As long as we play around our own timings, this game is firmly in our grip.
I mean, there's 3 dead. There's no
Oh my god, they're
There's
gonna go
only
tier
nothing
4.
to say. And why left here for the defense? As Team Spirit,
Oh, they're gonna do it.
they're onto the tier 4s. They've got a fortification, but there's still those long seconds before they get their 2 cores back in the game. PSG LGD.
Oh my god, they're doing it.
They're gonna have to try to do something. I don't think they have enough time to wait for Tiny to respawn.
See how carefully Team Spirit play it.
Goes back.
There's still 20 seconds, no Arme. They can push. They can push his Spirit. They don't need it back. 20 seconds.
He's got it.
Arme. They're gonna look for
Another one.
Jump ball for collapse. Xingqiu goes down. Nothing to say as well. HX point, nothing to say. Has a buyback. 8 seconds until Arme.
Get the ancient.
Close it up. They can taste the championship. They can taste the money, but the backdoor protection.
Backdoor.
Backdoor protection is in. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. PSG LGD, they'll start now to force Spirit back
Oh my
on the
god,
base.
dude.
Meposhka will get
Blink.
himself out with a blink. They just need to reset Spirit.
They're trying to get out. Faith Beyond's on top of Mira though.
So they've got the curse.
This TV's too big.
Why? Being a bit of a nuisance off to the side. Gets the impetus
Like,
onto Mira.
imagine how frustrating this fight is for LGD right now. Imagine how sad LGD feel right now because they're playing so well, but they just don't have the net worth.
Oh my god, he bought back.
Of course he did.
Wait, he's throwing.
Huh?
BKB, Stuart back.
Ronald Tokyo's throwing.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
They're going to be able to lock him down with the RP. Where's the detection? Where's the detection?
No detection.
They need to see him. They don't get to see him. Arme, he's going to live. He's going to turn towards Mira. He's still
Oh.
very low here. And then a slide
Oh.
check.
Now
They
they've
can't
won.
finish him off.
Oh my god, that TP.
So no buyback on Toronto Tokyo. No buyback on Faith Beyond.
Boy.
No buyback on Arme.
Oh my goodness.
There is a Roshan.
There is.
Oh, I thought
Dude,
that was gonna
holy
it was so close.
shit.
That was a
But the
fight.
backdoor protection kicks in. PSG LGD are able to pull together a defense. They lose their tier 4s. But the Ancient still stands.
Yep, Satanic used Sunder as well. You can feel the nerves. I can feel it. It's just so much on the line. Just one Sentry Ward could have won them the game there, but support's unfortunately not able to get him.
Shit, this is bad.
Let's see what they can do around this pit. They're still down 16k PSG LGD, but they've got all their ults up. Can they make any sort of steal? They've already managed to set up here onto the Kunkka. They're going to go straight to it. Yatoro coming in with a BKB.
Yatoro's fucking positioning. Yatoro's positioning there.
Yatoro's ready to step over to his next target.
That needs to do bits right now.
Popping the BKB. Meposhka keeping himself alive with a cold embrace. Spirit. They'll turn over towards Arme, but Arme's still got the BKB to go. He's killed off another support. He's looking to
Oh my god, if he dies, it's bad.
He's got another remnant. Slight miss into the remnant of the high ground. He's away. Both teams again. Yeah, sneaking around under the cover of these silver edges. watching one another.
Metamorphosis is out, but so is the 2 wolf forms. It's both teams taking it safe right now. But look at...
Oh! Enchantress just living it.
Look at how carefully they're playing it. They're scared to walk up here and try to kill him.
Watch, like...
Fucking throw him down.
But look at Roche! Oh, Ahmed's killing Roche!
Oh, no, he can't.
Oh! Yo, Collapse is a fucking gangster.
Still know nothing to say or why for...
Collapse is a gangster. Collapse is a gangster. Wait.
He's got the back of a Jin-Q. But Spirit, they're going to chase on. Slight chase.
Bang.
Game.
2 minutes, no Tiny.
Game.
Engine exposed. Spirit.
At least it ended with a fucking sick bit of fighting.
They're not waiting for the creeps.
They're ready to close it this time.
He's fucking running up to the fucking 13 million. Hitting fucking one more.
Oh my god.
Yes. Fuck. That was fucking good.
That's taken them this whole road to the grand finals, and what a road it has been. They take down Fnatic, OG, VP, IG,
Madness Magnus.
and then the best of 5 at the grand finals, the International 10. They defeat PSG LGD, arguably the favourites coming into the tournament.
Absolutely, and they don't just defeat any PSG LGD. They beat PSG LGD
That's
playing their
absurd.
best draft. This was all the heroes that PSG LGD wanted. Like Seb touched on, Lycan, Tiny, they invented this. This was the most dominant combo of this tournament, and they beat it. They figured out how to beat it, and they beat the best team at playing it.
I mean, it's insane as well. 4 of them, their first TI.
That's crazy.
Yatoro, Toronto, Tokyo, Collapse, Spirit, the first time they've been on the TI main stage. Mipochka, he's been it before, but only top 8 this time. Leading the boys to the championship title and taking home $18 million in Zania.
That's unbelievable. I know before this tournament I was streaming and people would ask me like, where do you think Team Spirit are going to place? And I honestly said, on a good day, if everything goes their way, maybe top 6. I never saw this coming. Not in a million years. What an unbelievable performance.
What a story, what a road, what a dream here that they've achieved. The Spirit, they'll claim the Aegis. Ladies and gentlemen, your international
Fucking good for
champions,
them.
Team
fucking shit.
Holy shit, bro.
my guy doesn't know what the fuck just happened. My guy just got cashed in 5 fucking milli. Fucking fucking £3 million just hit his bank account.
Look at this comment.
Especially for these fucking they came out from
Did you just hear that?
Yeah, especially for these fucking nerds. What?
Wait, what? Someone's salty. Someone somewhere near a microphone is very salty right now, huh?
Congratulations on winning the
What the
International 10,
fuck?
I must ask. You are the captain of a team who has with 4 players who have never played at a TI. How did your team come together and become so strong?
It's all because of our manager, Corban. He made this team. He invited me and already a good start.
You realize what this means, Rob, right? We have to start queuing in Europe service now. Play against the Russians, you know, they're real gamers.
Also, we had a bootcamp before that international, and that was hardest bootcamp I ever had. So.
Stop taking the mic.
Actually, I don't know. It just happens.
It just
It
happened.
was luck.
He said the manager. He said the boot camp. He said the team. It just happens. Now, you and your teammates are you're so young, and this is only the beginning. What is next for you?
I have no idea actually. I don't even know what to say. So I have no idea. Maybe we're gonna think about this later, but right now I don't really know what we're gonna do. Maybe even someone will broke. I forgot word.
My guy's dead, bro. Rip. My guy's fucking dead.
Maybe someone gonna leave from Dota. I'm not really thinking. No, I'm not really sure that it's not gonna happen. You know, because such a big price. And do you really need to play Dota now after this? So I have no idea what
Aposhka's fucking cute.
I hope you understand me.
Oh, absolutely. There is so much going on right now. You just won a huge tournament, the biggest tournament. So to not know is totally fine. Look at your teammates. They are celebrating right now. Do you have anything that you want to say to your fans?
As I already said, sometimes thanks for your support, every fan who supported us till the tournament. So, a lot of people wrote me a lot of messages that good luck guys, good luck, we believe in you. And thank you for everything, thank you all.
All right, go ahead and celebrate with your team. Once again, everyone, I present to you Team Spirit, your champions of the International 10.
You'll have to see it. Right, I'm gonna go hit the gym. We play some Dota later. We get the MMR.
I think I'd have to play now. I'd have to play one game now. I don't know if I'll have time later.
Okay. You're out all day.
It's so nice out. Like I can play one now, and then I'm gonna go get lunch and.
How am I gonna go to the gym?
You would have seen that they had out of
Time
their
is
6
it?
years,
7. One game of Dota, it would be 8.
It upped a little bit. It's already updated.
I need to eat
18
dinner.
million added to the list, Brian. I mean, this team has been fantastic. They delivered some amazing Dota.
This team was a qualifier team. They were losing 2-1 in a best of 5 to make it to TI in the first place. I had to say that really loud because I don't know how else to portray, like, this is an insane.
Ah, it's fine. We'll play tomorrow, someone, yeah?
So many elimination games
All right.
with the losers
All right.
throughout qualifiers, making it.
I'm gonna play chess later, bro. I'm locked in on the chess life.
At this point, it's amazing.
All right. Well, catch you in a bit. Peace. All right, we're gonna wrap up the stream now. I'll probably be streaming some chess later on. I'm gonna go and hit the gym now, because that is an important part of the day. Get some dinner in, and then I'll probably stream some auto chess. So thank you all for tuning in. My gym shuts at 8, so I mean that gives you time to watch Cyberman Sunday, which I've just uploaded. It should be live in like 45 minutes or so. Yeah. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Congrats to Team Secret. You'll love to see it. We'll be running some games later this evening. Peace out, guys.